Night fell, and the city lights came on, illuminating the surrounding skyscrapers. Just then, a man walked out of the entrance of one of the buildings. However, just as the man stepped out the door, a heavy object suddenly fell from the sky and struck him hard on the head. The man immediately lost consciousness and collapsed to the ground. When Tang Poyu regained consciousness, he found himself in an unfamiliar, spacious, and bright room. Before him stood three stunningly beautiful women. One was a dragon maiden with dragon horns on her forehead, another was a nine-tailed celestial fox with 9 tails trailing behind her, and the third was a snow maiden emanating a chilling aura. Tang Poyu gazed at the three beautiful women and the unfamiliar surroundings, his face filled with confusion. Just then, a flood of memories surged into his mind. After reading these memories, Tang Poyu was surprised to find that he had been reborn in a world called Spirit Control Continent because of the favor of the Goddess of Wisdom. He also gained the opportunity to form a contract with one of the 3 divine beasts in front of him, as well as a beast breeding island where he could raise divine beasts. This is a world where everyone tames beasts. Upon reaching adulthood, everyone can form a contract with a beast, thereby gaining extraordinary power to enhance themselves. And the divine beasts are the most powerful beings in legend. Tang Poyu was overjoyed. Now that he had been given a second chance at life, he was determined to rise rapidly in this world of beast taming, relying on his contract with the divine beast and the resources of Beast Breeding Island. He gazed at the 3 women before him, and after a long period of contemplation, slowly said, "I choose you, dragon girl. I respect your choice," the snow maiden said calmly. The 9-tailed celestial fox snorted coldly, her voice tinged with resentment. "Humph, I'll remember this grudge." The dragon girl laughed happily and said playfully to the snow maiden and the 9-tailed celestial fox, "Ha! He chose me." At that moment, the voice of the goddess of wisdom resounded in Tang Poyu's mind. "The contract is complete. As a reward, Mingyu will bestow upon you a divine skill based on your characteristics." Mingyu was the name of this dragon girl. Immediately, Tang Poyu's mind went blank and he lost consciousness. He didn't know how much time had passed before he awoke to the sound of a gentle female voice. "Yue, wake up. Get up. Today is your first day at the Intermediate Beast Taming Academy. Don't be late." The voice was gentle and kind. "Where am I?" he asked instinctively. "Are you still half asleep?" "You're at home." Standing before him was a middle-aged woman. This woman was his mother in this world. In his past life, he grew up in an orphanage and didn't even know who his parents were. But in this new life, in this completely new world, he actually has a family and relatives. Just then, Mingyu rushed into the room, holding a steamed bun in one hand and stuffing it into his mouth. "Oh, you're awake. Come and have breakfast. The mistress's cooking is so delicious, ha!" She laughed as she ate, completely disregarding her image. Watching Mingyu's actions, Tang Poyu couldn't help but swallow hard. "Mingyu, eat slowly. There's more if you're not full. Could you wake her up for me? I'm going out now," the middle-aged woman said with a smile before leaving the room. "Thank you, mistress," Mingyu replied with a satisfied expression, then walked up to Tang Poyu and pulled back the covers. After breakfast, Tang Poyu took Mingyu to school. They were heading to the Intermediate Beast Taming Academy in Yulong Town. Tang Poyu never expected that he, an adult who had been struggling in society for many years, would now be back in the classroom as a student. However, if one wants to gain a deeper understanding of the spirit continent, attending school is naturally an essential step. Right at the academy gate, someone suddenly tapped Tang Poyu on the shoulder from behind. "Hey, old Tang, what are you doing with Mingyu?" Tang Poyu turned his head and saw a tall, thin boy standing behind him. Using the memories he had retrieved, he immediately recognized him. Ho Fan. They had been classmates since the elementary beast taming academy and were very close. "Do you know Mingyu?" Tang Poyu asked. Ho Fan smiled helplessly. "How could I not know her? Everyone in the town knows her. As a divine beast, she's addicted to gambling and owes a lot of high-interest loans." Ho Fan continued. "Many people used to be eager to sign contracts with her because she had divine beast blood and was from the ancient dragon clan. But they were all tricked by her and ended up breaking their contracts." At this point, Ho Fan paused, staring at Tang Poyu's expression with a questioning look. "That expression of yours doesn't mean you've signed a contract with her, does it?" Tang Poyu's heart skipped a beat, as if he had suddenly remembered something. He raised his left hand, on which was a flat bracelet. A moment later, a semi-transparent light screen was projected from above the bracelet. This is the Spirit Control Terminal System, a product of the collective wisdom of all humanity on the Spirit Control continent. It contains crucial information such as personal identity, summoned beast data, and a world summoned beast encyclopedia. Tang Poyu first checked his basic information. Name, Tang Poyu. Gender, male. Beast taming level, beginner beast tamer, summoned beast. Mingyu. He then opened Mingyu's profile page. Name, Sky Dragon. Mingyu race, ancient dragon bloodline. Divine beast attributes, strength, agility, defense 9999 master, Tang Poyu. What's going on? So many question marks. No level, strength, and agility aren't displayed, but defense is 9999? What's going on? Tang Poyu's face was full of shock. And Mingyu stuck out his tongue and explained confidently, I borrowed a lot of money from loan sharks and couldn't pay it back, so they often came to beat me up. I'm afraid of getting hurt, so I put all my points into defense. Pretty impressive, right? No, I want to break the contract. Tang Poyu gritted his teeth in anger. Mingyu, however, leaned close to his ear with a smug look and said, We signed a divine contract before the gods. The only way to break it is for one of us to die. I certainly can't die, so why don't you die? Actually you've come out ahead, Mingyu continued. Because of the god's contract, you can get 30% of my attributes and use all my skills. But you have absolutely no strength. Your attack is practically zero. You have nothing but defense. What good are you? I can take a beating. Mingyu proudly puffed out his chest. From now on, it won't hurt when others hit you. At this moment, Tang Poyu noticed a special option on the Spirit Control Terminal interface, Beast Breeding Island. He knew very well that this was not a built-in function of the Spirit Control Terminal, but a gift from the Goddess of Wisdom. He clicked on the options to view, and the system prompted him. As long as he completes the subsequent tasks, he can obtain map fragments. Collecting all the fragments will allow him to locate the position of a certain mythical beast. Immediately afterwards, the system popped up a prompt, asking if he wanted to enter Beast Breeding Island now. Tang Poyu knew that Beast Breeding Island was a real space, and he could bring his summoned beasts with whom he had a contractual relationship into it. However, it would seem too abrupt to suddenly disappear in front of Ho-Fan. After all, spatial abilities are extremely rare in this world. Old Tang, did you really sign a contract with her? Ho-Fan asked incredulously. Tang Poyu not that, how It's okay, we can just cancel the contract. It can't be canceled. Ho-Fan paused for a few seconds, then said earnestly, Forming a contract with a second summoned beast requires extremely strong mental strength. If you keep taking Mingyu with you, you might not even be able to graduate from the Intermediate Academy, let alone advance to the next level. Tang Poyu was on the verge of tears. Why did he have to choose this scumbag dragon? But now he had no other choice. Besides, he had no idea how to contact the Goddess of Wisdom again. The enrollment process for new students proceeded quickly. Tang Poyu completed the registration procedures and was assigned to a class. To his delight, he was still in the same class as Ho-Fan. The Junior Academy primarily teaches theoretical knowledge, and many students haven't even acquired a summoned beast yet. The Intermediate Academy, however, is different. The basic requirement is that all students must complete a contract with at least one summoned beast within a week, or face elimination. Mingyu's deeds seemed to have spread throughout the school, and her reputation in the town was already deeply ingrained in everyone's minds. Naturally, Tang Poyu soon became the object of everyone's ridicule. The teacher spent the entire morning giving a basic explanation of the Beast Tamer system. Beast Tamers are divided into 7 levels: beginner, intermediate, advanced, celestial, dragon, god, and finally, the top-level god. The standard for assessing a Beastmaster's level is based on the total level of the summoned beasts they have contracted. For example, if a summoned beast reaches level 30, the Beastmaster can be certified as an intermediate-level Beastmaster. In theory, there is no limit to the number of summoned beasts a Beastmaster can contract. However, as the number increases, the mental stress involved in contracting them also increases exponentially. The current known record is only 5 summoned beasts. The summoned beast level system is clear and concise, divided into levels 1 to N. Levels can be increased through battles or by using experience crystals. In addition, summoned beasts also have bloodline ranks, which are as follows: common, rare, epic, legendary, beast king, beast emperor, spirit beast, divine beast, and the highest is god. After school at noon, Mingyu yawned lazily. I'm starving, let's go eat. Didn't you eat the most this morning? Dang Paul Quetstein. I'm still growing. It's normal to eat a lot. Mingyu said matter-of-factly. I know a restaurant that's really good. Let's go. With that, Mingyu pulled Tang Poyu out. Led by Mingyu, the two arrived at a popular restaurant in town. Before Tang Poyu could even comment on the food, they found a long queue had already formed at the door, and the restaurant was packed. There are no seats left. Let's go, Tang Poyu suggested. Mingyu, however, was unwilling to give up. After scanning the room, he suddenly noticed a table with only one summoned beast in front of it. It was a three-tailed fox, which had just evolved from a baby fox. The three-tailed fox is less than a meter tall, with pink hair and furry ears that complement each other perfectly. Three fluffy tails sway behind it, and its appearance is very similar to an adorable animal-eared girl. Although its appearance is anthropomorphic, its face still retains animal features, with a pointed mouth and a layer of soft fur covering its face. Just then, Mingyu strode over. Hey, little brat, this seat is for me. As she spoke, she picked up the three-tailed fox's food and shoved it into her mouth. Not bad. After saying that, she unceremoniously lifted the three-tailed fox from her seat, casually tossed it aside, and then sat down with an air of nonchalance. Tang Poyu was petrified on the spot. This dragon is such a jerk. Not only did it steal her seat, it even stole her food. Tang Poyu covered his face in embarrassment, wishing he could pretend he didn't know her. Hey, what are you doing? Didn't you see the contract mark on her hand? She has an owner. He couldn't help but remind her. It's all right. Mingyu waved her hand dismissively. This little fur ball is too weak. It can't beat me. After saying that, she arrogantly provoked the three-tailed fox. Come on, you little crybaby. Go tell your master. The three-tailed fox's previously innocent face instantly contorted into a ferocious grin, her sharp snout revealing a set of razor-sharp fangs. The next second, she charged at Mingyu with a speed too fast for the naked eye to perceive, delivering a powerful punch to her abdomen. A gush of vomit erupted from Mingyu's mouth. Tang Poyu was speechless. This Mingyu was indeed easily defeated. He was knocked to the ground by a single punch from a three-tailed fox, which was incredibly pathetic. He raised his wrist, opened the spirit control terminal, and wanted to check the information on the three-tailed fox. Sure enough, the relevant information quickly appeared on the terminal interface. Name, three-tailed fox, March race, mythical beast clan attribute, fire, illusion bloodline, beast king level, 12 attributes, strength 86, agility 95, defense 53 skills, fox charm, demonic fox fire master, Zhao Yicheng. The bloodline is only at the beast king level, not yet at the divine beast level. It seems that even though they are both from the same phantom beast race, their fates are world apart. Although summoned beasts have the possibility of increasing their bloodline level during evolution. However, even if a beast king level bloodline like the three-tailed fox successfully evolves into a nine-tailed fox, and if it can advance one level with each evolution, it will only eventually reach the spirit beast level. However, Tang Poyu didn't seem to realize that in this world, the vast majority of people's summoned beast bloodlines were below the legendary level. As for spirit beasts and divine beasts, they were 1 in a million. Perhaps only one person out of a million could possess one. Just then, a clear, bell-like female voice rang out behind him. March, have you gotten into trouble again? Tang Poyu turned around and saw a sweet-looking girl of similar age walking towards him. Upon seeing the girl, the three-tailed fox immediately pounced into her arms, uttering a series of indistinct sounds. Although its appearance was already 80 humanoid, the three-tailed fox had not yet evolved to 6 tails and could not yet use human language. Therefore, Tang Poyu did not understand what she was saying. However, summoned beasts and their masters share a special telepathic connection. Even if they don't speak the same language, the contractors can still understand each other. According to the information on the terminal, this three-tailed fox is named Sanyue, and her master is Zhao Yicheng, who should be the girl before them. Sorry, my summoned beast just now. Tang Poyu wanted to apologize on Mingyu's behalf, since she had taken the seat and the food first. But before he could finish speaking, Mingyu rushed forward, food still on her lips, and pointed at Zhao Yicheng, saying, You bad woman. Zhao Yicheng chuckled. Oh, it's Mingyu. You found a new master. Of course. Mingyu puffed out his chest, looking arrogant. Who said I'm unwanted? I'm a divine beast, the great sky dragon. Tang Poyu looked at her with a question mark on his face. Who is she? Zhao Yicheng, the daughter of the Zhao family, my previous contractor. Mingyu curled her lips. But after only a week, She terminated the contract with me. Don't blame me, okay? Zhao Yiqing's tone was helpless. You freeloaded in my house, and I even helped you pay off your gambling debts, but when I shared your thunderous fury skill, it was less effective than a tickle. Tang Poyu was dumbfounded. The two of them, the man and the dragon, actually started arguing on the spot. And he finally realized, Mingyu is truly a scumbag. Hey, it really is you, Mingyu. Just then, several unfriendly voices came from behind. 3 men who looked like thugs walked over, led by a bald man with a thuggish air. You've been hiding from us for so many days. Let's see where you can run now. The bald man sneered. I have no money. You're no use coming to me. Mingyu immediately absolved himself of responsibility, then pointed at Tang Poyu without hesitation. Right? Go find him. He's my current master. You should go find him. You. Tang Poyu couldn't help but swear. The 3 men quickly approached him. The bald man shoved him and said fiercely, Kid, now that she's your summoned beast, things are simple. She owes us 1 million spirit coins. You paid off for her. 1 million. Tang Poyu turned to look at Mingyu. Mingyu smiled sheepishly. Actually, it wasn't that much. It was only 100,000 originally. But because of loan sharks, it's ballooned to 1 million. If this drags on any longer, it'll become 10 million, the bald man roared. Tang Poyu frowned, raised his hand to pat the spot where he had been pushed, and calmly said, Even if you say that, I don't have any money right now. I'll return her 100,000 yuan principal, but I won't return the rest. Won't return it? Then I'll break one of your arms today and see if you can still do it. The bald man raised his fist menacingly. This is a world where strength reigns supreme. As long as the opponent is strong enough, even if someone is crippled, probably no one will hold them accountable. However, Tang Poyu was not afraid. Although Mingyu's attack was 0, his monstrous defense was no joke. In addition, the divine contract granted him 30% of the shared attributes, making his strength already extraordinary. Just then, a slightly mechanical notification sounded in my mind. Mission activated. Defeat 3 people. Reward points X10. Map Fragment X1. This is a mission issued by the Beast Breeding Island system, bestowed by the Goddess of Wisdom. Is that so? Then let's give it a try. Looking for death. Come out, Mad Tiger. Vast Wolf, attack. Mystic Fire Serpent, go. As the summoning light appeared, the space slightly distorted, and 3 summoned beasts descended from the summoning space. Tang Poyu glanced at them. The bloodlines of the 3 summoned beasts were quite ordinary, their levels around 10. Nothing to brag about. Teach this kid a lesson, the bald man shouted. The 3 summoned beasts pounced on Tang Poyu. Run. Are you stupid? Why are you still standing there? I've never seen a contractor actually use my skills. Mingyu jumped up and down anxiously, clearly not understanding Tang Poyu's head-on behavior at all. However, a cold glint flashed in Tang Poyu's eyes. Dragon scale armor, he murmured. Instantly, a thick layer of dragon scale armor covered his body. Mingyu's skill. Beast masters typically only gain 1 initial skill after forming a contract with a summoned beast. However, Tang Poyu and Mingyu have formed a divine contract, meaning he can use all of Mingyu's skills. He will also unconditionally inherit any new skills Mingyu learns in the future. The next second, the Mad Tiger charged forward, striking Tang Poyu's chest with a powerful claw. However, with a crisp clang, the tiger's claw was jolted and it howled in pain. The other 2, the Vast Wolf and the Mystic Fire Serpent, followed closely behind, their attacks landing one after another on the dragon scale armor, but they still couldn't budge it in the slightest. Instead, the impact made their forelimbs numb, and they couldn't even stand up straight. Thunderous fury. Tang Poyu slowly raised his hand, his hands covered in dragon scales shimmering with lightning, like dragon claws wrapped in thunder. Boom! Thunderous fury crashed down, sparks flying everywhere, and the 3 summoned beasts collapsed to the ground, convulsing, completely losing their ability to fight. Chapter 4. Junk found in the blind box. Tang Poyu takes down 3 summoned beasts with 1 move, and the scene falls silently. Everyone is stunned. Everyone knew that Mingyu was the town's famous useless dragon, known as the shame of divine beasts. Whoever signed a contract with her was doomed. But this time, things seem a little different. No one expected that Tang Poyu could not only use her skills, but also make them effective. When Mingyu used Raging Thunder, it was no different from a tickle, but Tang Poyu could use it as a real attack. All of this shocked Mingyu. She hadn't expected that a beast tamer could actually control her. So she arrogantly walked up to the 3 debt collectors and threw down the words, "Get lost. If you come to collect debts again, I'll break your legs next time." The 3 of them, no longer daring to be defiant, quickly recalled their summoned beasts and slunk away from the scene. At the same time, a notification sounded in Tang Poyu's mind. Mission complete, points +10, map fragment +1. Mingyu turned to Zhao Yicheng with a proud look and said, "See, it's not that I'm incapable, it's that you're incapable." As she spoke, she gestured wildly, as if she had just washed away years of stigma. In the past, no one who signed with her could use her skills properly, and she was always ridiculed, even called Dongyao, Waste Dragon. She naturally assumed that the reason Tang Poyu was effective was because he was better than others. Zhao Yicheng's gaze towards Tang Poyu also changed, revealing an indescribable complex emotion. She had once signed a contract with Mingyu and knew how unreliable this dragon was, but she terminated the contract in less than a week. Logically, a beast master should gain 10% of their summoned beast attributes, but she didn't even feel that at the time, let alone using skills. Mingyu's skills were useless to her, just decorations. Tang Poyu not only used it, but he used 2 skills at once. According to the rules, a beast tamer can usually only acquire 1 skill, but Tang Poyu broke this rule. "Why are you looking at me like that? I know I'm handsome. If you like me, just say so. Don't hold back." Tang Poyu joked, trying to ease the awkwardness. Mingyu added smugly, "She's dumbfounded. She's probably questioning her life and starting to blame herself for being too bad." Before she could finish speaking, the 3-tailed fox punched Mingyu again, knocking her to the ground. "Ugh, another sneak attack." Mingyu groaned, clutching her stomach. Zhao Yicheng finally came to her senses. She looked at Tang Poyu and asked seriously, "What's your name?" "Tang Poyu," he answered simply and directly. "I've got it. A month from now, during the freshman monthly exam, I want to personally compete against you." Zhao Yicheng finished speaking and turned to leave. Her implication was clear. She wanted to prove with her strength that she wasn't wrong. The 3-tailed fox followed her, stepping on Mingyu's back as she left to express her displeasure. Tang Poyu watched them leave and shrugged. This girl is quite strong-willed. Then he kicked Mingyu, who was still lying on the ground. "Stop pretending, it's time to get up." Mingyu rolled over and stood up, grinning mischievously. "Hee hee, the little fox's fist can't break my defense at all." "I don't care if you're in pain or not. I still have to eat," Tang Poyu said with a pout. Mingyu immediately grabbed a mop and cleaned up the food that had spilled all over the floor before sitting down to eat with him. As they ate, Mingyu started getting cocky again. "We were amazing. That last wave was a complete rout. Don't you think you hit the jackpot by choosing me? Not only are your defenses high, but your skin is thick too," Tang Poyu retorted without any politeness. After the meal, Tang Poyu opened the Beast Breeding Island system and saw that he now had 10 points and a map fragment. The system offered a redemption function, and he clicked on it to look at the product list. There were only 3 items: a surprise blind box, 10 points, a power pill, 100 points, and a fragment of sky, 9,999 points. At the bottom of the page, there's a sentence. Each time you obtain a mythical beast, a new exchange reward will be unlocked. The power pill is a common recovery type pill, not very useful in actual combat. As for the fragment of sky's memory, the description is rather mystical. Contractor, one day you will welcome a complete king. Not understanding it, Tang Poyu didn't dwell on it. Right now, there was only 1 blind box he could afford, so he clicked redeem. With a flash of light, a spatial rift opened, and a square blind box floated out. Mingyu came closer and asked curiously, "What's this?" "After defeating those 3 debt collectors, the system gave me 10 points, so I exchanged them for a blind box to try it out," Tang Poyu explained. Mingyu immediately perked up. I'll open it. She excitedly opened the blind box, only to find a plate inside containing an extremely abstract dish. Tang Poyu froze for a few seconds, then exclaimed in surprise, 9-turned intestines? You can actually get this stuff?" Mingyu snatched a bite, his face instantly contorting as he glared at Tang Poyu. "You want me to eat large intestine?" Tang Poyu laughed wildly while clutching his stomach. "You were the one who rushed to open it and eat it, which means you're unlucky. Getting large intestine is your own fault. You're laughing. You're doing it on purpose," Mingyu retorted, grabbing a piece of braised pork intestine and shoving it into his mouth. "Ugh, you scumbag dragon. How dare you force your master to eat this?" You've rebelled. Chapter 5. Bailey Jean. After returning to school after dinner, Tang Poyu hadn't even settled into his seat when Ho Fan patted him on the shoulder. The guy leaned in with a grin and asked, "Hey, old Tang, where's Mingyu? You two didn't break off your contract, did you?" Tang Poyu shrugged. After dinner, she disappeared somewhere. It's good that she's not around, so I can have some peace and quiet. Actually, summoned beasts don't need to follow their tamers all the time. The contract is essentially a spatial connection. Beast masters can summon beasts at any time through a contract whenever needed, unlike pets that always follow them. Many summoned beasts actually live in their native habitats and are only summoned for battles or missions. This is especially true for summoned beasts that were raised by humans from a young age, as they often live with humans. Just then, the bell rang, signaling the start of class, and the two returned to the classroom. This time, a stunningly beautiful and charismatic mature female teacher walked in. Ho Fan's eyes lit up, and he leaned closer to whisper, "Old Tang, this teacher's got something. Is she married?" Tang Poyu glanced at him sideways. "She's more than 10 years older than you. Even if she's single, do you think you have a chance?" Ho Fan said nonchalantly, "A woman 3 years older is like a gold brick. This teacher is at least 5 gold bricks in her life, so there's still a chance." No sooner had they finished speaking than a piece of chalk flew over with a whoosh. It was so fast, it was invisible to the naked eye, grazing their faces and embedding itself in the back wall of the classroom. The two men turned pale. That wasn't ordinary chalk, it was armored chalk. The female teacher on the podium spoke, her tone as cold as ice. "I am your practical training teacher, Bailey Jean." Without wasting words, she directly gave the order. "Many of you don't have summoned beasts yet, so the practical training will start with theory. The school gives you a week to complete the contract, but I'll only give you 3 days. You must have a summoned beast within 3 days. Buy it or catch it. If you don't have one by 3 days, don't even think about attending my class for the next 3 years." As soon as the voice fell, the whole class was so quiet you could hear a pin drop. This teacher Bailey has such a strong aura, it's chilling. Ho Fan raised his hand and asked, "Teacher, what is your summoned beast?" Bailey Jean glanced at him and said, "Let me make it clear first, my surname is Bailey. Remember to raise your hand before asking a question." Ho Fan was taken aback and could only manage a dry laugh. "Understood, Teacher Bailey." Bailey Jean smiled coldly. "Since you're curious, then watch closely." As soon as she finished speaking, the space in front of her tore open, and a pair of sharp claws emerged from the crack, slowly tearing through the space. A humanoid summoned beast with blue skin, white hair, and fangs emerged from it, radiating a chilling aura of oppression. Everyone opened their spirit control terminals, eager to see what kind of creature this was. Tang Poyu also glanced at the information. Name, Mountain Ghost, Race, Ghost, Attributes, Poison, Fire, Bloodline, Beast King, Level 121, Attributes, Strength 1250, Agility 535, Defense 1500, Skills, Power Cleave, Venomous Ghost Claw, Demonic Poison Fire, Regeneration, Master, Bailey Jean. Upon seeing the level, the whole class erupted in excitement. Level 121. That must be a high-level beast tamer, right? Bailey Jean replied expressionlessly. Remember to raise your hand if you have a question. The student immediately lowered their head, shrinking like a quail. Bailey Jean continued explaining. That's right. I am a high-level beast tamer. She then introduced the ranking system for beast tamers, explaining that the difference between intermediate and divine levels was enormous. Intermediate level required a total summoned beast level of 30, advanced level 100, heavenly level 200, dragon level 500, and divine level was even more staggering, starting at 5,000. Forget ordinary people, even dragon level beast tamers would struggle. There are only about 20 god level beast tamers in the entire world. After finishing her lecture, she recalled the mountain spirit and said, "It's my class. If you don't like it, feel free to listen, but don't make a sound." The classroom fell silent again. Ho Fan whispered, "I like her even more now." Tang Poyu whispered a reminder. "Have you forgotten about the chalk? Stop messing around." Ho Fan quickly shut up. The Intermediate Academy is different from the beginner level. The morning is for theory, and the afternoon is for practical application. And today, the entire afternoon was Bailey Jin's class. Although it was cold and aloof, it was indeed very engaging. After school, Ho Fan excitedly pulled Tang Poyu along, saying, "Come on, come with me to the Summoning Beast Trading Center." "You want to buy a summoning beast?" Tang Poyu asked. Ho Fan nodded. My dad gave me 100,000 spirit coins and told me to hurry up and get the contract sorted out. This amount of money can probably only buy a rare level summoned beast. To get an epic level 1, you'd need 200,000 or 300,000, and a legendary level 1 would start at 1,000,000. The average family can only afford an epic level beast at most. If you want a higher level, you can only rely on luck in the wild. But without a team or the strength to hunt wild monsters alone, that's suicide. All right, I'll go with you and take a look. Tang Poyu agreed, since he was still figuring out everything about this world. But as soon as he arrived at the school gate, before he could even leave, he was surrounded by a group of people. You're Tang Poyu? Let's have a fight. Do you dare to duel? The group arrived aggressively, leaving Tang Poyu completely bewildered and clueless about what was happening. Just then, Mingyu jumped out, declaring matter-of-factly, I told them you can use my skills because you're strong. They're just bad at it. Tang Poyu nearly fainted upon hearing this. It turned out this guy had been missing all afternoon, digging a hole for him. Chapter 6 Reunion with Zhao Yicheng. No one knows what Mingyu said to that group of people, but the former contractors present were all more agitated than the last, each one burning with rage. Without wasting words, they summoned their summoned beasts, creating a tense atmosphere as if they were about to gang up on each other. Mingyu was still fanning the flames from behind, shouting, Go! Let them know how weak they are. Tang Poyu ignored her, grabbed her face, and shoved her forward, saying, You're good with words, then you go. What kind of beast tamer stands in front of their summoned beasts? If you're so good at talking, go fight yourself, he said, pushing Mingyu to the front of the crowd. Then he shouted to the people surrounding them, You all know Mingyu, right? I'm actually her new victim too. She called you all bad. Not me. I'm in a pretty bad situation now. We're all in the same boat. Tang Poyu's words resonated with them, and the more they listened, the more they felt it made sense, and their emotions gradually turned to agreement. Seeing that the fire was extinguished, Tang Poyu immediately grabbed Ho Fan and ran away, shouting as he ran, She's yours now. Good luck. Ho Fan asked as he ran, Are you just going to leave her like this? Tang Poyu replied, How can I? Her defense is so ridiculous. It doesn't hurt her at all when others hit her. Although Mingyu looks weak, all her skills are defensive. Her attack is almost zero. She can withstand and endure. Especially her divine regeneration move. Her recovery ability is simply heaven-defying. Unless you're instantly killed, basically no one can kill her. No wonder she can live so comfortably despite her sharp tongue. She's practically immortal. Dragon Town isn't a big place. It's only a 10-minute walk from the school to the Summoning Beast Trading Center. The market was bustling with people, and the shouts of vendors from various stalls rose and fell, creating a lively atmosphere. Come and see, a rare-grade pigeon just hatched. Summoning beast armor, pills, appraisal stones, all available, don't miss out. The trading market didn't just sell summoning beasts. All items and services related to summoning beasts could be found here. From elixirs and training materials to beauty treatments, equipment, and illustrated guides, everything was available, making it as bustling as a large supermarket. Ho Fan's eyes lit up when he saw a pigeon. This one's nice. It's looking at me. We must be destined to be together. But Tang Poyu glanced at it and said, Don't look at it. Bird-beast races are at the bottom of the racial hierarchy. When buying summoned beasts, you need to consider both bloodline and race. With your budget, you should aim higher. Ho Fan knew he had no choice and helplessly shrugged. My dad saved up for years, and it's only enough to buy one rare-grade beast. He originally wanted me to go to a regular college and work on a construction site after graduation, but I refused and came to the Beast Taming Academy instead. We only have this much money to buy a summoned beast, so we can't choose a high-end one. Tang Poyu nodded and pointed in a direction. Over there, the unidentified cub area. That area is full of unidentified small beasts or eggs, a favorite spot for many gamblers. If they manage to hatch a legendary or even a Beast King level summon, it's like turning a bicycle into a motorcycle. But the risks are equally huge. Over 90% of the time they hatch ordinary stuff, and losing a fortune is quite normal. Ho Fan was immediately surprised. Are you crazy? These things are too risky, and the chances of losing money are even higher. And even if you get a rare one, you don't get much of a discount. So what's the point? Tang Poyu laughed. I have the Beast Breeding Island system, which can identify the cubs of divine beast bloodlines. Others are gambling blindly. I'm accurately opening gold. He checked his terminal account and saw 150,000 spirit coins, most likely the starting capital gifted by the goddess of wisdom. I'm planning to take a gamble and multiply this money several dozen times, he said. Ho Fan was taken aback. Don't you already have Mingyu? Why are you buying more? I'm buying it to try my luck. I really can't bear to remove Mingyu, Tang Poyu replied. The two then entered the unidentified area, where there were many stalls and the shouts were full of tricks. Someone here just got an epic item. Don't believe him, he's just putting on a show. Come to me, you'll get a legendary item. The two stall owners started arguing, revealing each other's secrets, and the atmosphere became tense. Tang Poyu ignored them and was about to turn around when he suddenly saw a familiar face, Zhao Yicheng. She was sitting in front of a stall, seemingly not buying summoned beasts, but rather setting up a stall. Ho Fan followed his gaze and immediately started gossiping. You wouldn't happen to have your eye on a beauty, would you? She's the daughter of the Zhao family, the famous school beauty in town, and she has a fiancé, the mayor's son. Tang Poyu said calmly, You're overthinking it. I'm not interested in young girls. After all, his mental age was well over 30, and he really didn't feel anything when facing teenage girls. Ho Fan laughed uncontrollably. You sound too mature, like an old man. Even if you like mature women, don't try to steal teacher Bailey from me. Nobody's stealing her from you. Tang Poyu pouted. I'm just curious. Isn't she a rich young lady? Why is she setting up a stall? Ho Fan smiled upon hearing this. It seems you really don't know her. The Zhao family is in the business of summoning beasts. Half of the stalls in the trading center belong to them. She's probably just setting up a stall here for fun. Let's go over and see if we can get a discount for acquaintances. Chapter 7, Is it using lifespan for identification? Tang Poyu and Ho Fan walked to the stall, and Ho Fan greeted them first. Hi, classmate. Zhao Yicheng, who was sitting behind the stall, looked up and glanced at him. She didn't recognize Ho Fan, but when she saw the person next to him, her eyes immediately narrowed. Tang Boy. She called out the name directly, obviously remembering him well. Ho Fan was taken aback and asked in surprise, You two know each other? Tang Poyu smiled and said, We met at the restaurant at noon. Mingyu stole her summoned beast food. Ho Fan was speechless after hearing this. That does sound like something she would do. Zhao Yicheng stared at Tang Poyu. What are you doing here? Buying summoned beasts. Here to gamble. Tang Poyu answered very simply. Hearing that he wanted to buy another summoned beast, Zhao Yicheng couldn't help but smile. So you're planning to switch so soon? Have you already terminated your contract with Mingyu? Actually, she really hoped Tang Poyu would terminate the contract, so she could prove it wasn't her fault, but that Mingyu was truly a ripoff. But Tang Poyu shook his head. Not yet. I don't plan to terminate the contract for now. Mingyu's skills are quite useful. I just want to try my luck and see if I can make some money by gambling on unidentified summoned beasts. Hearing this, Zhao Yicheng's lips twitched. She had seen plenty of newbie gamblers like Tang Poyu. These unidentified cubs had basically been screened by merchants. Those with good bloodlines were picked early on, leaving only the cheap stuff. She sneered inwardly, thinking that Tang Poyu had no idea he was playing with fire. These stalls all belong to the Zhao family. If you want to gamble, pick whatever you like and see how many times you can win. Tang Poyu replied. Don't be too smug if you lose money. Zhao Yicheng snorted and said nothing more. Tang Poyu first decided to help Ho Fan choose one. He walked to a glass box containing 5 or 6 unidentified cubs. He picked up a white-tailed fox, which seemed very affectionate and kept rubbing against him. Enter it into the beast breeding island. He tried. The prompt read, This summoned beast has a common bloodline and cannot be entered into the beast breeding island. The white-tailed fox was cute, but its bloodline was too common, so Tang Poyu had to put aside. He then checked the other summons one by one, and the results were similar. Only one was a rare-grade beast. However, he wasn't in a hurry. This area was entirely occupied by the Zhao family stalls, with plenty of goods. He decided to take his time choosing. Zhao Yicheng quietly followed behind him, a smug look on her face. She wanted to see Tang Poyu's face fall when he kept identifying ordinary bloodlines. Tang Poyu examined nearly 100, and sure enough, 9 out of 10 were just ordinary bloodlines, with rare ones being extremely rare. Just as he was about to give up, he noticed an inconspicuous little fire turtle. He picked it up, a thought flashing through his mind. Registered on Beast Breeding Island. Prompt. This summoned beast bloodline level is legendary. It cannot be registered on Beast Breeding Island. Tang Poyu was stunned, his eyes immediately lighting up. This was a legendary bloodline. Although it was a reptile, its value skyrocketed once its level increased. This kind of beast was worth at least $1 million. a surefire way to double his money. He immediately handed the little fire turtle to Ho Fan, saying, "Monkey, this one's good. It has both fire and rock attributes, and its offense and defense are well balanced. It's perfect as your first summoned beast." Ho Fan looked at the little fire turtle, a little doubtful. "Old Tang, does it really have a rare bloodline? Don't end up spending money on a regular one, will you?" Tang Poyu patted his chest and said, "Don't worry. If it turns out to be ordinary, I'll compensate you for it." Ho Fan shook his head. "We've been friends for so many years, don't say that. I trust you. Bloodline isn't important. It's my first summoned beast, that's enough." He turned to the stall owner and asked, "How much is this little fire turtle?" The stall owner smiled and said, 60,000 plus an appraisal stone. "Since you were brought by Miss Zhao, I'll give you 50,000. Tang Poyu smiled at Zhao Yicheng. "Following you really does bring benefits." Zhao Yicheng's lips curled slightly, and she said calmly, "Then hurry up and pay. I also want to see your luck." In her opinion, this little fire turtle was definitely an ordinary product. Reptiles were not strong to begin with, and most of these low-ray summoned beasts had ordinary bloodlines. She was already mentally prepared to make a sarcastic remark to Tang Poyu. Ho Fan opened his terminal, transferred 50,000 spirit coins, then obtained the appraisal stone, picked up the little fire turtle, and began the appraisal. "Give me a blue one, please," he muttered to himself as he pressed the appraisal button. The appraisal stone emitted a faint glow, and everyone held their breath in anticipation. At first, it was a white light, an ordinary bloodline. Ho Fan's expression immediately fell. Buying an ordinary bloodline for 50,000 was like throwing away half the money. Zhao Yicheng also showed a satisfied expression and was about to speak, but then the white light suddenly began to change, turning pale yellow and finally becoming a dazzling orange light. The orange light overflowed, attracting the attention of everyone around. Orange light, legendary bloodline. Really? Someone actually obtained a legendary bloodline. Zhao Yicheng was completely dumbfounded. She never expected Tang Poyu to actually obtain a legendary bloodline. A little fire turtle from the reptilian race actually possessing an orange light bloodline. The odds were ridiculously low, 1 in a million. Her lips twitched, and she cursed inwardly. Did this guy risk his life for luck? Chapter 8, I Want to Marry You. After the legendary bloodline was identified, the little fire turtle instantly became the focus of attention, attracting a growing crowd and a cacophony of discussions. Tang Poyu, however, stood calmly in the crowd, as if the matter had nothing to do with him. To him, a little fire turtle with a legendary bloodline was nothing special. After all, its race was merely a low-level reptile. He started with a cheat code and had no idea what it meant to find a legendary summoned beast on the market. It was like an ordinary person passing by a lottery shop on their way home from work and casually winning a second prize of hundreds of thousands of yuan. That kind of absurdity. Zhao Yicheng stood outside the crowd, staring at Tang Poyu with a complicated expression. She really couldn't understand how this person could be so calm. Meanwhile, Ho Fan was absolutely ecstatic, jumping around with the little fire turtle in his arms, kissing and hugging it like it was a golden baby. After calming down, he suddenly felt a little embarrassed. After all, Tang Poyu had helped him choose this little fire turtle. "Old Tang, how about we sell it?" Ho Fan said cautiously. "Half for each of us. How about that?" He knew Tang Poyu wasn't short of money, but he didn't want to take advantage of him for nothing. He even thought he could accept splitting the profits 30/70ths with Tang Poyu. Tang Poyu, however, smiled and patted him on the shoulder. "Didn't you come to buy a summoned beast? Since you bought it, use it. Go sign the contract." Ho Fan was taken aback, hesitating. "But you chose it. I really feel bad keeping it all to myself." Before he could finish speaking, the other businessmen couldn't contain themselves any longer. "I'll offer 1.2 million. I'll give 1.3 million. The Zhao family will offer 1.5 million. Zhao Yicheng spoke up directly, his tone resolute. Ho Fan was about to nod when Tang Poyu interrupted him. "Not for sale." "Old Tang," Ho Fan said, looking conflicted. Tang Poyu said calmly, "The first summoned beast is too important for a beast tamer. Keep it for later. Money is not a problem. Just treat me to a meal later." Ho Fan's eyes reddened after hearing this. "Old Tang, you are too righteous. I'm your man for life. Get lost. Don't discuss me. I'm not gay." Suddenly, a shrill voice broke the atmosphere. 100,000. I want this turtle. A young man pushed through the crowd, followed by two henchmen, looking completely smug. His name was Long Chong, in his early 20s, with an unsettling smile on his face. He walked up to Ho Fan, stared at the little fire turtle, and said, "You bought it for 50,000. I'll give you 100,000, double the price. You've made a fortune." Ho Fan looked wary. "Others have already offered 150, and we don't plan to sell." Long Chong smiled contemptuously. "In Yulong Town, if I Long Chong have my eye on something, do you think anyone else has a chance to touch it?" He looked around. "If you're not afraid of trouble, you can continue bidding." The surrounding merchants all lowered their heads, and no one spoke, and the scene was silent for a moment. Long Chong sneered, "See? Nobody dares to answer. Here you go." His henchmen immediately tried to snatch the little fire turtle, but Ho Fan quickly retreated to protect it. Just then, 2 balls of pink flame attacked them, and they hurriedly dodged in fright. The flames came from Zhao Yicheng's 3-tailed fox, which she blocked. Long Chong looked at Zhao Yicheng, his smile turning frivolous. "My dear fiancé, what? Are you going to turn against me?" Zhao Yicheng snorted coldly. "Who's your fiancé? That's just something elders talk about in private. I've never agreed to it." Tang Poyu walked to Ho Fan's side and asked in a low voice, "Is this the fiancé you mentioned, Zhao Yicheng?" Ho Fan nodded. "Probably. The mayor's son. We can't mess with him. It said the mayor's summoned beasts are all over level 100, making him the strongest being in Yulong Town." Tang Poyu wasn't too worried. He'd seen Bailey Jin's summoned beast stats. Even at over 100 levels, it might not be able to defeat Ming Yu's defense. However, for now, he decided to wait and see how Zhao Yicheng handled this conflict. Long Chong's smile froze when Zhao Yicheng publicly rejected him, replaced by anger. He was born in this town and had been pampered since childhood. No one dared to embarrass him. "Flame Dragon King, come out." With a roar, a huge red lizard appeared from the spatial rift, 4 or 5 meters long, with wings on its back and dense scales. "This thing is a dragon." Tang Poyu was stunned for a moment, then opened the spirit control terminal to check the information. Name: Fire Dragon Lizard Flame Dragon King Race. Subdragon Attribute: Fire Bloodline. Beast King Level: 66 Strength, 335 Agility, 205 Defense, 532 Skills. Blazing Flames, Charge, Sea of Fire Master. Long Chong. Tang Poyu looked disgusted. "Isn't this just a winged lizard?" At this moment, Ming Yu appeared out of nowhere and whispered to him, "I feel disgusted just looking at it. Weren't you ganged up on? Why did you come out so quickly?" "Hee, I ran away. No one could stop me." Tang Poyu looked at the Flame Dragon King before him and suddenly asked her, "Aren't you a subdragon? Are you related to this guy?" Ming Yu immediately puffed out her chest and raised her head, looking proud. "Are you kidding me? I'm from the ancient dragon race. This kind of dragon, a hybrid of Western dragons, is basically a winged lizard. I'm on par with the sacred dragon race, understand?" Just as everyone was watching, Long Chong spoke again. "Zhao Yicheng, I'm giving you one last chance. Take back what you said now, or I'll turn you, you pink fox, into my Yanlong King snack." Chapter 9, even the best kung fu is no match for a brick. Seeing the situation escalate, Ming Yu couldn't help but comment, "This is getting interesting." Although the 3-tailed fox is a beast king level creature like the fire lizard, the difference in level is too great. They're not even in the same league. Zhao Yicheng stepped forward, her eyes resolute. "Long Chong, I will never have anything to do with you in this lifetime. I will never forget that Luo Li was killed by you." Long Chong sneered, "Too lazy to waste any more words, since you don't know what's good for you. Then I'll collect your corpse, you fox." Flame Dragon King attack. The fire lizard roared and charged towards the 3-tailed fox with incredible speed, accompanied by scorching heat waves. Although both were of Beast King bloodline, the 3-tailed fox was of a higher race. However, even a higher race couldn't withstand the crushing power of a higher level. The fire lizard charged, and before the 3-tailed fox could react, it was sent flying and crashed heavily to the ground. Zhao Yicheng was shocked and rushed over to pick up the fallen 3-tailed fox, anxiously calling its name. Long Chong, on the other hand, looked smug, a smirk on his face. "Your pink fox is really useless. It flew away at the slightest touch." His 2 henchmen laughed wildly beside him, while everyone around kept their heads down, no one daring to stand up for Zhao Yicheng. Although this area was Zhao family territory, Long Chong's father was the town mayor, and who would dare to touch a hair on his head even if the official spirit control management team came? They would have to act according to his father's wishes. The three-tailed fox struggled to its feet after falling to the ground, clearly unwilling to admit defeat, and stood before the fire lizard once more. This time, its eyes turned pink, and the fire lizard's gaze changed the instant their eyes met. That was the three-tailed fox's signature skill, Fox Charm, a powerful mental ability that could briefly control an enemy. Although the level difference was vast, even a momentary control was an advantage, and Zhao Yiqing immediately shouted, "Three-tailed fox, use demonic fox fire." The three-tailed fox leaped up, its three tails igniting into three balls of pink flame. With a sudden lash, it unleashed three jets of fire directly at the fire lizard. A triple explosion erupted, instantly filling the air with smoke. Zhao Yiqing was secretly pleased. Perhaps this time it would work. But Long Chong laughed loudly. "Ha, how naive! My flame dragon king can swim in lava. This flame is nothing more than a tickle to it." As expected, when the smoke cleared, the fire lizard was unharmed, its expression even carrying contempt. The demon fox fire was already the three-tailed fox's strongest attack, but against this level of defense, it was clearly far inferior. Ultimately, it was a one-sided victory caused by a significant level difference. Long Chong had signed his contract earlier and had several more years of training than Zhao Yiqing, who had only been signed for less than 6 months. In this world, those under 15 are prohibited from signing contracts. Otherwise, they risk being harmed by the contract itself. Zhao Yiqing had only recently turned 15, while Long Chong was already a veteran, so the huge gap in skill was to be expected. At this moment, the fire lizard recovered from its control. Long Chong sneered, "Let me show you real flames, blazing inferno." With a roar, the fire lizard opened its mouth and spewed out a large ball of scorching flames, heading straight for the three-tailed fox. Zhao Yiqing panicked. "March, run." But the three-tailed fox was already immobilized and could only watch helplessly as the flames rushed towards it. With a boom, the flames engulfed the three-tailed fox, and Zhao Yiqing collapsed to the ground, tears streaming down her face. "Ha ha ha!" Long Chong laughed maniacally. "This is what happens when you disobey me. Listen, from now on, every time you sign a contract with a beast, I'll kill it, until you obediently follow my orders." After saying that, he turned to Ho Fan, his expression changing. "Give me that little turtle." "I've changed my mind. You're paying me a tribute, understand? I won't give you a single penny." Just then, a soft hum came from the thick smoke. The fire is so small, it's really weak. Shaping it. Everyone looked over in shock and saw Ming Yu standing in the middle of the field, protecting the three-tailed fox in his arms, completely unharmed. Zhao Yiqing ran over crying, took the three-tailed fox from her arms, and hugged it tightly. Long Chong's face turned as black as the bottom of a pot. "You damn dragon! How dare you block my way?" Ming Yu rolled her eyes and gave him the middle finger. "Your lizard is no good. With such low firepower, it doesn't even itch." Long Chong was furious. "Flame Dragon King, keep spraying her." The fire lizard spewed flames again, but Ming Yu stood still and yawned. "The fire's too small. Can't we heat up a bit?" she said lazily. Long Chong was so angry he exploded on the spot. "I'm so angry." At this moment, his henchman whispered a reminder. "Young Master Long, that useless dragon has thick skin and can't be hurt. She has no attack power. Let's ignore her and go around to attack Zhao Yiqing's fox." Upon hearing this, Long Chong revealed a cruel smile. "All right, that's settled. Flame Dragon King will hold that trash off. I'll take care of it myself." Before he finished speaking, he instantly charged towards Zhao Yiqing, his fists blazing with flames, aiming straight for the three-tailed fox. "You bitch, I told you. Today I'm going to burn your fox. Let's see how you save it then." Flames erupted from his hand, about to strike the three-tailed fox, when suddenly a loud crack rang out. Tang Poyu appeared, a brick smashing squarely onto Long Chong's head. He just picked up the brick from the stall, intending to use it as a stepping stone. The brick shattered instantly. Long Chong's head split open, blood gushing out. He rolled on the ground, clutching his head, screaming incoherently. Chapter 10. You're lucky. This sudden brick attack stunned everyone watching. No one expected that this newly enrolled boy would dare to smash the mayor's son's head. The Long family was practically invincible in the entire Yulong town. No one dared to offend them. Seeing its master being hit, the fire lizard roared and pounced on Tang Poyu. But Tang Poyu remained unfazed, immediately activating his dragon scale armor. The next second, the fire lizard slammed into him with a loud bang. Tang Poyu was only knocked back a few steps, completely unharmed. He muttered to himself, "A level 66 summon beast? Not bad, interesting." At that moment, a system notification sounded in his mind. Please select one of the following tasks. 1. Kill the fire lizard, reward 50 points, 1 map fragment. 2. Escape, reward 20 points. 3. Kneel and beg for mercy, reward 10 points. Tang Poi Mai. Although the system thoughtfully provided 3 options, in his heart, there was really only one option to do it. Forget about the huge difference in points. The key was that map fragment, which he didn't want to miss. Collecting all the map fragments would allow him to find traces of divine beasts. And once a divine beast was added to the beast breeding island, without contract restrictions, he could raise as many as he wanted. Just as Tang Poyu was about to start fighting, a furious shout suddenly rang out. "Stop!" A group of people in uniform rushed over. It turned out to be the spirit management team. This group was an official law enforcement team, specializing in managing disputes between summoners. Although this world is ruled by the strong, the law is not entirely ineffective, especially the minimum standards set for ordinary people. But when these law enforcement officers saw Long Chong lying on the ground, they immediately panicked. "Young Master Long? Quick, take that kid down." They rushed forward, ready to attack. The team leader's face turned green. He thought that if the mayor's son got into trouble under his command, he'd lose not only his job, but his life. Several men rushed forward to grab Tang Poyu, but Ho Fan quickly stepped in to plead for him. But Tang Poyu remained calm. "Monkey, don't worry about me. Go sign your little fire turtle contract. Don't let things get complicated." Tang Poyu was taken away, while Long Chong was sent for treatment, finally bringing this farce to an end. Following Tang Poyu's instructions, Ho Fan immediately signed the contract. However, he felt increasingly uneasy. Tang Poyu had assaulted the town mayor's precious son. Could he expect a good outcome? Although the Yuling management team was the enforcement team of Dongyao Kingdom, in Yulong Town, the Long family was the law. Ho Fan knew he couldn't get involved in this matter, so he could only seek help from Zhao Yicheng. "Zhao Yicheng, old Tang offended Long Chong to save your fox. You can't just ignore it." But Zhao Yicheng remained silent, not saying a word. Ho Fan grew anxious. "Are you just going to watch him get arrested? Without his help, your fox would have been burned to ashes long ago." Zhao Yicheng gritted her teeth and remained silent, then whispered, "I don't want to argue with you. He's already beaten Long Chong, and the Zhao family can't protect him anymore. Don't get involved." With that, she turned and left, carrying the 3-tailed fox. Meanwhile, Tang Poyu had already been taken to the headquarters of the Spirit Control Management Team. "How can this guy's defense be so high? My summoned beasts have been attacking for ages and still can't break through his defenses." Tang Poyu sat on a bench, legs crossed, and said lazily, "Is this your way of enforcing the law? You take action without asking any questions?" The leading officer sneered, "Don't be so smug. The mayor will be here in person soon, and he will deal with you properly." Tang Poi thought, "Oh, I'll wait." He wasn't flustered at all. His dragon scale armor wasn't broken, and his hardened dragon scales hadn't even been opened yet. Meanwhile, in the Long family mansion in Yulong Town, Long Chitian was listening to his subordinate's report. Suddenly, the subordinate received a message, and his expression changed instantly. The town mayor just confirmed that the kid is Ming Yu's contractor. He used Ming Yu's skills, and the management team couldn't break through his defenses at all. Upon hearing this, Long Chitian's brows furrowed instantly. "What did you say? He can use the dragon's skills?" "Yes, that's confirmed." Long Chitian's expression turned grave. "No, this kid can't be killed. The fact that he can control divine beasts normally means he's mastered the key method of contracting divine beasts. We must keep this kind of person alive." Chapter 11, I poured the oil, he lit the fire. Divine beasts are not something you can see everywhere in this world. Many people may never encounter one in their entire lives. Ming Yu is one of the confirmed divine beasts. Her news has already spread throughout the entire dragon-taming town. Although rumors circulated that she was a troublemaker, Long Chitian never made a judgment and instead secretly observed her for a long time. In his view, Ming Yu wasn't really useless. Rather, most people simply couldn't control the power of divine beasts. So over the years, he has been secretly researching how to form a contract with a divine beast, hoping to try it himself someday. Even today, when he learned that Tang Poyu had actually managed to use Ming Yu's skills, his excitement was beyond words. This means that someone has already mastered the secret to controlling divine beasts. And what he needs to do is find this method, then eliminate Tang Poyu and bring Mingyu under his control. If this goal is achieved, Long Qitian will no longer be just the mayor of Yulong Town, but will have the opportunity to become the most dazzling figure in Dongyao Kingdom, or even the entire continent. After all, who among those who can travel with mythical beasts these days isn't a renowned and important figure? The sun sets and night falls. Why hasn't the mayor responded yet? What should we do with this kid? We heard the mayor is coming in person, so let's wait a little longer. Just then, a fire suddenly broke out outside the spirit control team, and the fire spread extremely quickly. Fire! Help! The guards watching Tang Poyu rushed out in a hurry, and no one paid any attention to the prisoner. Hey, you all ran away? Let me out. What the fire gets inside? That's so irresponsible. Tang Poyu sat speechlessly in his cell. A short while later, the cell door was opened again. Mingyu and Ho Fan entered. You guys? You actually came. Tang Poyu's eyes lit up. Old Tang, are you all right? Ho Fan immediately rushed over to help him untie the ropes. What else can be done? Those people only want to curry favor with the Long family and attack me. But they are too weak and can't break through the dragon scale armor at all. It's good that you're all right. Let's go. Ho Fan urged. Was it you who started that fire outside later? Tang Poyu asked, somewhat surprised. Mingyu leaned in with a smug look on his face. Of course. I poured the oil, and he lit the fire. We worked together perfectly. She and Ho Fan even gave each other a high five, showing a remarkable chemistry. Tang Poyu sighed and said, Monkey, are you crazy? This is arson against a law enforcement agency. That's a serious crime. Ho Fan, however, did not back down. You stood up for me, so of course I can't abandon you. Don't forget, it all started because of me. You hit Long Chong, and the Long family will definitely not let you off easily. If they don't rescue you, you might be dead one day. Tang Poyu patted him on the shoulder. I'll take you as my brother. The group escaped in the chaos, and no one noticed their escape. Just when they thought they had finally escaped, a figure blocked their way. It was a woman dressed in black and wearing a veil. She was slender and clearly a girl. What are you doing? Don't block the way, Ho Fan asked warily. The woman walked up to Tang Poyu and whispered, I transferred 1 million spirit coins to your spirit terminal. Take your family and leave Yulong Town immediately. Tang Poyu was taken aback. He raised his hand and saw that there really was an extra sum of money in his account. Ho Fan narrowed his eyes. That's Zhao Yicheng's voice? You've been following us all this way. I'm not Zhao Yicheng. I'm just a passerby who saw injustice and decided to help. The woman tried to hide her true feelings. Even their voices are exactly the same. Their acting is really terrible. Ho Fan scoffed. All right, enough talk. Just get out of here. Zhao Yicheng instructed. Why do we have to leave Yulong Town? Tang Poyu asked. Zhao Yicheng whispered. Long Qitian appears benevolent on the surface, but he's ruthless in reality. The Long family has always maintained its status by secretly eliminating geniuses. You've beaten Long Chong and can control divine beast skills. The Long family will never let you go. How do you know this? My dad frequently interacted with the Long family in an attempt to curry favor with them. Having heard so much about them, he naturally saw through their true colors. Tang Poyu seemed to be deep in thought, but he shook his head and said, I don't plan to leave. Zhao Yicheng snapped. Are you crazy? Even if you don't think about yourself, you should at least think about your family. Family? These two words silenced Tang Poyu. After all, he was an orphan in his previous life, growing up in an orphanage, and had no concept of family. Although I suddenly have parents in this life, we haven't really established a romantic relationship yet. But no matter what, they are his family now. Do we really want to drag him down with us? Soudainly, Tang Poyu sensait danger. His expression changed, and he immediately pushed Ho Fan and Zhao Yicheng away. With a loud bang, a huge fireball crashed down, hitting the spot where Tang Poyu and Mingyu were. Old Tang! Ho Fan exclaimed. When the flames subsided, Tang Poyu and Mingyu were found to be completely unharmed. However, a deep crater was blown into the ground beneath their feet. Tang Poyu looked up and saw a raging firebird with fiery wings that spread several meters wide, circling in the air. It was Long Qitian's summoned beast. Zhao Yicheng's voice trembled as he quickly pulled up his mask, hoping not to be recognized. Just then a laugh rang out. Long Qitian walked over slowly, a seemingly friendly smile on his face. As expected, heroes emerged from among the young. I had long heard that you could control the power of Mingyu, and seeing it today, I can confirm it. Tang Poyu met his gaze. You are Long Chitian? That's right. You came here to kill me and avenge your son? How could that be? Young friend Tang, you've misunderstood. I already know what happened today. It was indeed my son who acted rudely, and you did well in disciplining him. I came here to have the spirit control team release you, but you've already escaped on your own. Long Chitian smiled gently, but anyone could see that he was hiding a knife behind his smile. Hypocrite. Mingyu stepped forward, his face full of disdain. If you really wanted to release them, why did you just bombard us with fireballs? With your firepower, you couldn't even break through my defenses. You want to be the lord of divine beasts. As she spoke, she patted her dragon scales. Even if I stand here and let you burn me, you still can't break through my defenses. Chapter 12, just spit and rub it. Long Chitian smiled awkwardly and said, I just wanted to test young friend Tang's strength. Hypocrite, Mingyu said. Long Chitian laughed and said, Young friend Tang, I'm sorry for the trouble I caused you today. Don't worry, I'll talk to the spirit control management team. They won't cause you any trouble. As for, Long Chitian looked at the fiery red sky ahead, then smiled and said, Don't worry, I'll handle it. Since Mayor Long says so, then thank you very much, Tang Poyu said. You're too kind. I'll head over now. Long Chitian said, glancing at Zhao Yicheng. Zhao Yicheng quickly turned her head away. Even though her face was covered, she was afraid that Long Chitian would recognize her. Long Chitian simply smiled slightly, said nothing, and then walked towards the spirit control management team. Zhao Yicheng breathed a sigh of relief and pulled off her mask. Her face was now covered in sweat. Don't believe Long Chitian. You and your family should leave Yulong Town as soon as possible, Zhao Yicheng said. Tang Poyu laughed. I think I already know what he wants. He won't do anything to me until he gets what he wants. I don't plan to leave Yulong Town for the time being. You've taken my kindness for granted. You'll regret it when the Long family turns against you later. Since you're not leaving, give me my money back. Zhao Yicheng stretched out his hand in front of Tang Poyu. Tang Poyu chuckled slyly and said, Money given away is like water spilled. It's not so easy to get it back. The Zhao family is a prominent family in town. They certainly don't lack this little bit of money, do they? What do you mean you're not short of money? This is my own savings. I was originally saving it to buy March a set of spirit control equipment. I only gave you this money to let you leave Dragon Control Town because you saved March today. Since you're not leaving, give the money back to me. Tang Poyu laughed and said, Once the money's in my pocket, I'm definitely not going to throw it back out. But don't worry, I won't let you lose money. Wait for me at your stall area after school tomorrow afternoon. Do what? Never mind, just wait for me tomorrow. Monkey, let's go. Tang Poyu said. Tang Poyu and Ho Fan left together. Monkey, today's events were too dangerous. If Long Chitian hadn't had ulterior motives, your actions today would have likely brought you to your death, Tang Poyu said to Ho Fan on the way. Ho Fan laughed and said, Hey, I didn't think that much about it at the time, but it seems like nothing happened now. Tang Poyu nodded slightly. Yes, everything's fine for now. By the way, has the little fire turtle signed the contract? Okay, it's signed. Come out now, little fire turtle. At Ho Fan's summons, the little fire turtle was summoned. Tang Poyu opened the spirit control terminal and took a look. The identification stone is made of a special material and is connected to the spirit control terminal. Once a summoned beast is identified through the identification stone and other means related to the spirit control terminal, its data will be instantly transmitted to the spirit control terminal. Name, Little Fire Turtle. Race, Reptile. Element, Fire Rock. Bloodline, Legendary. Level 2. Attributes, Strength 10, Agility 5, Defense 20. Skills, Fireball, Rock Shield. Owner, Ho Fan. Tang Poyu nodded and said, Not bad. It's more than just good, Lao Tang. I still can't calm down. I never dreamed I'd be able to sign a legendary bloodline summoned beast in my lifetime. I originally thought that with my resources, having an epic level beast would be amazing. Lao Tang, thank you so much. If I were a woman, I'd really marry you. Ho Fan said excitedly. Damn it, I treat you like a brother, but all you do is try to sleep with me all day. Get lost. I'll say it again. I'm not interested in men. Tang Poyu kicked Ho Fan in the butt. Ho Fan laughed. Don't worry, I'm only interested in Teacher Bailey. No way, you're really interested in Bailey Jean? I thought you were just saying it casually before. Shoot, keep it a secret. Okay, keep it a secret, I'm going home. Okay, I'm going home. I'll show the little fire turtle to my dad when I get back. He'll probably be overjoyed. Tang Poyu and Ho Fan then parted ways and went home. On the way home, Mingyu asked, "You said Long Chitian isn't attacking you now. What does he want?" "You," Tang Poyu said calmly. Impossible. Nobody in town is willing to sign a contract with me. I never imagined the goddess of wisdom would summon me for you to choose from," Mingyu said. Tang Poyu shook his head and said, "When I first met Long Chitian today, I could tell he was a smiling tiger, a treacherous person. From my observation, while he was talking to us, he was actually watching you out of the corner of his eye. So, I think he's interested in you. The rumors about you influenced his judgment of you, but now that he knows I can use your skills normally, he probably thinks that controlling a divine beast requires a special method, and he thinks I know this method, so he's not in a hurry to attack me." Mingyu stroked his chin and said, "Human hearts are so complicated." Just then, a child carrying a balloon walked past Mingyu. But Mingyu, being impulsive, poked the balloon with her fingernail, and with a pop, the balloon burst. The child burst into tears when he saw his balloon pop. However, Mingyu felt no shame for his actions, but instead burst into laughter. Tang Poyu grabbed Mingyu's face and said, "Human hearts are complicated, but your heart is very simple, just simply bad." "Ouch, that hurts. Let go. Let go. My face is going to break. It hurts so much." Tang Poyu then bought the child a new balloon and took Mingyu home. "Why are you home so late? The food is cold. Your dad has been waiting for you to eat." As soon as he entered the house, his mother, Su Li, came to greet him. "Ahem, why are you back so late? How was your first time at the Intermediate Academy?" A middle-aged man asked at the dinner table. He is Tang Poyu's father, Tang Ao. "Good. Go wash your hands and eat. Your mom made a special meal for you to celebrate your promotion to the Intermediate Academy." Tang Ao looked somewhat serious. "Okay, I understand." Tang Poyu smiled slightly. Tang Poyu may not have any feelings for them, but he could sense that the simple couple's feelings for him were genuine. "Wow, this is all my favorite food. I won't be polite." At this moment, Mingyu ran to the dining table, her eyes shining as she looked at the food spread across the table. Tang Poyu pinched Mingyu's cheek and said, "You come with me to wash your hands too." "I don't need to." "Ugh, just spit and rub it in. See, it's clean now. Are you trying to disgust me so I can't eat? So you can eat my portion, right? You scumbag dragon, come wash your hands with me." With that, Tang Poyu dragged Mingyu to wash his hands. Su Li smiled slightly and said, "It seems that their relationship is quite good." Tang Ao sighed deeply and said, "The better their relationship, the more worried I am. After all, Mingyu is a disgrace to the divine beasts, the useless dragon of Dongyao. Yue won't get any help from signing a contract with her." "Shoo, keep your voice down. Don't let anyone hear us. Since the child has made this choice, let him be. Anyway, when he becomes stronger, there will be another chance to sign a second summoned beast," Su Li said. Tang Ao simply sighed and said nothing more. Chapter 13, Animal Breeding Island. The meal was enjoyed in a warm and pleasant atmosphere, and this was the first time in many years that Tang Poyu felt at home. After helping Su Li tidy up, Tang Poyu and Mingyu returned to the bedroom and locked the door. Tang Poyu activated the Beast Breeding Island system. Actually, he wanted to go to the Animal Breeding Island during the day, but he was at school all day, and he couldn't just disappear in front of so many people. It also took up some time after school. However, there is now enough time. Enter the Animal Breeding Island. Do you want to enter with your contracted summoned beast? Yes. Soon, a crack appeared in the space in front of Tang Poyu. This is a spatial magic spell. By passing through this spatial rift, we can reach our destination. Spatial attributes are very powerful, but extremely rare. Any summoned beast with spatial abilities, even if it has only an ordinary bloodline, is no less rare than a spirit beast. Tang Poyu and Mingyu entered the spatial rift together. The moment they stepped in, they were sucked in by a powerful suction force. "Ah, I'm dizzy, hold on tight," Mingyu shouted. The scene before Tang Poyu and Mingyu changed instantly in the next second. They were on an island, the sea breeze caressing their faces. The sounds of birdsong filled the air, and it was still daytime here. Is this the Animal Breeding Island? Tang Poyu looked at the boundless sea in front of him. He knew that this was a real island, not something within the system. The system simply enabled his spatial teleportation ability, allowing him to quickly arrive on this island. In reality, this island exists somewhere in the world. The spiritual energy here is so abundant. Summoned beasts will grow much faster living here, Mingyu said. Tang Poyu said, "This island is quite nice. Right now, We only know it can house divine beasts. We don't know if it has any other functions. However, the scenery here is beautiful, with birds singing and flowers blooming. Building a house here would be great, and then a warehouse too. Anything we don't have room for can be stored in the island's warehouse. Through the beast breeding island system, we can retrieve it at any time. Isn't that much more useful than spatial artifacts? That's true, but how do we build it? Mingyu asked. Tang Poyu said, there are so many trees on this island. We'll have to cut them down to build wooden houses. I can only bring and summon beasts that I have a contract with, or divine beasts that have been collected by the beast breeding island. Right now, you're the only summoned beast I have a contract with, so this task will be left to you. Mingyu was so shocked when she heard this that her jaw almost dropped. She'd be perfectly happy to eat, drink, have fun, and gamble, but asking her to build houses here is a bit. I don't want to. Don't want to? Then don't come out. Or you can swim across the ocean and find another way out. Bye-bye. I'm leaving first. As he spoke, a spatial rift appeared in front of Tang Poyu. Tang Poyu disappeared into the spatial rift. Seeing this, Mingyu rushed forward, trying to disappear into the spatial rift before going in, but she ended up falling flat on her face. Let me out. I'll remember you. Mingyu said angrily. If she wants to leave, she either has to swim across the sea to find another way out, or she'll have to rely on Tang Poyu to take her away or summon her away. Tang Poyu emerged from the spatial rift and returned to his room. The reason he left Mingyu on the beast breeding island was simply because he had other things to do and didn't want Mingyu to cause unnecessary trouble. I checked the tasks the animal breeding island system had given me. The tasks were still ongoing. If one task is not completed, subsequent tasks will not be triggered, resulting in a task being stuck. Therefore, Tang Poyu now needs to complete this task. He had already made his choice to kill the fire lizard. The location of the mission objective was displayed in the system. Tang Poyu glanced at it and saw it was Chunxiang Tower. This is a famous restaurant in town. This Long Chong was beaten bloody in the afternoon, and he went out to eat, drink, and have fun again in the evening. It seems that he was beaten too lightly. Tang Poyu will not let Long Chong go just because Long Qitian let him go today. Tang Poyu knew very well why Long Qitian had let him go. Furthermore, if you don't kill Long Chong summoned beast, you'll encounter a situation where the quest gets stuck. Of course, we cannot directly clash with the Long family right now. Therefore, you need to make thorough preparations before you go. I found a piece of clothing in the closet that I wouldn't normally wear. After changing, I put on a hat, cover my face, and only my eyes were visible. Tang Poyu looked in the mirror and thought it wasn't bad. At least it was much better than Zhao Yicheng's disguise. Unless someone knew him very well, it would be difficult for them to recognize him. It was already quite late, and there weren't many people in the town at night anyway. At this moment, Long Chong walked out of Chunxiang Pavilion with two glamorous women in his arms. His head was wrapped in gauze, and he walked unsteadily. If it weren't for the two women supporting him, he probably wouldn't even be able to walk steadily. Damn it, I really don't know what my dad was thinking, letting that bastard go. I don't want to see him again, or I'll make him pay. And that bitch Zhao Yicheng. Wait till I marry her. I'll teach her a lesson. Ugh. Young Master Long, you've had too much to drink. I'm not drunk. With my alcohol tolerance, how could I be drunk? Come on, let's go home. I'll show you later whether I'm drunk or not. As he spoke, Long Chong's hand grabbed the two women's slender waists. Young Master Long, I hate you. Young Master Long, there are people ahead. Long Chong looked up and saw a masked man in the darkness. Long Chong said, Damn, what are you doing? In the middle of the night, are you trying to scare me? Tang Poyu cleared his throat and then deliberately spoke in a hoarse voice. I've heard that the Long family in Yulong Town is wealthy. I'm new to your town, and I didn't expect to run into young Master Long. I'd like to borrow some money to spend. Upon hearing this, Long Chong couldn't help but burst into laughter. Haha, you bastard, are you blind? You actually dared to rob me. Fine, if you're so capable, promise me, Flame Dragon King. I'll give you whatever money you want. If you can't beat me, I'll break your arms and legs. Come out here, Flame Dragon King. With a roar, the fire lizard was summoned by Long Chong. Tang Poyu nodded in satisfaction. His current target was only the fire lizard, not Long Chong. What? It's a dragon? I won't steal it anymore. I dare not. Tang Poyu said, then turned and ran. Although the system's second option is to run if you can't win, Tang Poyu isn't actually running away, so the system won't judge that Tang Poyu has fulfilled the mission requirements. Seeing the masked man flee in fright, Long Chong laughed smugly. Haha, dare to rob me? I thought he was something special, but he's just a piece of trash. But do you think I'll let you get away? Flame Dragon King, chase after him and bite off one of his hands to report back to me. Upon receiving Long Chong's order, the fire lizard roared and then chased after Tang Poyu in the direction he had fled. Chapter 14, Killing the Salamander. The fire lizard chased after Tang Poyu, getting closer and closer to him. At that moment, the fire lizard charged straight at it. He thought this charge would send his opponent flying. However, when it actually hit the target, it found that it felt like it had hit a steel plate. "Hey, little lizard, you did a great job," Tang Poyu laughed. Fire lizards with Beast King level bloodlines already possess a certain level of intelligence. At this moment, it also sensed that the human in front of it was different. It looked closely and found that the human in front of it was covered with dragon scales. Seeing these dragon scales reminded it of the human boy that afternoon, who also had the same dragon scales on him. In that instant, it understood who this person was. Tang Poyu knew that using the dragon scale armor would expose his identity, so he lured the fire lizard over alone. In this way, even if the fire lizard found out his identity, it wouldn't be able to go back and tell Long Chong. The fire lizard roared and then leaped into the air. The moment it landed, there was a loud bang, and the surrounding area instantly turned into a sea of fire. Firestorm skill? That's the strongest skill you can use right now, but unfortunately, it still can't break through the dragon scale armor's defense. With that, Tang Poyu charged toward the fire lizard. Salamanders, although they are subdragons, still retain lizard blood in their essence. As a reptile, it possessed a keen sense of biological alertness and clearly perceived Tang Poyu's murderous intent towards it. Having a certain level of intelligence, it knew it was no match for this human, and at that moment it wanted to run away. However, how could Tang Poyu let it escape? Tang Poyu leaped onto the fire lizard's back. "If you run away now, I'll be in big trouble. It's your bad luck that you didn't have a good master." Thunderous roar. As the thunder roared, lightning flashed, and thunder roared in an instant. In the silent night, the painful howls of a fire lizard could be heard. The fire lizard was lying on the ground. Although the lightning hadn't killed it, it had left it covered in wounds. Moreover, the paralyzing effect of lightning rendered it unable to move. For summoned beasts, such injuries are not fatal. Thanks to their powerful regenerative abilities, they can recover slowly over time. However, Tang Poyu would not give it such an opportunity. Tang Poyu took out a long dagger that he had prepared beforehand and came to the fire lizard. Seeing the gleaming long dagger in Tang Poyu's hand, the fire lizard let out a pleading growl. "Leaving your remains intact, without taking your animal bones, is the greatest mercy I can show you." After saying that, Tang Poyu aimed at the fire lizard's heart and stabbed it mercilessly. The silent night sky was filled with the final, mournful cry of the fire lizard. "Congratulations on completing the task. Reward, 50 points, 1 map fragment." Tang Poyu breathed a sigh of relief. Killing the fire lizard was easier than he had imagined. He had expected a tough battle, but it turned out to be so simple. It seems that Mingyu has been misunderstood all along. A divine beast is a divine beast after all. How could these lowly summoned beasts possibly contend with the power of a divine beast? Tang Poyu then looked around to make sure he hadn't left any trace, before quickly leaving and disappearing into the night. At this moment, Long Chong was being supported by 2 women, still cursing under his breath. Suddenly, he sensed something. Because of their contractual relationship with the fire lizard, both can sense each other's death. The next second, he was completely sober and collapsed to the ground. "No, my Flame Dragon King. No, you bastard. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. Give me back my Flame Dragon King." Then, Long Chong's mind went blank, and he fainted. It's normal for him to be in such a hurry, since the death of a summoned beast while the contract is in effect has a significant impact on the beast tamer, affecting their talents. Therefore, the death of a summoned beast while the contract is in effect is a major taboo for beast tamers. Often, when a contracted beast is severely injured and beyond saving, the contract will be terminated in advance. Back home, Tang Poyu disposed of his clothes and dagger. He took them directly to the beast breeding island, burning what could be burned and throwing the rest into the sea. On Beast Breeding Island, apart from Tang Poyu and his contracted summoned beasts, all other unconscious items can be placed inside. Corpses are included. As long as the target is dead and unconscious, they can be brought to the animal breeding island. No way. You've already built the house in just a few hours? And a warehouse too? My goodness, I'm not calling you a trash dragon anymore. You're an invincible little dragon. The little dragon's infrastructure building speed is incredible. After Tang Poyu entered the beast breeding island, he was surprised to find that Mingyu had already built houses and warehouses according to his requirements. The house isn't big, only about 100 square meters. It's built entirely of wood and has 2 bedrooms, a living room, and a small room at the back. It's not perfectly built, but it's usable. After all, they won't live there forever. Staying on Animal Breeding Island in an emergency is still an option. A few hours? It's been months, Mingyu said. Months? No way. I only went out and killed Long Chong's fire lizards, and it's already been months? Tang Poyu didn't believe it. He raised his wrist, opened the spirit control terminal, and checked the time. The timing is normal. Mingyu said, "Come with me. I found this place, so I built my house here." With that, Mingyu led Tang Poyu into the small room. Inside the room was a crystal pillar with a glass-like bead on top. Tang Poyu asked, "What is this?" Mingyu explained, "This is the time control switch for this island. Turning it forward speeds up the flow of time on the island, while turning it backward slows it down. Then, turning it left and right changes the seasons, turning it to the upper left changes the weather, and sliding it to the upper right changes the day and night cycle." Of course, the speed of time here only refers to the island's time flow compared to the normal flow of time in the outside world. The time of the people inside doesn't change. 3 months inside is equivalent to 3 hours outside, but your own body's metabolism is actually calculated based on 3 months. Mingyu said, "Wow, this island is so magical. So you've slowed down time inside." "So while I've been away for a few hours, several months have actually passed here," Tang Poyu said. Mingyu replied, "I didn't adjust it. This is the default time flow on the island. I don't have the right to control this island. Only the island's owner has the right to manipulate this crystal ball. The owner of the island, am I not?" As he spoke, Tang Poyu placed his hand on the crystal ball and turned it to the upper right. Sure enough, the daytime turned into night. Tang Po was turning the crystal ball left and right, and at that moment, the changing seasons appeared outside. Turning to the upper left also reveals the changing weather. Wow, amazing. This island is a creation of the gods, so of course it's magical. Great. I can't wait to fill the entire island with divine beasts. Tang Poyu then adjusted the time flow on the island to be the same as that of the outside world, because only the flow of time is different on the island, while the people on the island experience normal time. Tang Poyu didn't want to stay here too long and end up looking old when he came out, only to find that not much time had passed outside. That would be awkward. Or perhaps time inside flies by too fast. You spend only a short time inside, but several years have passed outside. Therefore, to synchronize the island's time with the outside world, you only need to speed up or slow down the island's time and make adjustments. Chapter 15, The Magical Items in Blind Boxes. Hey, you said you killed that little lizard. Did you get anything good? Let me see, Mingyu asked curiously. Tang Poyu replied, "No, although the beast bones of the Beast King bloodline are worth some money, I didn't take them to avoid unnecessary trouble. The quest itself costs 50 points and a map fragment. In that case, you now have 2 fragments. You only need 7 more to complete a map, and then you'll know the whereabouts of a divine beast," Mingyu said. Mingyu appeared very happy. "You seem happier than I am." Mingyu grinned mischievously and said, "A new partner has arrived, so I'll be the big sister. From now on, I won't have to do things like building houses anymore. You hurry up and gather all the maps." Tang Poyu was speechless. So that's what this scumbag dragon was thinking. Tang Poyu thought that this scumbag dragon was thinking that with the addition of new companions, their overall strength would increase. In the end, all she wanted was a little follower she could boss around. With 50 points, Tang Poyu decided to exchange them for 5 more surprise blind boxes to see if he could get anything good. After all, there's nothing else you can exchange point for right now. You can buy low-grade recovery medicines like Daliwan directly at a pharmacy. As for the fragments of memory in the sky, Tang Poyu didn't know what they were, let alone how expensive they were. After asking Mingyu, Mingyu also didn't know what it was. So, now you can exchange points for blind boxes and become a happy gambling addict. I'll open them. Mingyu couldn't wait to open the 5 surprise blind boxes that Tang Poyu had exchanged. Tang Poyu said, "You're not going to give me another dissertation defense, are you? Here are 2 for you. This time, you'll have to take all the credit." Mingyu patted his chest and said, "The previous incident was an accident, but there won't be any more accidents now. Just watch. My invincible sky dragon is blessed by the god of fortune." As she spoke, Mingyu stretched out both hands, her fingernails slicing open the two blind boxes. The two leaned closer to take a look. The next second, Tang Poiyu pinched his nose. "Damn, you actually ordered 2 more servings of 9-turn intestines. You ate them yourself." "That's not right. It's a mistake. A mistake. I'll open 2 more. Get out of the way." Tang Poiyu wouldn't let Mingyu drive again. This scumbag can rack up so many high-interest loans from gambling. She's not cut out to be a gambler. After pushing Mingyu away, Tang Poiyu opened a surprise blind box. Inside was a pill. Tang Poiyu took it out and looked at it, then used the spirit control terminal to check the effects of the medicine. The Divine Power Pill is a top-grade recovery medicine, with effects dozens of times greater than the Mighty Strength Pill. A high-quality recovery medicine can save lives in critical moments. A single high-grade recovery pill can cost hundreds of thousands of spirit coins. "See, I'm much luckier than you, aren't I? I don't believe it. I want to open another one." As he spoke, Mingyu snatched another surprise blind box. After opening it, this time it wasn't the 9-turn intestines. There was a strange insect inside. "What is that?" Mingyu poked it with his finger. Tang Poiyu opened the spirit control terminal and checked. "Don't touch." However, it was too late. At that moment, a plume of smoke shot out from the insect's tail, and the surrounding area instantly filled with a stench. "Ugh, those are stink bugs. They spray out a lot of foul-smelling gas when stimulated. What kind of junk are you driving, you lousy dragon?" Tang Poiyu quickly grabbed the last surprise blind box and ran to the side, determined not to let that scumbag dragon open it again. Tang Poiyu carefully opened the last blind box. The blind box contains a wristband. Tang Poiyu tried to check using the spirit control terminal, but the terminal could not display anything. In other words, this wristband was not recorded in the spirit control terminal. Tang Poiyu could only look up information about this wristband within the Beast Breeding Island system. The data was displayed very quickly. Name, Sky Wristband. Grade, Divine Artifact. Ability, when equipped, using the skills of a summoned beast under contract can upgrade those skills. Tang Poi got pet. Could it be? He'd unearthed a divine artifact. The equipment used by beast tamers to control spirits and the equipment used by their summoned beasts are classified into different grades. From lowest to highest, they are common, fine, top grade, superior, unique, spiritual artifact, and divine artifact. Tang Poiyu never expected that he would unearth a divine artifact. However, the description of the sky bracers is a bit too abstract. Tang Poiyu understood that after equipping Mingyu, using her skills would upgrade them. Tang Poiyu didn't know what the upgrade would look like, so he could only try it out himself. Wear wristbands. Dragon scale armor. Instantly, golden dragon scale armor appeared on Tang Poiyu's body. The color changed, but I couldn't see any difference afterward. "This is the divine dragon armor," Mingyu said. "Its defensive capabilities are far superior to ordinary dragon scale armor." Thunderous roar. In an instant, dark clouds filled the sky. The entire Beast Breeding Island was shrouded in thunderclouds, and the next second, lightning struck, covering the entire island within its attack range. Tang Poiyu quickly stopped his thunderous roar. This isn't just a raging thunderbolt, it's a map-wide attack. This entire island is shrouded in its fury. Heavenly Prison. This is the ultimate skill of the lightning element. Among lightning-type attacks, only spirit skills or divine skills can surpass Heavenly Prison, Mingyu said. After hearing this, Tang Poiyu touched the wrist guard on his hand and laughed. It really is a good thing. With the Sky Gauntlets, Tang Poiyu has another trump card. Normally, use your skills as usual, but when it's crucial, use the Sky Bracers to upgrade your skills. That's an absolute game changer. "See, I'm still lucky." Just pure luck." Mingyu was somewhat unconvinced. "Stop whining and finish those 2 plates of your thesis defense, or you're not leaving the island." "Bah, no. Please eat a plate for me." "Go, I'm going back to sleep." "You can eat slowly." With that, Tang Poiyu left the Beast Breeding Island. The next day, the news that the mayor's son's summoned beast had been killed spread throughout the entire Dragon Town. No one knows who killed him. Even Long Chong and the 2 women with him couldn't say for sure. All they knew were people from elsewhere who wanted to rob them. If he had known earlier that the other party would kill his summoned beast, perhaps he should have given him some money to send him away. However, Long Chong was unaware that the others were after his summoned beast. Although Long Chi-Tian demanded that the spirit management team investigate the matter within 3 days and catch the person who killed his son's summoned beast. But ultimately, it's estimated that there won't be any results. After school in the afternoon, Tang Poyu went to the Summoning Beast Trading Center. He had arranged to meet Zhao Yiqing yesterday, and he would return her money there. Of course, he'll repay it in another way. After all, once the money is in Tang Poyu's pocket, he won't give it back so easily. Chapter 16 Star Rating. Summoning Beast Trading Center. Zhao Yiqing was already waiting for Tang Poyu here. Tang Poyu gvit Zhao Yiqing, Zhao Yiqing said. As you said, I'm waiting for you here. What about my money? Tang Poyu laughed and said, don't talk about money as soon as we meet. Haven't you heard? Talking about money hurts feelings. Who has any feelings for you? Let me tell you, if you're not leaving Yulong Town, then you'd better give me back my money. Do you even know how long it took me to save up this amount? Zhao Yiqing frowned deeply. She had nothing to say if Tang Poyu really took the money and left Yulong Town. But this guy not only wouldn't leave, he also refused to return the money to her. Follow me, Tang Poyu said. Afterwards, Tang Poyu led Zhao Yiqing on a tour of the unidentified cub area. After some selection, Tang Poyu handed the 2 cubs to Zhao Yiqing and said, these 2 are enough to offset your 1 million spirit coins. Looking at the 2 summoned beasts in front of him, one was a 3-headed serpent, and the other was a phantom spirit. A reptilian and an undead summoned beast cub. What does that mean? Zhao Yiqing asked. Tang Poyu replied, let's examine it. Zhao Yiqing brought the appraisal stone with some skepticism. She then used an identification stone on the 2 summoned beast cubs. The next second, the identification stone emitted a purple light. It's an epic bloodline. My goodness, 2 at once. Miss Zhao is incredibly lucky. She managed to identify 2 summoned beasts with epic bloodlines at the same time. At the same time, 2 summoned beasts with epic bloodlines were identified, and people around immediately gathered around. It seems the Zhao family stall has quite a few good items. Yesterday, they got a legendary bloodline summoned beast, and today, they got 2 epic ones in a row. Hurry, and go to Zhao's stall to buy some. Zhao Yiqing was still a little confused at this moment. Although epic-level summoned beasts are not too rare for Zhao Yiqing, these 2 summoned beasts could definitely fetch over 1 million if sold. The 3-headed serpent might be cheaper, since it's just a reptile. However, the price of the undead's ethereal spirits is higher. These 2 epic-level summoned beasts could fetch 1.2 to 1.3 million if sold. In that case, repaying her 1 million would be more than enough. How about it? I don't owe you anything anymore, Tang Poyu said with a smile. Zhao Yiqing looked at Tang Poyu in surprise. If yesterday was just a lucky coincidence, what about today? Once, twice, and 3 times, is this still considered good luck? How did you do that? Zhao Yiqing asked. Tang Poyu laughed and said, I've already said I'm a gambling addict, so of course it's luck. Zhao Yiqing snorted and said, 3 summoned beasts in a row, 1 legendary, and 2 epic. Is this something that can be achieved by luck? And you picked up and looked at each of them. If it were really just luck, there would be no need to pick them up and look at them one by one. Tang Poyu laughed and said, I already said it was all luck. Believe it or not is up to you. Now I don't owe you any money. I'm leaving. After saying that, Tang Poyu turned to leave. Wait a minute. Zhao Yiqing called out to Tang Poyu. Is there anything else? Zhao Yiqing said, on behalf of the Zhao family, I invite you to be my appraiser. You can come and work for 1 to 2 hours every afternoon after school. How much money can you afford? Tang Poyu asked. Zhao Yiqing said, your fixed salary is 100,000 spirit coins per month. After that, you'll receive a 20% commission on every rare or higher rarity summoned beast you identify. Tang Poyu lao get, hai mui. Why don't I just buy it? Anyway, it's not expensive before it's appraised. If I buy it myself, I'll make 100. Zhao Yiqing smiled smugly. I can make sure you can't buy a single summoned beast at the Summoned Beast Trading Center in Yulong Town. Either we cooperate, or you won't be able to buy any summoned beasts here anymore. Wow, you're really ruthless. Zhao Yiqing asked, how about it? Would you like to become an appraiser for the Zhao family? Tang Poyu thought for a moment and said, 20 is too little. At least split it 50/50ths. 30, Zhao Yiqing said. 45, Tang Poyu wrote. 35, Zhao Yiqing said. At least 40, or you should find someone else to do it, Tang Poyu said. Zhao Yiqing thought about it. If Tang Poyu could really select high-level bloodlines from the summoned beasts that were missed in the screening, giving him a 40% commission wouldn't be a loss. After all, if they weren't selected, they would just be sold at the lowest price. Deal made, Zhao Yiqing said. And so, Tang Poyu was hired by Zhao Yiqing to be the Zhao family's appraiser. I work 1 to 2 hours a day. Tang Poyu agreed because he thought the returns were quite good. After all, he would receive a fixed 100,000 per month. Regardless of whether he identified any good summoned beast that month, he would still get 100,000. In this world, 100,000 spirit coins is roughly equivalent to 2 or 3 years' worth of living expenses for an average family of 3. Tang Poyu's family is not in good financial condition right now, so he hopes to improve their financial situation through this job. Although he could get spirit coins even without doing this job, he wouldn't know how to explain it to his father. How did such a large sum of money come about out of nowhere? Now, with this job, my money has a legitimate source, and it's easier to explain things to my family. Of course, the Zhao family was simply handing over the already selected summoned beast to Tang Poyu for another round of selection. In short, they were just picking up the leftovers. Therefore, there couldn't possibly be too many truly exceptional beasts among them. Over the course of a week, Tang Poyu identified 5 epic level and 1 legendary level beast for the Zhao family. These 6 summoned beasts brought Tang Poyu an income of over 2 million. Actually, the Zhao family was happy, and Tang Poyu was happy too. They both felt they had gained something. It's been a week since school started. The new students have all signed contracts with their summoned beasts in accordance with the Academy's requirements. Today is the first test for new students, the star rating assessment. All new students will be given a college badge, which is required to enter the college. A mark will be engraved on the college badge to indicate the student's ability. This is called the new student rating system. 1 to 5 stars. If someone is recognized as a genius by the Academy, the 5 stars on the Academy emblem will be replaced by a sun. Within the Academy, the higher the number of stars one possesses, the more influence one has. And if one has the Sun Academy emblem, then that's practically a human right. Not to mention the students of the college. Even the ordinary teachers of the college have to treat the students with the Sun College emblem with utmost respect. And today is the star rating assessment for the new students. Early in the morning, the new students lined up neatly on the playground according to their classes. Old Tang, the freshman rating tests the attack ability of summoned beasts. Is Mingyu okay? Ho Fan was a little worried about Tang Poyu. After all, Mingyu has some defense, but his attack is, well, let's just say it's not great. Damn it, the star rating only considers the attack power of summoned beasts. Chapter 17, The First Scattered Star? Let fate decide. At worst, the star rating will be lower. It won't matter, Tang Poyu said. Ho Fan said, what do you mean by it won't affect anything? The Academy will allocate resources according to the star rating. Class, please be quiet. Just then, an elderly man with white hair walked onto the stage. He glanced at the students below and said, I am the Dean of the Academy, a senior spirit master, Sun Chun. At this moment, applause erupted from the audience. Judging by his age, he's only a high-level spirit master, Tang Poyu said. Ho Fan said, Old Tang, do you think becoming a heavenly level spirit master is so easy? Once a summoned beast reaches level 100, each subsequent level is extremely difficult. Currently, there's only one heavenly level beast master in the town, Long Chitian. Students, please be quiet and listen to me, Sun Chen said. Tang Poyu and Ho Fan quickly shut up. Sun Chen continued, classmates, you can all see this wooden stake in front of you. Today's test will involve your summoned beasts attacking this stake with their strongest attacks. The stake will record the destructive power of your summoned beasts. Finally, your performance will be rated based on the destructive power. After the rating, I will personally engrave stars representing your strength on the Academy badge and award it to you. Hearing this, the students below became very excited. For a Beastmaster, obtaining a high-star Academy badge in an intermediate academy might be the first honor in their life. At this moment, Sun Chun continued, I believe everyone has heard about the Sun Academy emblem, but the Sun Academy emblem has not been produced for 3 consecutive years. I hope that some of you will be able to obtain the Sun Academy emblem today. At this moment, cheers erupted from below. Okay, let's test them one by one in the order they are arranged. The population of Yulong Town is not large, so the number of new students in the academy each year is also not large. Take Tang Poyu's class as an example. There were 3 classes in total, with only 34 students in each class, and a total of 110 to 120 freshmen. Starting with Class 1, students will take turns going up to be tested. The first person to go up was a boy with a buzz cut. I am Zhang Shuang from Class 1. Okay, let's begin. Come fort, Icebeard. As it was summoned, A snow-white summoned beast that looked like an eagle emerged from the spatial rift. Ice bird, use your ice blast skill. The ice bird flapped its wings, and the flapping of its wings created a blizzard that swept towards the wooden stake. Soon, the wooden stakes were hit by the ice blast skill, making a crackling sound. After all, it was just a low-level summoned beast, and its attacks weren't enough to shatter the wooden stake. Of course, this wasn't an ordinary wooden stake either. It had been enhanced with psionic energy. Zhang Shuang from Class 1, rated 2 stars. At this moment, Sun Shin picked up a college badge. As his fingers swept across the badge, 2 5-pointed stars appeared on it. Sun Shin personally pinned a star rating on Zhang Shuang's chest and said, "Very good. There's a chance to get a star rating every month. And, of course, the criteria for each rating are different. You started with 2 stars, which is excellent. Thank you, Dean." Wearing the 2-star Academy badge, Zhang Shuang stepped off the stage with her head held high. In fact, most students know that getting 2 stars in the first star rating for freshmen is considered very good. Generally, 90% of students get 1 star. Star rating continues. Next, more than 10 students took the stage, all of whom only had 1 star. Zhang Shuang was even more smug now, as he was the only one with 2 stars so far. Now, it was finally Zhao Yicheng's turn. Zhao Yicheng is quite well known in the academy. After all, among the freshmen, there's only one person known to possess a Beast King-level bloodline, Summoned Beast, Zhao Yicheng. Of course, many other students' summoned beasts haven't been revealed yet. Therefore, everyone is looking forward to Zhao Yicheng's appearance and seeing how many stars she can get. Class 1, Zhao Yicheng. Zhao Yicheng said after going on stage. The assessor nodded and said, "Let's begin. Good luck. March, it's up to you." The 3-tailed fox was summoned by Zhao Yicheng. The flame of the demon fox. Starting in January, the 3-tailed fox's 3 bushy tails transform into 3 pink flames. Then the 3-tailed fox suddenly whipped its tail, sending 3 balls of flame hurtling towards the wooden stake. 3 explosions rang out in quick succession, and thick smoke rose from the scene. After the thick smoke dissipated, charred marks could be seen on the wooden stakes in front, and signs of imminent breakage could be seen. The grading teacher nodded and said, "Not bad. Zhao Yicheng from Class 1, 4 stars. Wow, impressive." As expected of Zhao Yicheng, a summoned beast with Beast King bloodline is incredibly powerful, 4 stars. Sun Shin personally pinned the college badge on Zhao Yicheng. "Excellent, keep up the good work." "Thank you, Dean." The test then continued. Soon, Class 1's results were announced. Ultimately, 5 students achieved 2 stars, 1 achieved 3 stars, and 1 achieved 4 stars. This was a good result, at least above the average score of previous years. Next up is Class 2, which is the class Tang Poyu is in. One by one, the students in front of us went up, each with a 1-star rating. It was finally Tang Poyu's turn. Tang Poyu stepped onto the stage. Class 2, Tang Poyu. Okay, let's begin. As Tang Poyu was summoned, a crack appeared in the space in front of him. The next second, with a loud bang, Mingyu rolled out of the spatial crack. However, Mingyu, who had rolled out, lay motionless on the ground. Everyone was puzzled. What was going on? No movement. Was it dead? Tang Poyu went over to take a look. "I bet big I'll eat. Haha, I won. Give me the spirit coins. Let's snore. Tang Poyu was immediately convinced that this scumbag dragon was still sleeping and even dreaming about gambling. At this moment, the audience burst into laughter. What kind of summoned beast is that? It's fast asleep at a crucial moment. Sun Chen's eye twitched slightly. Tang Poyu gently kicked Mingyu with his foot. "Hey, get up. Where are my spirit coins? They're gone. I just won so many spirit coins." Mingyu woke up and was still searching everywhere for her 1 spirit coins. She didn't seem fully awake yet. This caused everyone to burst into laughter. "Wake up. This is the Academy's star rating assessment, and you need to attack that wooden stake." Mingyu glanced at the wooden stake in front of him and laughed. "Easy peasy. Watch me thunderstrike." A thin bolt of lightning, almost invisible, struck the wooden stake. The stake showed no reaction whatsoever. Even the damage tester didn't register any change in its readings. Mistake, watch my iron fist," Mingyu said, charging forward and punching the wooden stake. My hand, it hurts. Haha, what the heck is this?" I'd always heard she was a disgrace to the divine beasts, a useless dragon of Dongyao, and today I've witnessed it firsthand. That's outrageous. Haha, it's hilarious. Faced with the ridicule from the audience, Tang Poyu was speechless. In fact, he had already guessed that this would happen, since Mingyu had no offensive power. Mingyu himself didn't seem to care at all. He was just too thick-skinned. I'm done playing. I'm going to play cards. With that, she swaggered away. Tang Poyu's summoned beast from Class 2 did not cause any damage to the wooden stake, so it cannot be rated. 0 stars. Huh. He can't be the first person to get 0 stars since the college was founded, can he? Absolutely. As long as you can cause damage, you're guaranteed at least 1 star. He's the first one to get 0 stars. The first single star is definitely a historic achievement. Haha. Don't be discouraged. Everyone knows Mingyu's situation. If all else fails, we could try a different summoned beast. Sun Shun said to Tang Poyu at this moment, and then pinned a college badge without a star to Tang Poyu's chest. Chapter 18, The Emblem of the Sun Academy. Wearing only a few scattered college badges as he stepped off the stage, he was met with ridicule from students in Class 1 and Class 3, while students in Class 2 looked down on him. After all, the class's average grades will affect the college's allocation of resources to the class. This is a very realistic world where the strong have more resources. Old Tang, it's alright. There will be a monthly exam every month from now on. The exams will cover all sorts of things, and it won't just be about the summoned beast attack power anymore. By then, your star rating will definitely go up. Ho Fan said, patting Tang Poyu on the shoulder. I thought Tang Poyu would be very sad, so I came to offer my comfort. However, Tang Poyu seemed completely unconcerned. Tang Poyu doesn't really care too much about the star rating of this academy badge right now. It's just a matter of allocating a few less resources. How many resources can a mid-level academy possibly allocate? He doesn't lack those resources. Next one. Ho Fan said. He then hurriedly went on stage and summoned the little fire turtle. At first, no one paid any attention to this little fire turtle. However, when someone used the spirit control terminal to check the little fire turtle's information, they were shocked. Legend has it that it is actually a little fire turtle with a legendary bloodline. Upon hearing this, everyone used their spirit control terminals to check. That's truly legendary, amazing. Little fire turtle, fireball. The little fire turtle opened its mouth and spat a fireball at the wooden stake. With a loud bang, the fireball struck the wooden stake. Good. Ho Fan from Class 2, 3 stars. Ho Fan put on his Samsung badge and returned to the group, head held high. Wow, Ho Fan, that's amazing. 3 stars. Let me see. At this moment, many people came over to look at Ho Fan's college badge. Line up, one more person up, Bailey Jean said at this moment. The evaluation continues. Class 2 finished quickly as well. Besides Ho Fan, who had 1 3-star rating, the other 3 had 2-star ratings. After that, except for Tang Poyu with a few stars, everyone else had 1-star ratings. Currently, Class 2's performance is much weaker than Class 1's. Class 3 has started. Class 3 also performed well. It's not over yet, and there are already 5 2-star and 2 3-star characters. The last student from Class 3 went on stage. This boy with a buzz cut had a hint of arrogance in his eyes. I heard this guy is Long Chi-tian's adopted son. Ho Fan whispered in Tang Poyu's ear. Tang Poyu was slightly startled. Long Chi-tian has an adopted son? Yes. I heard he attended the beginner-level beast taming academy in another city and just returned. I've heard his adopted son is very capable, and Long Chi-tian probably had him return to attend the intermediate-level beast taming academy to increase the Long family's prestige in the town, Ho Fan said. At this moment, the boy on the stage said coldly, My name is Long Ao from Class 3. Come out and kill. As Long Ao summoned his beast, with a whoosh, the space in front of him seemed to be cleaved open by something. The next second, a winged, somewhat ferocious-looking humanoid summoned beast flew out from the spatial rift that had been cleaved open. Upon seeing the summoned beast, everyone quickly used the spirit control terminal to check its information. Name, Little Knight, Demon Slaughter. Race, Demon. Attributes, Strength, Darkness. Bloodline, Beast King level. Level, 15. Attributes, Strength 185, Agility 105, Defense 88. Skills, Heaven Slaying Slash, Shadow of Darkness. Master, Long Ao. Instantly, a chorus of surprised exclamations erupted from the audience. The Beast King is actually a Beast King level being. My god, this is the first time I've ever seen a Beast King level summoned beast. And it's even a demon. That's so cool. My adopted son got such a good summoned beast, but my biological son only got a winged lizard, Tang Poyu said to Ho Fan in a low voice. Ho Fan said, Long Ao is known as a genius among geniuses, and signing a summon beast contract isn't something that can be done casually. The higher the bloodline level and the higher the race level, the more difficult it is to sign a contract. It requires the talent of a beast tamer. To put it bluntly, Long Chong is just a spoiled brat who lives a life of leisure. Being able to sign such a summoned beast is the limit of his ability. But Long Ao is different. He can now sign a Beast King level summoned beast, and a demon type one at that, because that's the best summoned beast the Long family could find for him. If there were better ones, he probably could have successfully signed a contract with him too. Slaughter attack. Following Long Ao's command, the little knight demon leaped toward the wooden stake. The next second, the little blood demon's right hand turned into a dark blade. With a whoosh, the wooden stake was cleaved in two. Then, the little blood demon swung his dark blade repeatedly, cutting the wooden stake into pieces. That's incredible. That's so cool. Is Xiao Yimo handsome or Long Ao handsome? They're both so handsome. I want to marry Long Ao someday. Don't be shameless. If anyone's going to get married, it'll be me. The teachers evaluating the test were shocked. Could a freshman who had just entered the intermediate academy really have done something like damaging the wooden stake like this? As expected of someone from the Long family, with his exceptional talent and the Long family's abundant resources, he has created such a terrifying genius. Class 3, Long Ao, rated 5 stars. Long Ao frowned slightly, clearly dissatisfied with the assessment. However, Sun Chun then said, Long Ao deserves the title of genius. Our college hasn't had a student with the sun emblem for 3 years. And today, I announce that Long Ao has been awarded the sun emblem. Clearly, if we had to say, Long Ao might still be a little short of the Sun Academy emblem. However, given the Long family's background and Long Ao's truly astonishing talent, Sun Chun was essentially giving the Long family face by awarding Long Ao the Sun Academy badge. My goodness, that's amazing. The Sun Academy emblem is actually in Class 3. At this moment, everyone in Class 3 stood tall and proud. Their class produced a sun emblem, which made everyone in their class look like the sun emblem. The final results are in, and without a doubt, Class 3 came in first place in the freshman star rating. The students in Class 3 are ecstatic. It's all Tang Poyu's fault. He dragged the whole class down. That's right, the first sporadic case in history, a disgrace. After the class was dismissed and they returned to the classroom, the other students in Class 2 started to shift the blame onto Tang Poyu. However, they did not consider that even if Tang Poyu got 1 or 2 stars, Class 2 would still be the worst. These guys are just looking for a scapegoat. What are you talking about? What does this have to do with Lao Tang? Why don't you just say you're bad at it? At this moment, Ho Fan slammed his hand on the table. Now no one in the class dares to argue with Ho Fan. After all, Ho Fan is the only one in the class with a 3-star college badge. Just then, Bailey Jean walked into the classroom. Why do you all have that expression? Our class is 3rd place. That's not bad, Bailey Jean said. Teacher Bailey, there are only 3 classes in total, and our class has 1 sporadic student from the past, a girl said. Bailey Jean said, actually, Tang Poyu was not the first sporadic student in history. There was another sporadic student in the history of our academy. Who is he? Everyone's interest was immediately piqued. Bailey Jean replied, Li Yifun, a dragon-level beast tamer. Our dragon tamer town is named after him. Chapter 19, Practical Lessons. Bai Li Jin's word surprised everyone. They never expected that the legendary figure in the town was also someone who received 0 stars in the freshman evaluation. To everyone's surprise, Bailey Jean continued, so don't look down on anyone. Everyone has unlimited potential. As long as you work hard, you can create endless possibilities. Tang Poyu couldn't help but burst out laughing. Tang Poyu truly never expected that someone as serious as Bailey Jean would actually spout inspirational platitudes. Tang Poyu is not a child, at least not in his mental age. Before being sent to this world by the goddess of wisdom, he had been a corporate slave who had been struggling in society for several years. So they become immune to this kind of inspirational rhetoric, while these students listened with great enthusiasm, each feeling that they could become a dragon-level beast tamer in the next second. Tang Poyu, what are you laughing at? 1. Tell Bailey Jean that you remembered something happy. Reward, 20 points, 1 map fragment. 2. Tell Bailey Jean that this is just empty platitudes trying to fool people. Reward, 20 points, all summon beasts on Beast Breeding Island gain +1 to their strength attribute. 3. Remain silent, reward 10 points. At this moment, a selection box appeared in the animal breeding island system. All summoned beasts on the second breeding island gain +1 to their strength attribute. However, there isn't a single summoned beast on Tang Poyu's beast breeding island right now. Mingyu is a contracted summoned beast that signed a contract with Tang Poyu and has nothing to do with the beast breeding island. Therefore, it seems that choosing option 1 offers the most generous reward. Tang Poyu stood up and said, I remembered something happy. What made you happy? 1. Tell Bailey Jean that this has nothing to do with you. Reward, 20 points. All summoned beasts on Beast Breeding Island gain +2 agility attribute. 2. Tell Bailey Jean that his wife has given birth. Reward, 50 points, 2 map fragments. Damn it, are you kidding me? Why are there only 2 options left? And why is the reward for the second one so high? Is this on purpose? Tang Poyu thought to himself. He suspected that this was a deliberate attempt to frame him. In a previous world, he was already 30 and still didn't have a wife. Now here, he's only 16. Where'd he find a wife? But the second option offers too many choices. 2 map fragments. With these 2 fragments, we now have a total of 5. We only need 4 more to complete the first map. My wife gave birth. There was nothing I could do. The second option offered too many choices. Bai Li Jin was stunned, and then all the classmates in the class were also stunned. Then, the whole class burst into laughter. Bailey Jin's expression was rather unpleasant. Now she was certain that Tang Poyu was a troublemaker. Oh well, Tang Poyu didn't care. At least he got 70 points and 3 map fragments. Tang Poyu would love for more of these ridiculously easy-to-obtain map fragments. I don't care about the community dying, as long as I get more map fragments. Bailey Jean checked the time. It was almost noon. At this point, she didn't know what to say about Tang Poyu. Get out of class is over, go have lunch. This afternoon will be your first practical lesson. Yeah. Ho Fan then put his arm around Tang Poyu's shoulder and said, Old Tang, you're amazing. When did you get a wife? You actually took it seriously? Tang Poyu said. Ho Fan laughed. Ha, I didn't expect you to be so brave, daring to speak to Teacher Bailey like that. Nonsense, I'm super brave, okay? Let's go eat at the cafeteria, it's on me. Then I won't be polite, I want braised pork. In the afternoon, the practical training class that everyone had been looking forward to finally began. Bailey Jean looked at the students lined up neatly in front of him and said, Now, divide into pairs and have your summoned beast battle. Remember, only summoned beasts can battle. Beast tamers are not allowed to participate. Tang Poyu raised his hand. Seeing Tang Poyu raise his hand, Bailey Jin's eyes twitched. To be honest, she really wanted to ignore Tang Poyu. After all, she didn't know what earth-shattering things this troublemaker was going to say next. However, she couldn't ignore it, because when Tang Poyu saw that Bailey Jean didn't let him speak, he simply jumped up and down while raising his hand. There's nothing we can do. Tang Poyu, what do you want to say? Bailey Jean asked. Tang Poyu asked, Teacher Bailey, why can I only fight with summoned beasts? My summoned beasts don't have any attack capabilities. Can I join the battle on my own? Bailey Jean said, Beastmasters can only obtain 10 attributes from contracted summoned beasts. Do you think you, with only Mingyu's 10 attributes, can be stronger than her when you go on the field? Well, I do have some offensive capabilities myself, Tang Poyu said. Bailey Jean said, Our practical training only covers battles between summoned beasts, because beast tamers don't need to personally participate. Even in various competitions at intermediate academies across the country, beast tamers are prohibited from personally participating. This is because summoned beasts have strong self-healing abilities and can recover slowly from injuries. Humans, on the other hand, don't recover as well as summoned beasts. This is to protect you. Are we destined to live under protection forever if we encounter enemies? Will they only attack our summoned beasts? The reason Dong Yao hasn't achieved a good ranking in international competitions for so many years is because of problems with its basic education. How can flowers grown in a greenhouse be capable of facing the winds and rains of nature? Tang Poyu said. Bai Li Jin frowned. Sure enough, this guy was a troublemaker. Tang Poyu, if you have any questions, you shouldn't come to me. I'm just teaching according to the regulations. At the Intermediate Beast Taming Academy, no student may participate in combat personally, Bailey Jean said. Tang Poyu sighed and remained silent. Perhaps the purpose of doing this is to protect students, but do students who are overprotected have the ability to face danger once they go out? Tang Poyu's question remained unanswered. The group battles have begun. There are 35 students in class 2, so one student will be left alone. Tang Poyu and Ho Fan were in a group, and in the end, a girl was left out. Ho Fan, you're paired with Zhou Qian, Bailey Jean said. Teacher Bailey, what about Lao Tang? Bai Li Jean replied. His summoned beast has no attack ability, so let him watch from the side. We'll put it into actual combat when he gets a summoned beast with attack ability later. But Teacher Bailey, follow my instructions, Bailey Jean said sternly. Tang Poyu patted Ho Fan on the shoulder and laughed. Go on, monkey, don't leave that girl alone without a team. It'll be so awkward. And you? I'm Fina. Mingyu is too lazy to even burn lice. She doesn't want to do this kind of boring battle here, Tang Poyu said. Understand, Ho Fan said. Tang Poyu then walked to the side and watched the battle. He summoned Mingyu to his side and chatted with him. I just summoned him, and good heavens, this scumbag dragon is still holding dice in his hand. He really went gambling. Haha, luckily you summoned me. I lost 200,000 and haven't given him the money yet. I was just thinking about how to run away when you summoned me. Tang Poyu was speechless at this scumbag dragon. Just then a few students from class 3 walked over, led by Long Ao. With a big smile, Long Ao said to Bailey Jean, Teacher, could you find a few people from your class to practice with us? It would be good for the classes to exchange ideas and strengthen their relationships. Chapter 20, how about I give it a try? There are 5 students in class 3. Long Ao has the sun emblem. The other 2 have 3-star emblems, and the other 2 have 2-star emblems. Is this lineup just for practice? To put it bluntly, they came to establish their authority. Of the 3 classes of freshmen, Class 2 was the weakest, so the students in Class 3 were targeting Class 2. Bailey Jean also knew that the people from Class 3 were there to establish their authority, and that no one from Class 2 could beat them. Just as I was about to refuse, the practical training teacher from Class 3 walked over. Teacher Bailey, there are exactly 5 people in a team. Why don't you select 5 people from your class and let them practice? Bailey Jean's eye twitched. This guy was clearly doing it on purpose. The practical class teacher in Class 3 is named Wang Chong. He had pursued Bailey Jean many times before, but Bailey Jean rejected him each time. He was lucky this time. Several strong new students came from Class 3, so he was deliberately trying to embarrass Bailey Jean. Teacher Bailey, you're not scared, are you? I know that although the students in your Class 2 are weak, we don't bully others. How about this? We'll send 3 people to fight against your 5. You're not going to be too scared to compete, are you? Wang Chong said with a smile, looking like he was waiting to see a good show. Teacher Bailey, why are we afraid of them when we're comparing ourselves to them? At this moment, the student from Class 2 also gathered around. It's normal for young people to be hot-blooded and unable to control themselves when provoked, but they never considered how big the gap was between them and the other party. Long Ao alone has the ability to take on 5 opponents. Bailey Jean said, Okay, let's have a match. No need for 3v5. Let's have 5v5. Haha. Teacher Bailey, you said it yourself. Bai Li Jean looked at the students in the class and said, Ho Fan, Malu, Chun Shui, Miyang, Zhong Chao, the 5 of you go up. Yes. The group then proceeded to the center of the playground. Hearing that Class 3 and Class 2 were going to have a team battle, the students from Class 1 all came over to watch. The 10 contestants stood facing each other. Each of them then summoned their own summoned beast. The members of Class 2 are Little Fire Turtle, Snow Spirit, Azure Moon Wolf, Swift Eagle, and Gale Dog. Apart from Ho Fan's Fire Turtle, which has a legendary bloodline, the rest are all rare. Meanwhile, Class 3 consists of Little Night Demon, Vast Snow Spirit, Heavenly Demon Tiger, Dragon Python, and Giant Wingbat. Long Ao's Little Night Demon is a Beast King level. One is a legendary level Kangmang Snow Spirit, and the other 3 are epic level. The lineup and configuration are not even in the same league. Actually, there's no need to even compare them to know the result. The competition begins. Kill them, get rid of them. Long Ao gave the order to the Little Night Demon. The Little Night Demon instantly merged into the shadows, and the next second, the shadow on the ground darted quickly to Shui Ling's front. Suddenly, the Little Night Demon sprang out from the shadows, his arm transforming into Amblade. Heaven opening, slash. With a whoosh, Shui Ling was hit before she could even react. Shui Ling was instantly injured and lost her ability to fight. The next second, the Little Night Demon disappeared back into the shadows, waiting to ambush its next target. As expected, it was a battle with no suspense whatsoever. Less than half a minute into the game, one of the summoned beasts from Class 2 was eliminated. At this moment, the other 4 summoned beasts from Class 3 began to move. They didn't attack. They just harassed them from the sidelines. Their harassment drew the attention of the summoned beasts from Class 2. Just when the little demon was not being noticed, he leaped out of his shadow once again. Heaven opening slash. This attack killed 2 enemies at once. The Azure Moon Wolf and the Gale Hound were also hit and immediately lost their ability to fight. As expected, the difference in strength was huge. They couldn't even withstand a single attack from Little Night Demon. On Class 2's side, only Rapid Eagle and Little Fire Turtle remain. Thanks to its flying ability, the Swift Eagle is not easily hit by the Little Night Demon. However, the next second, Kangmang Shuling took a deep breath and blew hard towards the location of the Swift Eagle. A cold front blew out, and it was too late for the Swift Eagle to run away. The cold wave froze its wings, causing it to land directly on the ground. Heaven opening slash. The Little Night Demon went up and slashed again, and with the mournful cry of the Swift Eagle, it was eliminated. Finally, only Little Fire Turtle remained in Class 2. The Little Fire Turtle has decent defense. It withstood a heaven-opening slash from the Little Night Demon and managed to hold on. But ultimately, it was 1 against 5, and the Little Fire Turtle couldn't hold on any longer, collapsing to the ground and fainting. Little Fire Turtle. Ho-Fan quickly went over and picked up the Little Fire Turtle. Little Fire Turtle, you did a great job. Get some rest now, Ho-Fan said. Teacher Bailey, your class's level is a bit low. Not a single person from our class was eliminated. That's too weak, Wang Chong said smugly. Bailey Jin's expression was not good, but she couldn't find any words to refute it. Indeed, they hadn't eliminated a single summoned beast from the other side. At this moment, the entire class of Class 2 was in low spirits. The people in Class 3 are really amazing. That's right, Long AO summoned beast is too strong. I'm afraid only Zhao Yicheng in our class can fight against it. The students in Class 1 were discussing it. At this moment, Zhao Yicheng said, even in March, there is no way to fight that Little Night Demon. No way. Wouldn't that make the Little Night Demon invincible? Although Zhao Yicheng was unwilling to admit it, she still nodded and said, at least among the freshmen, he is invincible. The people in Class 2 are so useless. It's only been a few minutes, and they've already made a fool of themselves. The people in Class 3 said smugly. What did you say? Class 2 retorted, unconvinced. Oh, you're not convinced? If you're not convinced, then call out more people to fight our young Master Long and his men. At this moment, the people in Class 2 dared not speak anymore. What a joke. They didn't have the guts to fight Long AO and his group. After all, summoned beasts need to be healed when they get injured, and healing can cost a lot of money. Besides, the Little Night Demon's attack power is so strong that it's possible for it to be killed in one strike. Seeing that the students from Class 2 were silent, the student from Class 3 became even more arrogant, and it seemed they were about to directly mock them. How about I give it a try? Just then, Tang Poyu calmly stepped forward. Everyone was stunned when they saw Tang Poyu come out. Tang Poyu, are you kidding me? What kind of attack ability does your summoned beast have? You can't even hit the test, dummy. A student from Class 2 said at this moment. Tang Poyu said, I'm from Class 2, after all. You're mocking your own class from the perspective of someone from another class. This isn't meant to mock you. Don't forget, you're the only one among the freshmen who's a lone wolf. Tang Poyu didn't care. Instead, he looked at Long AO and his group of 5 and said, I'll challenge all 5 of you by myself. Are you interested in a contest? Let's add a wager. How about we bet on each class's resources for a month? Chapter 21, maybe they should all go. The crowd could hardly believe their ears. Had Tang Poyu gone mad? Did he really think he was capable of defeating the other 5? He was actually willing to gamble the entire class's resources for a month. Or was he doing this on purpose? He's mentally unstable. The whole class knows that. At lunchtime, he even said his wife had given birth. What else could it be but mental instability? At that moment, someone from Class 2 said something. Everyone is just watching this as a joke, since whether or not to gamble with a month's worth of resources from the class is not up to Tang Poyu alone. We, Class 3, have no problem with the resources for a month. But it's not certain for your Class 2. Can you represent your whole class? Wang Chong asked. Tang Poyu replied, that doesn't represent me. Tang Poyu then scanned the students in Class 2 and said, classmates, Class 3 is currently the top-ranked class among the freshmen, and they have twice the resources we do. If you trust me, Each of you will receive twice the resources this month. Old Tang, I believe in you, Ho Fan said. Tang Poyu, come on, why should we believe you? What ability do you, a nobody, have? Maybe you've conspired with the people from Class 3 to steal all the resources that are rightfully ours, said a member of Class 2. Then everyone echoed. It seemed that apart from Ho Fan, no one believed Tang Poyu. Tang Poyu shook his head. If that's the case, then forget it. The resources we win will be split equally between Monkey and me. You won't get any, so don't be jealous later. Don't worry, I won't be jealous. Tang Poyu smiled, then took out a divine power pill and said, this is a top-grade divine power pill, a recovery elixir that can save lives in critical moments. It could fetch several 100,000 if sold, definitely more than your entire class's resources for a month. I'll use this as a wager. After all, it's just a mid-level beast taming academy in a small town with limited funds, so the resources allocated to each class each month are also limited. As for pills, low-grade ones are worthless, and mid-grade ones aren't very expensive either. But once they reach the high-grade level, the price skyrockets. After all, high-quality recovery pills can truly be life-saving in critical moments. It's top-grade, actually a top-grade elixir. This guy actually has high-grade pills. At this moment, Wang Chong walked up to Tang Poyu. He looked at it carefully, nodded, and said, it is indeed a top-grade recovery medicine. Using this as a wager is certainly feasible. All right, since that's the case, then it's settled. All the students from the 3 classes are here, as are the teachers from the 3 practical training classes. Everyone be my witnesses. If I win, Class 3 will give me all their resources for this month. If I lose, this superior grade recovery pill will go to Class 2, Tang Poyu said. Haha, if you want to give us pills, you don't need to go to all that trouble. Just give them to us directly. A student from Class 3 laughed at this moment. His words drew laughter from everyone. Tang Poyu didn't care. He looked at Long Ao and the other 4 and said, come on. Tang Poyu, are you really going to fight all 5 of them by yourself? Bailey Jean asked. She didn't quite understand what Tang Poyu wanted to do. Since you're willing to throw away a top-grade pill, why not sell it and use the money to buy a more powerful summon beast? Yeah, I think 5 people are too few. Why don't we send the whole class? After all, my summon beast is a divine beast. It would be too unfair to deal with just 5 of them, Tang Poyu said. These words drew dissatisfaction from the students in Class 3. This guy was clearly looking down on them. You idiot. Are you asking for a beating? Your pathetic dragon doesn't even deserve to be called a divine beast. That's it, just a disgrace to the mythical beasts. Look at how capable you are. If you're not convinced, then the whole class can come at me together. Tang Poyu said. Well, you said it yourself. Did you think we wouldn't dare? Tang Poyu smiled and said, since your whole class is fighting against me alone, I'll set the rules for the competition. Is that all right? Long Ao stepped forward and said, no problem, you can set the rules yourself. The students in Class 3 really didn't care about the rules. There were 36 people in their class, and they didn't believe that 36 against 1 could lose. Tang Poyu asked Mingyu to draw a circle on the playground. Then Tang Poyu pointed to the circle and said, we'll compete inside the circle. The conditions for victory are either one side's summoned beast losing its combat ability or falling out of the circle. The one who falls out of the circle is the grandson and has to call the other side grandfather. How about that? After hearing the rules set by Tang Poyu, the students of Class 3 couldn't stop smiling. They originally thought Tang Poyu would set some strange rules that would benefit him, but they didn't expect it to be this kind of rule. Losing a summoned beast means losing its combat ability, and losing a summoned beast means losing its ability to move out of its circle. So isn't this still a competition based on the combat ability of the summoned beasts? Hey student, are you sure this is how you set the rules? There are 36 people in our class. You could actually set some rules that are more favorable to you, so we don't say we're bullying you, Wang Chong said. Tang Poyu laughed and said, it's okay. If you feel bored, you can join us. There are already 36 people, so one more won't make a difference. Wang Chong was stunned for a moment. His eye twitched. This kid was too arrogant. Forget it. My summon beast is already level 98. If I joined, it would be too much of a bully, Wang Chong said. 36 people against 1 person? That's not bullying, Bailey Jean said coldly. Wang Chong just smiled awkwardly and didn't say anything. In that case, let's just forget about it. It's just 1 less grandson, Tang Poyu said. Wang Chong wanted to say something more, but Tang Poyu had already entered the circle. He looked at the students in Class 3 and said, Come in, everyone. Remember, whoever summoned beast goes out of the circle loses. The person who goes out of the circle is the other person's grandson and has to respectfully call the other person grandpa. Haha, you think we're afraid of you? Well, then you'll have 36 more grandpas in a bit. Since you put it that way, we don't really want to defeat your summoned beast. We'll just blast out of the circle. What do you mean, 36 grandfathers? What about us girls? He has to call us grandmas. Yes. In a little while he'll be the grandson of everyone in our class 3. The students from class 3 arrogantly entered the circle. Then the 36 people summoned their summoned beasts. It's quite a sight to have 36 summoned beasts gathered together. On Tang Poyu's side, Mingyu naturally took the lead in the battle. What's this guy from class 2 up to? Is he really going to let his summoned beast fight against 36 other summoned beasts? That's insane. Is he eager to be someone else's grandson? A student from class 1 said. At this moment, Zhao Yicheng frowned and thought to himself, Tang Poyu, what exactly are you up to? The competition began, and all 36 summoned beasts acted simultaneously, attacking Mingyu. Chapter 22. My dear grandson, let's go. It's easy to imagine how spectacular it would be if 36 summoned beasts used their skills to attack at the same time. With a loud bang, a massive explosion occurred at the scene, and thick smoke obscured Mingyu. Is it over? Being hit by so many attacks at once. I'm not going to die instantly, am I? Long Ao's summoned beasts alone were terrifying enough, but now there are 36 of them. He's definitely doomed. Zhao Yicheng, what do you think? A girl from class 1 asked Zhao Yicheng. Zhao Yicheng replied, these attacks are only good enough to tickle Mingyu. She had signed a contract with Mingyu and knew how terrifying Mingyu's defensive capabilities were. Apart from one skill, Thunder Fury, which was an offensive skill, all his other skills were either defensive or defensive enhancements. No way, Long Ao summoned beast is in there too. How could it be just tickling? As the smoke cleared, everyone thought the competition was over, but to their surprise, Mingyu was lying there in the Sleeping Beauty pose. Her dragon tail swayed from side to side, and she looked at everyone with a smug expression. Haven't you guys eaten? No. I mean, haven't your summoned beasts eaten? Can't you afford to feed them? You don't even give them food. They have no strength at all. Hey, you there, my back is a little itchy. Come scratch it for me. Kill her. Get rid of her. Longiao Huarit. The little knight, demon, instantly merged into the shadow. After the shadow moved in front of Mingyu, the little knight demon leaped out, its arm transforming into a dark blade, and slashed directly at Mingyu. Dragon scale armor. At this moment, Mingyu's body was covered in dragon scales. With a loud bang, the little knight demon struck Mingyu's dragon scales. Mingyu was perfectly fine. She lay there leisurely, too lazy to move an inch. The little knight demon was forced back several steps by the shock, and even its dark blade developed cracks. Let's attack her together. Next, a group of summoned beasts began their relentless bombardment. In no time, a large crater was blasted into the spot where Mingyu was lying. However, Mingyu remained unmoved, yawning and giving the middle finger to the people in class 3, her taunts full of sarcasm. Damn it, keep attacking. The attack continued, and in no time, the 36 summoned beasts were exhausted. However, the dragon scales on Mingyu's body still reflected the light, without the slightest damage. This guy's defense is too high, what should I do? It doesn't matter. So what if she has high defense? She has no offensive power, so she can't defeat us. Yeah, she can't beat us either, so what's there to be afraid of? A smile of triumph appeared on Tang Poyu's face. At this moment, Zhao Yicheng also realized what Tang Poyu wanted to do. He just wanted to wear the other person down and see who would give up first and leave the circle. However, Zhao Yicheng didn't understand one thing. Why did Tang Poyu think he could outlast his opponent? He loses if any one of his opponents lasts longer than him. By this time, everyone in class 3 knew that their summoned beasts couldn't break through Mingyu's defenses at all, so they stopped attacking to avoid wasting their energy. And so, both sides' summoned beasts remained in place, wasting time. Time passed by, and before we knew it, it was time to let out of school in the afternoon. Let's not call a draw, Bailey Jean said. No, Tang Poyu said. We must determine a winner today. Yes, we have to decide a winner. There are 36 of us. What were you down together? The people in class 3 won't agree to a draw either. After all, they outnumbered Tang Poyu, and they believed that even if it came down to a prolonged battle, they could definitely outlast him. Regardless, they were still eyeing Tang Poyu's divine power pill. It was already dark, and most of the other students had already gone home, with only a few remaining to watch the excitement. Tang Poyu and the students from Class 3 continued to linger on the playground. Damn, I need to go back, I'm hungry. Just then, someone from Class 3 stood up, preparing to recall their summoned beast and leave. Tang Poyu said, "You can leave, but call me Grandpa first." Damn it, what can you do if I don't call you? You really think you're something special? Huh? Your summoned beast only has defense, no attack power. What can you do about it? With that, the student turned to leave. However, just as he was preparing to leave the circle, Tang Poyu made a move. He instantly appeared in front of the student and kicked him, sending the guy flying back. Damn it, are you looking for death? Serious King, charge. This guy was furious and actually ordered his summoned beast to attack Tang Poyu directly. What are you doing? Summoned beasts can't attack their tamers. Bailey Jean, who was standing guard nearby, shouted hurriedly. However, it was too late. The Serious King pounced on Tang Poyu. Dragon Scale Armor. Dragon Scale Armor appeared on Tang Poyu's body. The Serious King pounced on Tang Poyu and bit down on his wrist. However, protected by the Dragon Scale Armor, Tang Poyu was not injured. Instead, he knocked out several of the Serious King's teeth, causing the Serious King to howl in pain. However, at this moment, Tang Poyu drew a dagger and said, "You attack first." As he spoke, Tang Poyu's dagger slashed across the Serious King's neck. Instantly, the Serious King collapsed to the ground, blood flowing continuously. My Serious. Upon seeing this, the student rushed over and covered Serious's wound with his hand. Quickly send your summoned beast to get treatment, or it will die. Bailey Jean rushed over. She looked at the wound on the Heavenly Wolf King and was secretly shocked. Tang Poyu really went too far. The student summoned the Serious King and wanted to leave. However, Tang Poyu kicked him back again. What are you doing? My summoned beast is about to die. Bailey Jean also said, Tang Poyu, asking him to take the summoned beast to heal it. Killing a classmate's summoned beast is a serious violation of the academy rules. Tang Poyu said, I didn't say he couldn't go. Follow the agreed rules. Whoever leaves the circle is a grandson. He can leave after calling me Grandpa. Tang Poyu aroused the wrath of the three classes, and at this moment, several more summoned beasts pounced on Tang Poyu to attack him. However, these summoned beasts couldn't harm Tang Poyu at all, given his dragon scale armor. Instead, he was seriously injured by Tang Poyu's dagger. Tang Poyu showed no mercy. When faced with summoned beasts attacking him, he would stab them in their most vulnerable spots. This is the advantage of high defense. Tang Poyu can focus on attacking the summoned beast's fatal points without worrying about getting hurt himself. Grandpa, please, let me go. I need to heal my summoned beast. Finally, someone, fearing the summoned beast would die if too much time was wasted, called for Grandpa. Tang Poyu laughed and said, My dear grandson, let's go. One person called out, and then the others followed suit, calling him Grandpa. Okay, good boy, let's go. The group took their summoned beasts to receive treatment. Meanwhile, there were still 30 people in Class 3 continuing to wear down Tang Poyu. Tang Poyu didn't care. At this moment, he took out a barbecue grill and some barbecue ingredients. These are all things he put in the storage room on the beast breeding island, which he can take out at any time. He originally planned to have barbecue on the island, enjoying the sea breeze while eating barbecue, but now they've come in handy ahead of schedule. After all, everyone was hungry, and without food and water, no one could last long. Just then, Tang Poyu brought out food and even grilled meat on the spot. Chapter 23 The Wicked Will Be Punished by the Wicked. The students in Class 2 were dumbfounded. Where did Tang Poyu get these things from? This guy has a storage space for items, and the space is so big, it's simply incredible. Long Ao couldn't help but say something. Summoned beasts with spatial abilities are rare, while spatial equipment is even rarer. However, compared to spatial summoned beasts and spatial equipment, spatial storage items, while not as rare, are not cheap. Anything related to space is bound to be expensive. Typical storage items are usually about the size of a backpack and can hold some personal items. Long Ao also has a storage space, which is only the size of a backpack and can barely hold 2 loaves of bread. But he hadn't expected Tang Poyu's spatial storage item to have such a large capacity. Various ingredients, a barbecue grill, and firewood. How much space did that require? And how much money must such a large storage device be worth? What he didn't know was that Tang Poyu's storage space was the size of an island. After all, Tang Poyu could use the entire island to store items if he wanted to. Old Tang, You're amazing, you even have this. Ho Fan came over. He did not leave the school and stayed here with Tang Poyu. Come on, let's have some barbecue. Light a fire and roast the meat. The aroma of the meat sizzling and dripping oil on the grill reached the noses of the students in Class 2. Their stomachs started growling, and they kept swallowing their saliva. In no time, the meat was cooked, and Tang Poyu, Mingyu, and Ho Fan began to eat without any hesitation. It smells so good. Come and smell it. Isn't it delicious? Mingyu held the barbecue and deliberately walked around in front of the group from Class 2. As a human being, one can still have self-control and swallow saliva. And these summoned beasts disappeared, drool constantly flowing from their mouths. Tang Poyu gently leaned against Ho Fan and whispered, "Hey, your sweetheart is still hungry. Call her over to eat together." Ho Fan glanced at Bailey Jean, who was still standing guard at the side, then ran over eagerly and said, "Teacher Bailey, you've been standing here without eating. Come and eat with us." Bailey Jean replied, "No need. I'll just grab something to eat later. You should try to persuade Tang Poyu. He'll probably listen to you now. We're all classmates, even if we're not in the same class. We'll see each other often over the next 3 years. Don't let things get too strained. He's already established his authority. Let him let the students from Class 3 go." Ho Fan laughed and said, "Teacher Bailey, I don't think old Tang did anything wrong. Don't you remember how arrogant Class 3 was during the day? Come and have some food, or you could talk to old Tang yourself." As he spoke, Ho Fan reached out to pull Bailey Jean. Bailey Jean was pulled to Tang Poyu's side. "Teacher Bailey is here. Monkey, this piece is for Teacher Bailey. It's freshly baked," Tang Poyu said. Ho Fan quickly picked up the piece of roasted meat and handed it to Bailey Jean. "Teacher Bailey, eat up." "Thank you." Bailey Jean was also hungry, so she took the roast meat and took a bite. Fresh and juicy, she couldn't help but glance at Tang Poyu. "This guy, I didn't expect his cooking skills to be so good." Then Bailey Jean sat down cross-legged and said, "Tang Poyu, why don't we just let it go? Continuing won't benefit either of us, and your parents will worry if you don't go home this late." Tang Poyu raised his hand and waved it, saying, "I've already sent a message to my parents using the spirit control terminal, saying that the school is organizing practice these 2 days, and I will not be going back. How can you stop?" Tang Poyu laughed and said, "When they all call me Grandpa." Bailey Jean sighed. She knew Tang Poyu was determined. In that case, the dean would have to handle the matter tomorrow. After all, this can't go on forever, forcing everyone in Class 3 to call him Grandpa. You should know that there is also Long Ao in Class 3. He is Long Chi-Tian's adopted son. If he is asked to call Tang Poyu Grandpa, this matter will cause a big fuss. "Here, have a piece of meat. You're so thin. Doesn't your owner feed you? How pitiful. What are you doing following an owner like that? If I were you, I would have rebelled immediately." Just then, Mingyu brought the meat to a summoned beast. The summoned beast gratefully swallowed the meat, and then a student from Class 3 panicked. "Winged Tiger, what are you doing? Don't listen to her nonsense. Don't defy the contract," the student yelled. The next second, he collapsed to the ground, clutching his head, his face contorted in pain. Because of the contractual relationship, summoned beasts cannot disobey the beast tamer's orders. However, there are also cases where summoned beasts rebel against the contract. If a summoned beast rebels against the contract, the final result is that the summoned beast either dies or is rendered useless. If the summoned beast's mental strength is strong enough, even the beast tamer will suffer a certain backlash on their mental state. It's clear that this winged tiger possesses considerable mental strength. At this point, it began to rebel against the contract. Exactly. With a master like that, when else would we rebel? I'd rather be a free spirit than suffer with a master like that. Mingyu continued to rave from the sidelines. "Stop! Stop! Something bad will happen. Mountain spirit, come out." At this moment, Bailey Jean summoned her summoned beast. The next second, the mountain demon attacked the winged tiger directly. With a snap, the Kuga was instantly stunned. After winged tiger lost consciousness, its owner finally recovered. He was pale, and his forehead was covered in sweat. He quickly recalled the unconscious winged tiger, and then said to Bailey Jean, "Thank you, teacher. Your summoned beast has already begun to rebel. Go back and break the contract as soon as possible. Otherwise, it will continue to rebel after it wakes up, and your spirit will suffer great damage," Bailey Jean said. The student nodded and said, "I understand." Then he looked at Tang Poyu and said, "Grandpa, I admit defeat." After saying that, he turned and left the circle. "Grandson, take care. If you need a new summoned beast, you can come to me. I also sell summoned beasts, and I'll give you a 1% discount, Tang Poyu said with a smile. Tang Poyu, that's enough. Are you trying to escalate this beyond repair? Do you even know what you were doing? If I don't stop them, that winged tiger will die from the contract, and that student will suffer mental trauma, possibly even becoming mentally disabled. Everyone here is a freshman. They don't have the mental strength to resist a summoned beast's rebellion, Bailey Jean said angrily. Tang Poyu looked at Bailey Jean, and his expression became serious. Tang Poyu said coldly, Teacher Bailey, when they came over during the day to mock me, they should have expected this outcome. There's a saying, evil people will be punished by other evil people. If someone treats me kindly, I will be even kinder. If someone harbors ill will towards me, I will be even more wicked. Chapter 24, just call him Godfather. Bailey Jean knew she couldn't reason with Tang Poyu, so she didn't say anything more. It's late at night. Mingyu, you sleep for the first half of the night, and I'll sleep for the second half. We'll take turns watching over them and make sure they don't escape, Tang Poyu said to Mingyu. No problem. I don't even need to sleep. This is really fun, Mingyu said with a grin. One night passed, and half of the people in Shift 3 had already left. Aside from the first batch of summoned beasts that were injured, the later ones were either starving or trying to complete their own metabolism. In short, after a night, half of the people in the third shift were still there. By this time, other students had arrived at school and saw that the game on the playground was still going on. However, seeing that half of the students in Class 3 were missing, they inquired about the situation. The students who didn't go home last night and were watching the commotion here started excitedly recounting what had happened last night. Hearing that Tang Poyu was so brave, everyone found it hard to believe. My God, is Tang Poyu really that powerful? Did those people from Class 3 who left really call him Grandpa? Of course they called him Grandpa. I never expected Class 3 to be so useless. The whole class was completely outmaneuvered by one person. Half of them have already called him Grandpa. Even if Tang Poyu loses in the end, he will still be honorable in defeat. Class 3 will be nailed to the pillar of shame for the next 3 years. You went back last night and didn't see what happened. That's amazing. Zhao Yicheng, this Tang Poyu is pretty impressive. I just overheard some classmates who stayed here last night talking about what happened. I didn't expect him to actually call everyone in Class 3 Grandpa. A girl walked up to Zhao Yicheng. Zhao Yicheng looked at Tang Poyu on the playground. At this moment, Tang Poyu was sitting cross-legged on the ground, leisurely reading a book. Looking at the people in Class 3, they were all lying on the ground, looking like they were starving. Zhao Yicheng whispered, Tang Poyu, who exactly are you? Is it true that divine beasts are not something that ordinary people can control? What method did you use to control the divine beasts? Tang Poyu, this farce should end now. Just then, the dean, having received the news, stormed onto the playground. Sun Chen had heard about what happened last night. It was utterly reckless. If this continues, it will cause a huge mess. Tang Poyu glanced at Sun Chen and said, Dean, this is no farce. This is a competition between me and Class 3, and both sides have placed bets. Tang Poyu, that's enough. I already know your bet. Let's end this here. As for resources, the Academy will reward you with some, Sun Chen said. Tang Poyu said, that won't do. You, Tang Poyu, do you want to be fired? Tang Poyu said calmly and confidently. Our competition was agreed upon by both sides, and the opposing teacher also agreed. What? Class 3 is going to lose, and the Academy is going to punish me? Isn't your favoritism a bit too obvious? I don't care, expel me if you want, but this competition won't end until the very last moment. Sun Chen's face turned green with anger. If Long Ao hadn't been there, Sun Chen wouldn't have reacted like this. He would have advised the rest of Class 3 to admit defeat. But Long Ao is inside, which makes things difficult. Tang Poyu, I am now ordering you, as the dean, to leave the playground. Otherwise, I will have you carried away, Sun Chen said. Tang Poyu smiled and said, Dean, let's give it a try. You. Just then, Mingyu, who was lying on the ground, moved. She stretched, and the next second, a dragon roared. Mingyu's body has changed. In an instant, Mingyu reverted to his dragon form. The giant dragon, tens of meters long, had scales that shimmered in the sunlight. Upon seeing Mingyu's true form, everyone present was startled. His size was simply enormous. Then Mingyu's body went straight down the circle, which meant that Tang Poyu and the people from Class 3 were all within her body's range. Tang Poyu jumped onto Mingyu's back. He looked at Sun Chen below, who was speechless with surprise, and said, "Dean, if you want to carry us away, try it. See if you can lift Mingyu first." You. The students in class 3 thought that since the dean had intervened, Tang Poyu would give the dean some face. But who knew that he wouldn't even give face to the dean? "It's all your fault. How are we going to clean this up?" Sun Chun said angrily to Wang Chong. At this moment, Wang Chong also lowered his head. He hadn't expected things to turn out this way. The pressure exerted by Mingyu's true form on everyone was immense. After all, being suddenly encircled by a giant dragon tens of meters long would make anyone uneasy. Before long, many more people chose to admit defeat. "There's no point in wasting time here. Just admit defeat, call me Grandpa, and that'll be the end of it." And so, one by one, the students in class 3 lost their will and gave up. Wow, amazing! There are still a few people in class 3 who are sticking with it, and the rest of them are calling Tang Poyu Grandpa. From now on, no one in class 3 will be able to hold their heads up in front of him. He's not just as ashamed to look up, he'd probably have to take a detour if he saw Tang Poyu. And so, another day passed. Although Sun Chun wanted to forcibly take Tang Poyu away, to his dismay, even with all the teachers in the school using their summoned beasts, they couldn't make Mingyu move an inch. Even when some teachers got angry and ordered their summoned beasts to attack Mingyu, their summoned beasts were only good enough to tickle Mingyu. Finally, among the remaining people, only Long Ao could not take it anymore and gave up. Finally, there are Long Ao and Tang Poyu. Tang Poyu remained calm. He had no worries about food or drink. As for his metabolism, he could control his spiritual energy and endure it for a while. Long Ao, on the other hand, was in a much worse state. He could barely sit up and was so hungry that he was dizzy. His little knight, Demon, also collapsed on the ground, too weak from hunger. But he's also quite principled. He just won't admit defeat. Mayor Long has arrived. Just then, Long Ao Yin arrived. In fact, he received the news on the first day and knew that his adopted son was at odds with Tang Poyu. He hadn't paid much attention to it at first, but after 2 days, and this morning hearing the details of what had happened over the past 2 or 3 days, he couldn't sit still anymore. When his father heard that Long Chitian had arrived, Long Ao felt that he was saved. He didn't believe that Tang Poyu would not give Long Chitian a chance. At that moment, his mind went blank and he lost consciousness. "Young friend Ming, can we chat?" Long Chitian called out upon arriving at the scene. Because Mingyu is now in his true form as a dragon, Tang Poyu and Long Ao are trapped inside, so he cannot see what is happening inside. At this moment, Mingyu raised the dragon's tail, and everyone could see what was happening inside. Long Ao has already fallen into a coma. "Young friend Ming, my son has admitted defeat. Is this matter over?" Long Chishiando. Tang Poyu replied, "Of course, admit defeat and leave. But according to the rules, he has to call me Grandpa. However, he's unconscious now and can't, but you, as his father, can do it for him. I won't take advantage of you. If he calls me Grandpa, he's your adopted son, so you don't need to call me Grandpa. Just call me Godfather according to seniority." Upon hearing this, everyone present was stunned. Had this guy gone mad? How dare he ask Long Chitian to call him Godfather? He was practically courting death. Chapter 25 is no easy feat. In everyone's eyes, with Long Chitian's arrival, this matter should be over. In Yulong Town, who wouldn't give Long Chitian face? But no one expected that they would run into someone as stubborn as Tang Poyu, who simply wouldn't give Long Chitian any face. It seems this guy has something wrong with his head. He's facing Long Chitian in front of him in Yulong Town. If he embarrasses Long Chitian like this, it wouldn't be surprising if he suddenly disappeared tomorrow. Exactly, they're practically courting death. If Long Chitian is a good person, Tang Poyu can give him his face. However, Tang Poyu knew Long Chitian and knew what kind of person he was. Moreover, Long Chitian was keeping an eye on him. If one day Long Chitian learned how to control a divine beast, Tang Poyu believed that Long Chitian would not hesitate to take action against him. If that's the case, why be polite to him? If things really come to a head, he can't do anything to Long Chitian, and Long Chitian can't do anything to him either. At most, they'll just dislike each other, but can't get rid of each other. Long Chitian's eye twitched. At that moment, he really wanted to slap Tang Poyu to death. However, he held back. Looking at Mingyu in front of him, he couldn't help but swallow hard, thinking to himself, is this the power of a divine beast? How exactly does this kid control a divine beast? One day I will get what I want. For now, let this kid be smug for a while. Long Qidian didn't dare to make a move directly. After all, he knew Mingyu and knew that Mingyu's defense was very strong. He was afraid that if he really fought, he wouldn't be able to break Mingyu's defense, and that would be embarrassing. If this continues, Long Ao won't be able to hold on any longer. However, he couldn't possibly call Tang Poyu his godfather. Given his status and position, if he were to actually call Tang Poyu godfather, would he still have the face to show his face in Yulong Town? Would he still have the face to be the town mayor? Kid, don't you know who he is? Said a man standing next to Long Qidian. It doesn't matter who it is. Once the rules are set, they must be followed, Tang Poyu said. The man was about to say something more when Long Qidian raised his hand to stop him from continuing. Go and wake Long Ao. Long Qidian Zhao. Yes. The man responded and then walked up to Long Ao. He helped Long Ao up and gently patted Long Ao's face. Second young master, wake up, second young master. After about half a minute, Long Ao slowly opened his eyes. Seeing Long Qidian standing in front of him, Long Ao said weakly, Dad, kill him. Long Qidian looked coldly at Long Ao. He had only adopted Long Ao because he valued Long Ao's talent and treated him as a tool. In reality, there was no fatherly affection between them. Sending him back to the Intermediate Spirit Master Academy in Dragon Town was also intended to make him the brightest star of this year. This will greatly enhance the Long family's reputation and prestige in Yulong Town. But only a week into the new semester, he had already been forced into this situation by Tang Poyu. To be honest, Long Qidian was somewhat disappointed. You've disappointed me greatly. The Long family has invested more resources in you than in Long Chong, yet your performance is like this. Continuing this will only lead to your death. If you don't want to die, admit defeat. Long Qidiando. Dammy, stop talking nonsense and admit defeat. After I conceded defeat, Long Ao summoned back the equally weakened little night demon, and with the man's help, they prepared to leave. Hey, grandson, you're trying to leave without even greeting anyone? Tang Poyu asked. Tang Poyu, are you looking for death? My dad's right here. You dare ask me to call you? Do you even know who he is? I'm already giving you face by admitting defeat. You still want me to call you? No way. Long Ao felt that Tang Poyu wouldn't dare to do anything to him because Long Qidian was there. Having just fainted, he was unaware of the conversation between Tang Poyu and Long Qidian. In Tang Poyu's eyes, he did not take Long Qidian seriously. Just then, Tang Poyu went straight over and kicked him. With a scream, Long Ao was kicked back into the circle. You bastard! Are you insane? The man who had just supported Long Ao roared. Tang Poyu said, follow the rules. If you don't call out, don't even think about leaving this circle. At this moment, Long Ao was exhausted. He lay on the ground, looking at Long Qidian with expectant eyes, hoping that Long Qidian could help him get revenge. However, Long Qidian's words filled him with despair. Since you had rules before the competition, then follow them. Call out, dragon soaring heavenly path. Dad! Scream! Long Qidian roared. At this moment, Long Qidian's face was extremely ugly. He was also very angry. In all his years in Yulong Town, no one had ever dared to treat his Long family like this. And today, such a person has appeared, and he's just a young upstart. Seeing that Long Qidian was angry, Long Ao didn't dare to linger any longer. He looked at Tang Poyu and reluctantly called out, Grandpa. Tang Poyu smiled slightly and said, Oh, my dear grandson, go home and eat. Don't starve to death. Grandpa will be heartbroken. Mingyu, let him go. At this moment, Mingyu soared into the clouds, and the next second, a figure descended from the sky. With a thud, the figure fell to the ground. Ouch, my bottom hurts. Mingyu reverted to human form. She had actually fallen from above and landed hard on her bottom. Tang Poyu was speechless. Couldn't you have gotten off in a slightly more stylish way? We just showed off so much, but it only lasted 3 seconds. At this moment, Tang Poyu looked at Wang Chong next to Sun Shun and said, Sorry, I won by accident. Your Class 3's resources for this month are mine. I'll come to your class to collect them in a couple of days, so get ready. Wang Chong's expression twitched, but he didn't say anything. Take him away. Long Qidian glared at Long Ao and said coldly, Yes, second young master, come here, let me help you. And that was the end of it. The final result was unexpected. Everyone in Class 3 called Tang Poyu Grandpa. Before the competition began, who could have imagined that things would end this way? Even though halfway through, more than half of the people had already called Tang Poyu Grandpa, everyone believed that Long Ao would not call him that in the end, since Tang Poyu would not dare to offend him given his background and status. However, the final result was that everyone was humiliated, and Tang Poyu showed no respect for Long Qitian whatsoever. This immediately deflated the confidence of the students in Class 3, and they stopped being so arrogant. Originally, as the class with the best freshman evaluation results, the students in Class 3 were all arrogant. Now, it's likely that their class will have a hard time holding their heads high for the next 3 years. At least when facing the students of Class 2, they really can't hold their heads up. At most, they'll bully the students of Class 1 in the future. However, starting today, there is one person in the entire academy whom no one dares to mess with, and that is Tang Poyu. Rumor has it that he's a madman, and madmen are capable of anything. You shouldn't mess with someone like that. As for Sun Chin's earlier statement about expelling Tang Poyu, it was actually just to end the matter sooner and scare Tang Poyu. In the end, he didn't actually deal with Tang Poyu. After all, this world is a world that values ability, and only a fool would expel a student like this. However, Sun Chin also came to a conclusion. Those who scored poorly in the freshman evaluations were not easy to deal with. In the history of the college, the last freshman evaluation, which involved a few individuals, once turned the college upside down. Chapter 26. You're so bad. At the beginning, many people thought that the academy would deal with Tang Poyu. However, the college never mentioned the matter again, and everyone knew what had happened. Initially, the academy stopped Tang Poyu simply because they were worried about being held accountable by Long Qitian. Now that the matter is over, and Long Qitian has not put any pressure on the academy regarding this issue, the academy naturally will not pursue it further. Several days have passed. One afternoon, each class was also conducting practical training on the playground. The playground was very large, and it housed not only freshmen, but also older students. The teachers of the new students would occasionally ask older students to help train them. However, after encountering Tang Poyu, even the older students dared not fight him. After all, the previous incident had already made the name Tang Poyu known to everyone in the school. Just train normally and don't provoke them. Tang Poyu won't do anything. I don't know what these people are afraid of. Monkey, let's go. Tang Poyu called out to Ho Fan. Where to? Ho Fan asked. Class 3. Next, Tang Poyu and Ho Fan arrived at the training ground of Class 3. Upon seeing Tang Poyu, the students of Class 3 became somewhat uneasy. After all, Tang Poyu had left an indelible impression on them. All 36 students in the class called him Grandpa. Tang Poyu, what are you doing here? This is where the third squad trains. At this moment, Wang Chong stepped forward, his expression slightly angry. After all, he had been punished by the academy because of what had happened before. Tang Poyu smiled and said, I've come to see my eldest grandsons and granddaughters. Grandsons and granddaughters. Let me introduce you. This is your second uncle. Tang Poyu patted Ho Fan on the shoulder. Ho Fan smiled and waved to the students in Class 3. The students in Class 3 turned green with rage, but they were completely helpless. What do you want? To teach Tang Poyu a lesson? In the end, it's still unknown who will teach whom a lesson. After all, they probably won't forget what happened before for the rest of their lives. Tang Poyu, this matter is over. If you try to cause trouble again, I will definitely report to the academy and let them deal with you, Wang Chong said to Tang Poyu. Tang Poyu laughed. It's over? Not yet, right? What about our bet? You haven't given me what I'm owed. How could it be over? Give me everything I'm entitled to, then it'll be over. Otherwise, forget about reporting it to the academy. Even if you had Long Qitian come again, it wouldn't matter. Right, my grandsons and granddaughters. The students in Class 3 kept their heads down. At this moment, Long Ao stepped forward. Everyone thought he would confront Tang Poyu, but unexpectedly he said, That's right. According to the agreement, our class's resources this month should be given to you. Teacher Wang, give it to him. We are willing to accept defeat. Oh, so well behaved? I still prefer how you were before, when you were so unruly, Tang Poyu said. Long Ao clenched his fists tightly. He wished he could tear Tang Poyu to pieces, but he hadn't forgotten what Long Qitian had told him. After the previous incident, Long Ao was taken back to the Long family. After recovering, he kept saying that he wanted to take revenge on Tang Poyu. However, Long Qitian taught him a lesson and told him that not only should he not provoke Tang Poyu, but he should also find a way to become friends with Tang Poyu. Once I obtain the method to control the divine beast from Tang Poyu, I will personally make him kill Tang Poyu. Long Ao said this, and the rest of Class 3 had no objections. After all, their whole class had agreed to this bet. Wang Chong sighed and said, "Wait here, I'll go get it for you." "Thank you very much," Tang Poyu said with a smile. While Wang Chong went to collect the resources, Tang Poyu looked at the group of students from Class 3 and laughed. "Cheer up. It's just a month's worth of resources, right? You can go and steal from other classes like Class 1. They can't beat you." Tang Poyu's words enlightened the students in Class 3. They realized that they could also go to Class 1. It wasn't really a fight, just a normal competition with a little prize added. "Old Tang, you're so mean. You're still working as an appraiser for the Zhao family. How could you cheat Zhao Yiqing like this?" Ho Fan whispered to Tang Poyu. Tang Poyu laughed. "Only through real competition can they become stronger. They won't take this kind of training, which involves no losses, seriously. They'll only truly commit to combat when their own interests are at stake." A short while later, Wang Chong returned. He was carrying a large box, which he placed in front of Tang Poyu, saying, "This is the resource for Class 3 this month. Take a look." Tang Poyu opened the box and looked inside. There were recovery pills, experience crystals, and some pills to improve the attributes of summoned beasts. Tang Poyu took a look and thought it should be about the same. According to the Academy's resource allocation, Class 3's resources were twice that of Class 2. These resources are now roughly twice the amount available to their class. Perhaps Class 3 has some hidden away, but not many. All right, maybe you're hoarding things, but I won't hold it against you. Goodbye, my grandsons and granddaughters. With that, Tang Poyu carried the resource box back to the training grounds of Class 2. He and Ho Fan then began to divide the spoils. "Monkey, here's the experience crystal and these recovery potions for you, but I don't need them." "Old Tang, you don't need to give me so much. Besides, don't you want any experience crystals at all?" Ho Fan asked. Tang Poyu said, "Ming, you can't even see her level, so experience crystals are useless to her. Also, don't use too many experience crystals. The experience gained from actual combat is the most important. Although the level increase and attribute bonus are the same, combat experience will give your summoned beast more combat skills, which is also a hidden form of combat power." Ho Fan nodded and said, "I understand." Just then, the other students from Class 2 gathered around. "Tang Poyu, Ho Fan, you've obtained so many resources, share some with us." Tang Poyu laughed and said, "Shall I share some with you?" "Why? Since you have so many resources, what's wrong with sharing some with us? When you made that bet with the people from Class 3, wasn't it also in the name of the class? Logically speaking, we should also have a share of these resources." The speaker was a girl named Deng Hong, the class monitor of Class 2. If I had to describe Deng Hong, I'd say she's a combination of a manipulative woman and a saint. When Deng Hong said this, the other students in Class 2 nodded in agreement, echoing her sentiment that they should have a share of these resources. "Ah, interesting. Back then, Old Tang used our class's resources as a wager to make you agree. And what did you all say? Who said they wouldn't be jealous? Now that Old Tang has won so many resources, are you all envious? Do you have any shame?" Ho Fan said. "Ho Fan, you're in the same class. Why are you so concerned about all this?" Tang Poyu smiled, then gave half of the resources to Ho Fan, while he himself only took a few recovery pills. He then said to Deng Hong, "Class monitor, you can take the rest and distribute them to the other students." "Thank you," Deng Hong said happily. "Old Tang, what are you doing? What are you giving these guys?" Tang Poyu laughed. "They're all a bunch of selfish people. Give them a little something, and they'll be very obedient in the future. After all, you'll be living together for 3 years. Would you rather have a group of obedient people around you, or a group of people who annoy you all day long? Besides, these resources won't help Mingyu." Hearing this, Ho Fan smiled and nodded, giving Tang Poyu a thumbs up. Chapter 27, A Gentleman Loves Money. Time flies, and 3 months have passed in the blink of an eye. During this period, the college also organized 3 monthly exams. In the 3 monthly exams, some students' badges were upgraded while others were downgraded. However, Tang Poyu's badge remained unchanged, with only a few stars. Tang Poyu didn't care about this, since the difference in star ratings seemed to only affect the level of respect received within the academy. In the academy, Tang Poyu was treated no worse by others than the students with the sun emblem. During those 3 months, the Beast Breeding Island system did give Tang Poyu some tasks as rewards. However, the mission rewards are quite mediocre. After 3 months, you only get 2 map fragments and a little over 200 points. Tang Poyu used all his points to open surprise blind boxes, but since opening the Sky wristband, he hasn't gotten anything good from them. Therefore, from now on, Tang Poyu has decided to temporarily refrain from opening surprise blind boxes and save his points. He'll see what new redeemable items will be available later. Tang Poyu currently has 0 points and 7 map fragments. He only needs 2 more fragments to complete the map and obtain the exact location of the next divine beast. One afternoon, summoning Beast Trading Center, Zhao family stall area. Tang Poyu has been invited by Zhao Yicheng to be the Zhao family's appraiser for 3 months now. In these 3 months, he has earned quite a bit, a few million. However, this has aroused envy among some people. Tang Poyu only selected what the appraisers had left over. He was just picking up what others had missed. Tang Poyu can earn a considerable commission for identifying a good summoned beast, while the appraisers above him only receive a fixed salary. This naturally arouses envy in others. However, Tang Poyu's work was different from theirs. Tang Poyu selected the top-quality summoned beasts that the previous appraisers had not screened out. To put it bluntly, they were unable to distinguish between good and bad, and Tang Poyu picked them up by chance. This means that not only Tang Poyu profited, but the Zhao family also profited, which is why Tang Poyu was able to receive such a high commission. Little Tang, I need to discuss something with you. Just then, a middle-aged man approached Tang Poyu. Tang Poyu looked at the middle-aged man. He recognized him. This man was also an appraiser for the Zhao family, named Li Gao. His job was to do the preliminary appraisal. Hey, Master Li, what's up? Tang Poyu asked. Li Gao carefully pulled Tang Poyu aside and said, Little Tang, let's cooperate. Tang Poyu looked at Li Gao with suspicion and said, Cooperation? I don't know what kind of cooperation we could have. Li Gao said, Your job is to identify these unidentified baby beasts that are ready to be sold directly. My job is to do the identification work you did beforehand, to pick out the good summoned beasts and sell the bad ones directly without identification. I know the Zhao family gives you a high commission. How about we cooperate? I'll deliberately let the high bloodline summoned beasts slip through, and you can pick them out. We'll split the commission 50/50ths. Tang Poyu replied, You've been a long-time employee of the Zhao family for a while now. How can you cheat your employer like this? Li Gao replied, People die for money. Birds die for food, right? Your job is to find the leftovers, but those opportunities don't come every day. Over the past few months, you've only found a handful of top-tier summoned beasts. But if we cooperate, I'll deliberately let a few top-tier summoned beasts slip by every 3 to 5 days. This way, your income will multiply several times over, and it'll be a win-win situation for both of us. Tang Poyu sat down in a chair and laughed. Master Li, if this matter is exposed, I'm afraid we'll both be in trouble. No, identifying summoned beasts relies solely on experience. Before using an identification stone, no one knows their attributes or bloodline. It's perfectly normal to occasionally misjudge and miss a few top-tier summoned beasts. The Zhao family is wealthy. They wouldn't care about such a small amount of money. Most importantly, the young lady trusts you. Li Gao said. Tang Poyu said, What you're saying makes sense. If you just drop a few, a legendary bloodline summon can sell for over $1 million, and I can get a commission of hundreds of thousands. If we work together, it won't be long before we're rolling in money. Seeing that Tang Poyu was interested, Li Gao smiled and said, That's right, it's a win-win situation for us. Little Tang, it's a pleasure to cooperate. Let's go out for dinner later, it's on me. As he spoke, Li Gao extended his hand, wanting to shake hands with Tang Poyu. With a snap, Tang Poyu slapped Li Gao's hand away and said coldly, Master Li, you just said, people die for money, birds die for food, but I also have a saying, a gentleman loves money, but he acquires it in a proper way. If I really agree to your request, then you'll have leverage over me, and who knows what demands you'll make in the future. Tang Poyu, don't be ungrateful. Haven't you noticed you've been identifying fewer and fewer top-tier summoned beasts lately? That's because the Zhao family feels you're taking too much, but they can't change the price they promised. So, the Zhao family gave us orders to strictly screen for top-tier summoned beasts. Do you know how much our workload has increased because of you? We're all in this for the money. The Zhao family is so rich. What's wrong with sharing some with us, Tang Poyu? Think it over carefully and give me an answer tomorrow. Li Gao said. Tang Poyu said, No need. I can give you an answer now. As I said before, a gentleman loves money, but he earns it in a proper way. If you want to cooperate, find someone else. You, Tang Poyu, you'll regret this. With those words, Li Gao angrily left. Tang Poyu didn't pay any attention. After a while, Tang Poyu checked the time and realized it was almost time to go home. Just as Tang Poyu got up to go home, Zhao Yiqing walked over with a serious expression. Tang Poyu, my father wants to see you. See me? Oh, didn't we just meet a few days ago? Just a few days ago, Zhao Yiqing's father hosted a banquet for Tang Poyu. After all, Tang Poyu had helped the Zhao family make a fortune in the past few months. It shouldn't be called making a profit. It should be called recovering a loss. If Tang Poyu hadn't identified them, those summoned beasts would have been sold for tens of thousands each. Therefore, it is normal for the head of the Zhao family to meet with Tang Poyu and invite him to a meal. It had only been 3 days since he met Zhao Yiqing's father. Zhao Yiqing looked troubled and said, Li Gao has come clean with my dad. He told my dad about your affair. Ah, our business? What business? Tang Poyu asked, looking puzzled. Zhao Yiqing said, Li Gao said he'd cooperate with you, and he deliberately left out the top-tier summoned beasts for you to choose. The money will be split between you and him. Tang Poyu, is that really true? Zhao Yiqing looked at Tang Poyu, a hint of disappointment in her eyes. Tang Poyu was recruited by her. If this is indeed proven true, then Zhao Yiqing doesn't know how to explain it to the Zhao family. Chapter 28. The villain accuses first. Tang Poyu didn't expect Li Gao to make the false accusation first. That guy was really despicable. If he says this to the Zhao family now, isn't he just hurting the enemy 1,000 while losing 800 of his own? Instead of cooperating with Li Gao, he resorted to this method of revenge. Looking at Zhao Yiqing, Tang Poyu asked, What do you think about this matter? Zhao Yiqing replied, I don't think you would do such a thing, but Li Gao spoke to my dad with great reason and evidence, saying that you approached him and wanted to cooperate with him. He initially refused, but in the end, because you offered too much, he couldn't resist the temptation. Hearing this, Tang Poyu laughed. This guy's got something interesting to say. So if what he said is true, what do you think? Zhao Yiqing looked at Tang Poyu with surprise. He hesitated for a moment and said, Even so, I still don't think you're the kind of person who would do something like this. I've known you for 3 months now. Sometimes you're annoying and even despicable, but I think you're a trustworthy person and wouldn't do something like this. Tang Poyu smiled and said, Thank you for your recognition. Let's go and see Zhao Song. Zhao Yiqing nodded. Tang Poyu then went to the Zhao family with Zhao Yiqing. In Yulong Town, the Zhao family mansion is in no way inferior to the Long families. Upon entering the Zhao family home, we passed through the front garden and arrived inside. Inside the reception room, Zhao Yiqing's father, Zhao Song, sat at the very front. In addition, several managers from the Zhao family sat on both sides. Li Gao stood in the center of the reception room, his head down, not daring to look directly at the people present. Dad, I brought Tang Poyu with me, Zhao Yiqing said. At this moment, everyone's eyes fell on Tang Poyu, and Li Gao also turned around to look at Tang Poyu. Boss Zhao, Tang Poyu called out. Zhao Song looked at Tang Poyu and asked, Do you know why I called you here today? Tang Poyu nodded and replied, I know, Zhao Yiqing has already told me about it. Now that I know, I won't beat around the bush. Do you have anything to say about this? Zhao Song asked. Tang Poyu said, Before I speak, I still want to hear Li Gao say it again. After all, without hearing it from his own mouth, I don't know how he described me. At this moment, Li Gao snorted and said, Tang Poyu, I've already told Boss Zhao everything about her business. You might as well just confess and suffer less. Oh, interesting. So what did you say? Tang Poyu smiled, appearing quite composed. Li Gao said, Tang Poyu, 3 months ago, the young lady hired you as the Zhao family's appraiser, but you actually have no skills whatsoever. The young lady was simply deceived by you. Afterwards, you came to me and told me you wanted to cooperate. You said that if I deliberately let a top-tier summoned beast slip through my fingers and you found and appraised it, we would split the profits. I was blinded by greed and agreed to your offer. I feel guilty towards the Zhao family for their kindness to me. So today I've decided to expose this matter and stop you from deceiving them. Upon hearing this, Tang Poyu laughed. Tang Poyu, what are you laughing at? Do you have any rebuttal to what Li Gao said? Zhao Song's face showed anger. Actually, there's nothing to refute. These words shocked everyone present. Zhao Yiqing's mouth dropped open. She had been hoping that Tang Poyu could say something. Even if what he said couldn't clear his name, at least she could say a few words in his defense. But now, Tang Poyu isn't refuting anything. What can be done? They don't even know how to start speaking up for him. The most surprised person was Li Gao, who had expected Tang Poyu to hysterically refute him. But to his surprise, Tang Poyu didn't refute him at all. What was going on? He admitted it? No way, what is he plotting? Tang Poyu, you admit it? Zhao Song's face was full of anger, and his voice rose several decibels. Tang Poyu said, before I admit it, I have a few questions to ask Li Gao. It won't be too late for me to admit it after I've asked these questions. Zhao Song said, ask whatever you want, but let me tell you, if you really colluded with Li Gao to cheat my Zhao family out of money, then I will make you spit out double the money you have earned these days. Tang Poyu just smiled and didn't pay much attention. He then looked at Li Gao and asked, you said that I approached you and asked you to cooperate with me, right? Yes, Li Gao replied. He refused to believe that as long as he insisted that he and Tang Poyu had deceived the Zhao family together, Tang Poyu would have no way to clear his name. We'll split the stolen money in half. Yes, half for each person. All right. In that case, where's the money I gave you? A large number of Spirit coin transactions go through the Spirit terminal, and as long as it goes through the Spirit terminal, the terminal will leave a transaction record. Show everyone the record. It's the record of my transfer to you, Tang Poyu said. It's obvious that Li Gao is panicking. You gave me cash. Li Gao said, you said the transactions through the Spirit control terminal would be recorded, which could easily leave evidence. So you gave me cash instead. Yes, that's right. Li Gao emphasized the last sentence, seemingly pleased with his own ability to adapt to changing circumstances. Tang Poyu nodded and said, okay, fine, even if it's cash I'm giving you. I won't say how you're going to store such a large sum of cash for now. Let's move on to the next question. The main part of our scheme is that you deliberately let go of top-tier summoned beasts, so I could pick them up, right? Yes, that's exactly it, Li Gao said confidently. In that case, please tell me what kinds of summoned beasts I've identified these past few days. Since you deliberately left this out for me, you should know what kind of summoned beasts they are, right? Tang Poyu said. It's been too long, I've forgotten. That's been too long. Let's talk about something closer to home. I just identified one yesterday. You haven't forgotten about yesterday either, have you? Tang Poyu asked. You. Stop with the you me stuff. Just tell me, what summoned beast did I identify yesterday? Since you deliberately missed it, you must know, right? You could say you forgot about the previous ones because it's been a long time, but surely you can remember yesterday's? For a moment, Li Gao was speechless. After all, Tang Poyu always went directly to Zhao Yicheng when he discovered any top-tier summoned beasts, and everything was handled through Zhao Yicheng. How could Li Gao possibly know what kind of summoned beast Tang Poyu had appraised yesterday? Tang Poyu smiled. Let's go back to the question. You said you'd trade me cash. Such a large sum of cash, whether you store it or use it, is impossible to do so without leaving a trace. A simple check will reveal that you don't have this money. At this moment, Tang Poyu looked at Zhao Song and said, Boss Zhao, I've asked all my questions. Now, do you think I should admit it or not? Upon hearing this, Zhao Song slammed his hand on the table beside him, and with a loud crack, the table shattered into pieces. Li Gao, tell me, what's going on? Zhao Song glared at Li Gao. Chapter 29, Isn't It Good to Be Alive? When Li Gao realized that his scheme had been exposed, he immediately knelt on the ground. Mr. Zhao, I was wrong. I was bewitched. Please, give me another chance. I won't do it again. You bastard. Xiao Tang has been working diligently as our Zhao family's appraiser for the past few months, and now you dare to slander him. Zhao Song roared. Tell me, why are you slandering him? Zhao Yicheng, who was standing to the side, secretly patted her chest. She breathed a sigh of relief. At that moment, she secretly glanced at Tang Poyu. Tang Poyu's expression remained unchanged, appearing very calm. This guy has been unusually calm from the start. It seems he had already planned his strategy before coming to the Zhao family. I was worried about him for nothing. He can handle things on his own. Zhao Yicheng thought to himself. Li Gao dared not hide anything any longer and truthfully told how he was jealous of Tang Poyu's high income, how he was rejected when he tried to cooperate with Tang Poyu, and how he harbored resentment and slandered him. Li Gao, you bastard. You've worked for the Zhao family for so many years, and I never expected you to turn out like this. Get out. The Zhao family can't tolerate you anymore. Zhao Song roared. Boss Zhao, please give me another chance, I beg you. Opportunities are earned, not given. I'm letting you off the hook out of consideration for all the years you've worked for the Zhao family. You can leave now. Otherwise, don't blame me for being ruthless. Zhao Song said angrily. I understand. Li Gao also knew that the Zhao family wouldn't keep him. After getting up, Li Gao gave Tang Poyu a resentful look before leaving. Li Song stood up, walked to Tang Poyu, and said, Little Tang, now that the truth is out, don't blame me. After all, Li Gao suddenly brought this up, so we could only call you here to verify it. I hope you won't take it to heart. Tang Poyu laughed and said, Don't worry, Boss Zhao, I won't take it to heart. That's good, that's good. I'll have the servants prepare a meal. Stay and eat before you go back. Then I shall respectfully accept your offer. Tang Poyu also knew that Zhao Song was an old fox. If he really did collude with Li Gao today, this old fox probably won't let him off the hook like he let Li Gao off the hook. Moreover, he knew about the feud between Tang Poyu and the Long family, and he had been secretly currying favor with the Long family. Otherwise, he wouldn't have been willing to send his daughter away. Now, he only values Tang Poyu's abilities. To put it bluntly, he feels that Tang Poyu still has value to be used. Tang Poyu was naturally aware of all this, but he didn't care. After all, he needed money, and the Zhao family could provide him with a platform to make money. It was a mutually beneficial arrangement. During the meal, Zhao Song and Tang Poyu got into a lively conversation and talked for a long time. So by the time we finished eating, it was already quite late. See you tomorrow. You did well today. When I brought you here, I was still thinking about how you were going to clear your name. Zhao Yiqing escorted Tang Poyu out of the Zhao family. Tang Poyu smiled and said, Good night. Good night. Tang Poyu left the Zhao family. At night, the town is pitch black and almost deserted. I wonder where Mingyu went. I haven't seen her for days. She's probably off playing cards again, Tang Poyu muttered to himself as he walked. Although he and Mingyu had signed a contract, Tang Poyu generally did not restrict Mingyu's freedom. So Mingyu would disappear every now and then come back to ask Tang Poyu for money when he ran out of money. However, with the contract in place, no matter where Mingyu is, Tang Poyu can summon her to his side instantly. Just then, a group of people blocked the road in front of Tang Poyu. There were more than 10 people on the other side, all of whom were masked. Tang Poyu glanced at the people in front of him and said, A dark and windy night is a night for murder. Although you're all masked, I can still feel the malice on your faces, right, Masterly? The masked leader paused for a moment, then tore off his mask, revealing himself to be Li Gao. Since you recognized me, there's nothing more to say. Tang Poyu, you made me lose my job. How are you going to compensate me? Li Gao said. Tang Poyu laughed. What does this have to do with me? You lost your job because of your own greed, didn't you? Let me give you some advice. Take all your people home, and I'll pretend nothing happened. Don't lose your job and then drag so many people down with you and risk your lives. You bastard, you're always so calm and collected. It's really annoying. Li Gao said smugly. Tang Poyu, we know you're summoned beast, Mingyu. Everyone in town knows her. She has defense, but no attack. We can't hurt her, and she can't hurt us. But today I've called so many brothers. Just a few of us need to hold Mingyu back, preventing her from protecting you. What do you think the final result will be? 1, 2, 34, 15, 16. What are you counting? Li Gao asked. Counting the corpses. Damn it. Are you looking for death? Brothers, kill this kid. He's made a lot of money from the Zhao family these days. Transfer his money to our spirit control terminal, Li Gao said. Good. Then, the 16 people summoned their summoned beasts. Not only do they want to kill me, but they also want to steal my money. Are they trying to kill me and rob me? Aren't they afraid the spirit control management team will find out? Tang Poyu asked. Li Gao said, Don't worry. We will dispose of your body properly and leave no trace. I see, Tang Poyu said with a smile. Just then, a spatial rift appeared in front of Tang Poyu, and the next second, Mingyu was summoned to his side. At this moment, Mingyu was holding a roast chicken in one hand and a die in the other. She was a little confused when she was suddenly summoned. After a few seconds, she came to her senses, threw down the roast chicken in her hand, and then grabbed Tang Poyu's collar and said, Why did you summon me at this time? I was about to win. Do you know how hard it is for me to win even once? They're about to kill me, and you're still playing cards? Is this how you summon beasts? Tang Poyu said. After hearing this, Mingyu released Tang Poyu. He looked at Qian Li Gao and his group, then at their summoned beasts, and couldn't help but laugh. Ha! Are you kidding me? Kill you with these trash look at their summoned beasts? What a bunch of weirdos. Mingyu's words clearly angered Li Gao and his group, as well as their summoned beasts. Everyone go together. A few of you go and hold Mingyu back. The rest of you go and kill Tang Poyu, Li Gao said. The 16 summoned beasts, having received the order, launched an attack. Mingyu spread his hands, shrugged helplessly, and said, Don't hold me back, okay? I won't move. You all go kill him. Honestly, isn't it better to be alive? Chapter 30 Dragon Knight. Please select from the following options. 1. Eliminate all enemy players. Reward: 100 points, 1 map fragment. 2. Defeat all opponents to receive 50 points and increase the level of all summoned beasts on the beast breeding island by 2 levels. 3. The enemy outnumbers and flees. Reward: 50 points. All summoned beasts on the beast breeding island gain a 10-point agility boost. The beast breeding island system has a new option, but Tang Poyu already had the answer in his heart before this. Dragon Scale Armor. These people are stronger than the students of the Intermediate Beast Taming Academy, but even so, the Dragon Scale Armor is enough to withstand their attacks. There is absolutely no need to use the Dragon Armor. After all, Mingyu also has passive skills like Enhanced Defense and Absolute Defense, which Tang Poyu also possesses. Apart from the divine skill bestowed by God Regeneration, Tang Poyu possesses all of Mingyu's skills. Tang Poyu easily withstood the attack from a group of summoned beasts. These summoned beasts include those that attack directly and those that use elemental skills. But no matter what methods they use to attack, they could not break through Tang Poyu's defenses. How is this possible? How can this guy have such high defense? Is he really just a student from an Intermediate Beast Taming Academy? At this moment, someone among the opposing team voiced their doubts. With that kind of strength, who would believe he's just a student at an Intermediate Beast Taming Academy, and a freshman at that? Those few that were holding Mingyu back, forget about Mingyu and attack that kid instead. At this point, Li Gao was also starting to panic. He hadn't expected that Tang Poyu himself possessed such high defensive capabilities. At this moment, all 16 summoned beasts attacked Tang Poyu. Mingyu laughed and said, "That's right, go find him." Although all the summoned beasts were attacking Tang Poyu, their attacks still couldn't cause him any effective damage. Thunderous Roar. With a deafening roar, a bolt of lightning struck a summoned beast. In an instant, the summoned beast let out a miserable howl, then lay on the ground, barely alive. "No, my demonic ape. Li Gao, you bastard, you're telling us this kid is just a student at an Intermediate Beast Taming Academy? Is his strength that of a student? My demonic ape, it's dying." Li Gao swallowed hard, thinking to himself, this kid's acting strangely. He actually used 2 skills. He only has 1 summoned beast. How can he use 2 skills? In no time at all, the demonic ape struck by the lightning lost its life. Tang Poyu showed no mercy to those who wanted to kill him. Therefore, when he used the Thunder Fury, he unleashed its full power. The others were also frightened by the death of their companion's summoned beast. They no longer dared to command their summoned beasts to attack. "Why are you scared now?" Tang Poyu laughed, looking at the group of people who dared not attack any further. "Let's go," Li Gao said. Tang Poyu said, "You're all going to kill me. Do you think I'd let you leave? Split up and run. I don't believe this kid could be in 2 places at once. Run." At this moment, the 16 people scattered and fled in all directions. Some of the summoned beasts were so large that they simply rode on them and fled. They felt that no matter how powerful Tang Poyu was, he could only catch one of them if he wanted to. Tang Poyu stood still, a cold and resolute expression on his face. "Do you think you can escape? I've said it before. If someone treats me kindly, I'll be even kinder. If someone treats me maliciously, I'll be even more wicked." Just then, the sky wristband on Tang Poyu's wrist emitted a light. Heavenly Prison. At this moment, the sky was covered with dark clouds, and Tang Poyu's eyes emitted a purple light. In just a few seconds, the dark clouds had covered the entire Yulong town. What happened? Li Gao looked up at the sky, a sense of foreboding creeping into his heart. The area above was filled with intense lightning element. If it were to erupt, this lightning element would blast him to ashes. The next second, with a deafening roar of thunder, lightning struck. These heavenly lightning bolts seemed to have eyes and be alive, relentlessly striking only Li Gao and his 16 companions. No, I was wrong. Please let me go. Please let me go." Faced with the threat of death, Li Gao cried out and begged. Not only Li Gao, but the other 15 people were the same. They cried out and angrily accused Li Gao of instigating them. However, none of this could change their fate. Tang Poyu knew that if you let someone who wanted to kill you go, they might do it again next time. After the heavenly prison, the sky above Yulong town returned to calm. The thunderstorm dissipated, and the moon reappeared in sight. It seemed as if nothing had just happened, but in Dragon Town, there were more than 30 piles of ashes. These are the 16 people and their summoned beasts. At this moment, many people in Yulong town were attracted by the booming thunder and looked up at the sky through their windows. The thunderstorm came and went quickly, and most of the people in the town didn't know what was going on. But a very small number of people understood what had happened. In the Long family mansion, Long Chitian stood in the backyard, looking up at the sky. "Dad, what happened?" At this moment, Long Ao and Long Chong came out. Long Chitian replied, "It is the heavenly prison." "Heavenly prison? What's that?" Long Chong asked. Long Chitian replied, "It seems a great figure has arrived in Yulong Town. Heavenly prison is a high-level lightning skill, the strongest skill below divine and spiritual skills. However, the heavenly prison just now had a larger range than the ordinary heavenly prison. It wouldn't be an exaggeration to call it a spiritual skill. I hope this great figure leaves Yulong Town as soon as he finishes his business." "That's amazing. You too remember this. Don't provoke any strangers you encounter recently, especially if their summoned beasts are primarily lightning type. Particularly for you, Long Chong, don't bring trouble upon yourself. Otherwise, the Long family won't be able to protect you, and even the entire Long family will be implicated," Long Chitian said. "I see. Go back inside, everyone." "Yes." At this moment, Tang Poyu stood still, without making any move for a long time. Mingyu approached Tang Poyu and asked, "What's wrong? Are you stupid?" Tang Poyu looked at Mingyu and asked, "Did I do the right thing? I killed 16 of them. Putting aside the summoned beasts, that's 16 lives. This is the first time I've killed anyone, and 16 at that. In my previous world, this kind of thing would have been considered utterly heinous. After all, it was his first time killing someone, so it was bound to have some impact on Tang Poyu. His previous worldview was completely different from this one. Mingyu replied, "I don't know what your previous world was like, but in this world, you did nothing wrong. If you don't want to be bullied, you have to become someone everyone fears." Hearing Mingyu say this, Tang Poyu's expression relaxed considerably. He said, "I just saw a few people escaping on summoned beasts. I didn't know summoned beasts could be used as mounts. Why don't you transform back into your true dragon form, and let me ride you around for a bit? I want to be a dragon knight for once." Perhaps many men have a hero's dream since childhood, riding a dragon and soaring through the sky. How cool would that be? Even after becoming an adult and a father, I still have this kind of fantasy deep down. Of course, Tang Poyu was no exception. Chapter 31, Eternal Contract. "What? You want to ride me?" "No, I'm the great sky dragon. How can I be a mount?" No. Mingyu kept shaking his head. Tang Poyu said, "I'll buy you some good food tomorrow, roast chicken and roast goose." Mingyu swallowed hard, then said, "This time then, okay." The next second, with the dragon's roar, Mingyu transformed into the true form of a giant dragon in the sky. Tang Poyu took a deep breath and then leaped onto Mingyu's neck. "Take off." Amidst the roar of dragons, Mingyu led Tang Poyu, soaring into the sky. Although it was night, the beautiful scenery of the sky could still be seen clearly by the moonlight. In this world, with less light pollution, you can clearly see a Milky Way in the sky. This was the first time Tang Poyu had ever flown in the sky like this. Although we traveled by airplane in the previous world, we also have airships as a means of transportation in this world. But the feeling is completely different from now. It's so beautiful. Above the clouds, Mingyu flew steadily, while Tang Poyu lay flat on Mingyu's back, gazing at the Milky Way above. This was a beautiful sight that was hard to see in their original world. "Mingyu, where have you been these past few days? You haven't even come back to ask me for money. Did you actually win some money?" Tang Poyu asked. Mingyu replied, "I have discovered a great way to get rich." "Oh." Tang Poyu became interested. It was quite a rare thing that Mingyu could discover a good way to get rich. Tang Poyu sat up straight, cross-legged behind Mingyu, and asked, "What method?" Mingyu replied, "My divinely bestowed skill." Tang Poyu said, "You mean the divine skill that the goddess of wisdom bestowed upon you, divine regeneration, right?" "Yes, that's the skill. It's very lucrative." Tang Poyu was completely bewildered. "Make money? How can a skill make money? If you say that skills like turning stones into gold are normal for making money, how can a regeneration skill make money?" Seeing Tang Poyu's confusion, Mingyu explained, "The divine regeneration skill grants me incredibly powerful regenerative abilities. Even if my tail is cut off, it will quickly regenerate. The same goes for my internal organs. Even if my heart is removed, it will regenerate. So, unless you instantly blast me to smithereens, I won't die. And Dragon Gall is very valuable, so I'll sell Dragon Gall. Since I regenerate quickly, I have an endless supply of Dragon Gall, so I don't need to ask you for money anymore, haha." "What? You mean getting rich by selling your own gentian? Tang Poyu was so shocked his jaw almost dropped to the ground. Yeah, gentian can be used to refine all sorts of pills, and it's the gentian of a divine beast, so it's incredibly valuable. Anyway, it regenerates, which means I have a continuous stream of income. Ha ha, I'm a business genius, Mingyu said smugly. Tang Poyu was speechless. Damn it. Only the scumbag dragon would do something like selling his own gallbladder. The goddess of wisdom originally bestowed this divine skill upon her to complement her own superb defensive abilities, but she discovered other uses for it. I wonder what Athena's reaction will be when she finds out. At this moment, Mingyu continued to say to Tang Poyu, "What a pity. What a pity. It's a pity you can't share divine skills. If you could also sell kidneys. That way, one of us could sell kidneys and the other could sell gentians. Before long, we'd be the richest people on this continent," Mingyu said smugly. Damn it, this scumbag dragon not only steals his own dragon gall, but also has his eye on Tang Poyu's kidneys. Mingyu. At this moment, Tang Poyu's voice became serious. What's wrong? Mingyu asked. As the party in charge of this contract, I command you, from this day forward, you are no longer permitted to exchange money through self-harm, Tang Poyu said. Mingyu was taken aback and said, I didn't hurt myself. It doesn't hurt, and it will regenerate quickly. I said no, and that's final. If I find out you're selling your own dragon gall for money again, I won't let you off the hook. As for making money, I still have some ability right now. After we leave Dragontown and go to a big city, I think there will be even more opportunities to make money. I'll give you the money you need, but you're not allowed to harm yourself again. This isn't a discussion. I'm giving you a command as the one in charge of the contract. Tang Poyu's voice was very serious. Perhaps Mingyu, with her divine skill, could regenerate infinitely, but Tang Poyu could not accept Mingyu using self-harm to earn money. Even if it didn't actually cause her any harm, Tang Poyu still couldn't accept it. Wah! Oh my god, he cried. You're so good to me, sob sob. The people who signed contracts with me before either complained that I was useless or that I ate too much, sob sob. All right, stop it. Your crying is so fake, Tang Poyu said. You found out. Tang Poyu said, It's been months. I know you very well. Would a heartless scumbag like you cry over something like this? Haha, you noticed that. But you know what? You're the one who has the longest contract with me, Mingyu said. Well, if the divine contract weren't so irrevocable, I might have broken it off with you on day one. After saying that, Tang Poyu lay down again, looking at the starry river above. He sighed and said, Mingyu, I don't know what the future holds, but please take care of me on the road ahead. Mingyu paused for a moment, then replied, me too. Nice to meet you. I still owe 500,000 in gambling debts. Could you help me pay them off first? What? 500,000? Didn't I just pay you back the 100,000 last time? Now it's another 500,000. Damn it. I take back what I just said. I want to terminate the contract. No way. It can't be resolved. I'm stuck with you for life. In the darkness of night, beneath the starry sky, a human and a dragon reached a truly timeless and eternal pact. The next day, the bodies of Li Gao and the others, no, they shouldn't be called bodies, but ashes, were discovered. At first, no one knew what these piles of things were. After the spirit management team investigated, they determined that they were people and summoned beasts that had been turned to ashes by violent lightning elements. However, the beast taming management team didn't pay much attention to this matter, which was also Long Qitian's order, saying that this matter didn't need to be taken too seriously. After all, these people died under the heavenly prison, and those who can use the heavenly prison are not people that a small town like Yulong Town can afford to offend. Moreover, a simple investigation of the missing persons in the town would reveal who died. They were all insignificant people, so there was really no need to worry about them. Dragon Town, Intermediate Beast Taming Academy. Afternoon. Students, the first semester is coming to an end. Next, you will face your final exam of the semester. A new secret realm has been discovered in the northern part of Yulong Town. Your task for this final exam is to investigate this secret realm. At the Class 2 training ground, Bailey Jean addressed the students loudly. Chapter 32, The Whereabouts of the First Divine Beast. Upon hearing about the secret realm, everyone became excited. The continental civilization where Tang Poyu is currently located is not the first civilization. There were other civilizations before it, but for various reasons, the previous civilizations no longer exist. Past civilizations have left behind many secret realms. In addition to some fixed secret realms, there are also mobile secret realms. The entrance to the mobile secret realm appears irregularly, and each time it appears in a different location. After it appears, the entrance will remain for about a month. Within these secret realms, one might find ancient civilizations' technology, treasures, and even slumbering monsters. Generally speaking, when a new secret realm appears, it becomes the object of contention among various countries. Even if it's within another country's territory, other countries will send spies to steal the treasures inside. The fact that this secret realm will be used for a town student's final exams already illustrate the point. That means this secret realm has already been completely looted. Since a moving secret realm has appeared, it is very likely that someone has already entered it and taken all the treasures inside. This secret realm must be one of those situations. Otherwise, if there were truly important items inside, it would be impossible to let a student from a mid-level beast-taming academy in a small town enter. There's nothing left in this secret realm. And since the entrance happens to be in Yulong Town, the higher-ups decided to send the students from Yulong Town in to explore it and learn about the structure of the secret realm. Bailey Jean continued, "Everyone, don't be too happy yet. Although the secret realm is full of treasures, it is also fraught with danger, with a near-certain death rate. It also contains ancient civilization technology, mechanisms, and other artifacts. Therefore, once you enter the secret realm, you must be extremely careful, otherwise you could easily lose your life." Listening to Bailey Jin's seemingly plausible explanation, Tang Poyu couldn't help but laugh. The fact that they were allowed to enter, even though these were students from an intermediate-level beast-taming academy, means that any dangers inside had already been eliminated. Even if there were any, they would probably just be newly installed traps and mechanisms, and the dangers would be within a controllable range. Bailey Jin is doing this simply to increase everyone's tension. "Tang Poyu, what are you laughing at again?" Bailey Jean asked at this moment. "I. 1. Tell Bailey Jean that you remembered something happy. Reward, 50 points, 1 map fragment. 2. Reply, I can laugh whenever I want, it's none of your business. Reward, 50 points, all summon beasts on beast breeding island level up by 1. 3. Remain silent to receive a reward of 20 points and increase the power of all summoned beasts on the beast breeding island by 1. Wow, this system is indeed flexible. Options appeared out of nowhere. But what's with this first option? Are you trying to trick me? Didn't we have this option before? However, for the sake of the map fragment, Tang Poyu still chose option 1, since he already had 8 map fragments. Obtaining this one would bring him to 9, enough to synthesize a complete map. "I remembered something happy," Tang Poyu replied. Bailey Jean was speechless. This guy, he gave the same answer again. At this moment, the rest of the class burst into laughter. "All right, the final exams are in 2 weeks. Use this time to prepare. Before going to the secret realm, make sure you have enough food and water. Those with storage space equipment should bring it, and bring plenty of water and food." Clearly, Bailey Jean didn't want to continue talking to Tang Poyu. She was afraid that Tang Poyu would reply that his wife had given birth. "Hey Tang, I heard that if we get any treasures from the contract, we can take them ourselves. Let's team up and empty out half the treasures inside. Haha." Ho Fan put his arm around Tang Poyu's shoulder and said. Tang Poyu laughed. "Monkey, you're dreaming. If there were really good stuff, would it be your turn? Use your brain. If it were a complete secret realm, would they send us intermediate beast-taming academy students? Especially an academy in an inconspicuous small town. Well, what you said makes some sense. There's something to it, right?" Ho Fan was still not giving up. Tang Poyu said, "There must be something there." "Really?" Ho Fan was instantly excited. Tang Poyu patted Ho Fan on the shoulder and laughed. "There are definitely things, but they should all be put in by the academy. They're not very valuable, but they're resources that can be useful to ordinary students. Consider it a reward." "Oh, I see. I'll go ask Teacher Bailey." As he spoke, Ho Fan ran over and secretly asked Bailey Jean. To put it bluntly, this guy just wanted to find an opportunity to talk to Bailey Jean. Tang Poyu realized that Ho Fan really was a case of young grass liking old cows. After hearing Ho Fan's account of Tang Poyu's opinion, Bailey Jean felt quite embarrassed. She was speechless. All the other students were excited, but Tang Poyu saw through everything. Indeed, if it were a secret realm that no one had ever explored, they would naturally not be allowed to enter. The secret realm discovered north of Yulong Town is actually just an old secret realm with its entrance randomly located in Yulong Town. Actually, the things inside are long gone, which is why the higher-ups used this secret realm as the content for the students' final exam. Unexpectedly, Tang Poyu's guess was spot on. Tell Tang Poyu that even if he's right, the Academy has put some good stuff inside. Let him have some anticipation, okay? Otherwise, it'll be pointless. Bailey Jean said to Ho Fan. Ho Fan smiled and said, Teacher Bailey, I understand. I will pass it on to Lao Tang. Night. Tang Poyu and Mingyu stayed in the room. Tang Poyu took out the 9 map fragments. Should we combine them into a complete map? The system prompted. Yes. Then, the map fragments began to glow and quickly merged together. As the light faded, a complete map appeared before Tang Poyu. Whether to include the map in the system, after which the map can be viewed through the Yuling terminal. Wow, this beast breeding island system is even linked to the spirit control terminal. It's included. Congratulations, the map has been added. Tang Poyu opened the spirit control terminal and found the map he had just acquired. After opening the map is displayed on the screen of the spirit control terminal. Mingyu, is this Yulong Town? Mingyu leaned closer to take a look and replied, Yes, it's Yulong Town. I didn't expect the first divine beast to be so close to us. It seems to be just to the north, not far. Let's go now. Okay. Ok. What do you mean? Mingyu looked puzzled. Oh, the language and writing system here are different from my previous world. Okay, means good, Tang Poyu said. Indeed, the language and script here are different from the world Tang Poyu came from before. If it weren't for the goddess of wisdom giving Tang Poyu some memories, he really wouldn't recognize the local writing system or speak the local language. I see. Let's go then. Once outside the house, Mingyu instantly transformed into the true form of a giant dragon in the sky, and Tang Poyu leaped onto Mingyu's neck. Then Mingyu led Tang Yu into the sky and headed north of Yulong Town. Chapter 33, the exam begins. Not bad. You're getting more and more skilled, Tang Poyu said to Mingyu with a grin. Sure enough, when it comes to mounts, there's only 0 times or countless times. I just want to get to my destination faster. That way, I can get another little follower sooner, Mingyu said. Yeah? Snort. Mingyu moved very quickly and arrived at the north of Yulong Town in no time. Tang Poyu looked at the map on the spirit control terminal. The red dot is just ahead, Tang Poyu said. Mingyu said, There's a dense forest ahead, and we can't see what's inside. We have to go down. Tang Poyu and Mingyu then returned to the ground, and Mingyu transformed back into human form. The map shows the divine beast is located inside the dense forest. Let's go, Tang Poyu said. At this moment, Tang Poyu and Mingyu entered the dense forest. Monsters are more active at night, and Tang Poyu and Mingyu could hear their sound along the way. However, these monsters were quite sensible. None of them dared to come out and court death. After walking for a while, Tang Poyu and Mingyu stopped. Before them was a stone gate, which appeared very illusory, and behind the stone gate, the space also became very illusory. This is the entrance to the secret realm. The map shows that the divine beast is inside. No way. Tang Poyu was somewhat surprised. Unexpectedly, they arrived at the secret realm that Bailey Jean had mentioned, which was the secret realm where they would take the exam in half a month. What Tang Poyu didn't expect was that the divine beast was actually in the secret realm. This secret realm has long been entered and all its contents taken. Yet the fact that it contains mythical beasts has remained undiscovered, which is quite unbelievable. Some mythical beasts hide in secret realms for peace and quiet. They are more familiar with these realms than humans, so it's very easy for humans to sneak into them if they want to. Mingyu said, I see, but we have a map, so probably can't hide. Let's go in, Tang Poyu said. Just as Tang Poyu and Mingyu were about to enter the secret realm, 2 figures suddenly appeared in front of them, blocking their way. No entry here, one of them said. Tang Poyu glanced at the 2 men. They were dressed in the uniforms of the Donyao Guard. Simply put, they were members of the national military. It's not surprising to see the guards here. After all, it is a secret realm. Even though everything that was originally inside has been taken, the Academy has left some other things inside for the students' final exams. Therefore, it's quite normal for there to be 2 guards protecting him. I'm a student at the Intermediate Beast Taming Academy in Yulong Town. I heard our final exams will be here, so I came to check it out and familiarize myself with the environment, Tang Poyu said. They're setting up your upcoming exams inside right now, so you can't go in. Go back now. Your teachers will bring you back when the exams are on. What to do? Mingyu communicated with Tang Poyu through telepathy. The 2 parties have a contractual relationship, and they can communicate through consciousness. Forget it. Let's go back first. After all, they're from the Donyao Guard. It would be troublesome to force our way in and cause a conflict with them. Anyway, The map will update the location of this divine beast in real time. It's better if it leaves the secret realm. If it doesn't leave, we could just wait to enter openly during the exam, Tang Poyu said. Although Tang Poyu was eager to find the divine beast, there was absolutely no need to clash with the Dongyao Guard at this time. After all, they didn't want to be wanted nationwide either, and he understood the principle that the common people shouldn't fight against the officials. Tang Poyu and Mingyu then returned. Time flies, and the final exams are just around the corner. These past few days, Tang Poyu has been keeping a close eye on the location of the divine beast on the map, and the divine beast has remained in the same spot without moving. Old Tang, I heard that this time, all grades in school are going to the secret realm together for the final exams. Nearly 400 students in total. That means we'll be at a disadvantage if we run into older students. Early in the morning, as everyone lined up to depart, Ho Fan, standing behind Tang Poyu, said this. Tang Poyu said, if we run into each other, so be it. Just make sure they don't mess with me. Hearing this, Ho Fan laughed and said, that's right, I was overthinking it. Right now, everyone in the academy, whether they are upperclassmen or lowerclassmen, is somewhat wary of you. That's right. Now, in the academy, whether it's upperclassmen, lowerclassmen, or even some teachers, everyone is wary of Tang Poyu. After all, what happened shortly after the start of the semester left a deep impression. Not only did he not give face to the dean, but he also did not give face to Long Qitian and directly confronted him. In the end, Long Qitian was forced to compromise and made Long Ao call him grandfather. Based on this one point alone, regardless of whether Tang Poyu is a freshman or not, none of the 99 senior students dare to provoke him. Everyone, this exam will be led by your respective class's practical training instructor. So, I'll be your team leader. Bailey Jean walked to the front of the group and said, Teacher Bailey, will you protect me if there is any danger? Ho Fan asked at this moment. Tang Poyu covered his forehead, speechless. This kid. Bailey Jean looked at Ho Fan and said, if there's real danger, you can send me a distress signal through the spirit control terminal. I'll then come and get you out of the secret realm. However, sending a distress signal means you've forfeited your final grade. Those without grades won't receive any cultivation resources from the academy this holiday. The students exclaimed in amazement. Bailey Jean continued, don't worry, as long as you stay in the secret realm for the required time, you'll pass. However, don't just enter the secret realm and do nothing. Explore it and learn about it. Although you may not encounter another secret realm in the future, it's never a bad thing to learn more, as there are still many resources you need inside. Yes, Teacher Bailey, we understand. Okay, let's set off now. The other classes have also started to leave, so we need to catch up. I'll tell you more details on the way. They chose to hike to the north of Yulong Town. After walking for more than an hour, we finally reached our destination. By this time, some students were so exhausted that they collapsed on the ground. It seems he doesn't exercise regularly and his stamina is poor. Beast masters rely entirely on their summoned beasts, resulting in them neglecting their own training. Consequently, without their summoned beasts, beast masters become extremely weak. At this moment, Bailey Jean said, students, this time all students from all grades in the college will be taking the final exam together. However, for the sake of fairness, our freshmen will enter first. Then, the second and third graders will enter 1 hour and 2 hours later, respectively. So, you have an hour's time advantage compared to the second graders and a 2-hour time advantage compared to the third graders. Make good use of this time. Once you find something good, don't show it off. After all, students aren't prohibited from stealing from each other inside. It's part of the training and exams. Bailey Jin's words caused everyone to sigh in despair. If they didn't prohibit fighting, wouldn't they be doomed if they encountered older students? Chapter 34, Entering the Secret Realm. Stop sighing. One last thing. You'll be inside for 3 days. Everyone should start coming out around 8 a.m. 3 days later. This is because, according to calculations, the entrance to this secret realm will move in 5 days. If you haven't emerged by then, the entrance to this secret realm has moved, and you won't be in the same place when you come out. If it moves within the country, that's fine, but if the entrance moves overseas, then it'll be troublesome. All right, all of you go in now. I hope you have a good time, Bailey Jean said. Then everyone entered the secret realm. Tang Poyu summoned Mingyu to his side, and together they entered the secret realm. Tang Poyu was still quite excited at this moment, because he would soon be able to see the first divine beast. It should be said that it is the first mythical beast included in the Beast Breeding Island, to be more precise. Otherwise, it would be too disrespectful to Mingyu. Even if she is a disgrace to the divine beasts, she is still a genuine divine beast. After entering the gate to the secret realm, the scene before my eyes changed. They were originally in a dense forest, but after crossing the gate of the secret realm, they found themselves on an island. Old Tang, where should we go? Ho Fan asked. Tang Poyu replied. This should be the outer perimeter of the secret realm. Look around here. There should be a passage leading to the inside of the secret realm. Let's find the entrance first, before everyone else does, so we can grab the good stuff first, Ho Fan said. Tang Poyu nodded without saying anything. In fact, Tang Poyu already had a plan. He would separate from Ho Fan when the time was right. Although she had a good relationship with Ho Fan, there were still some things she couldn't reveal to him. Tang Poyu's plan was to first follow Ho Fan around to help him find some things, and then find an opportunity to deliberately get separated from him. The freshmen from all three classes have already arrived, and now everyone is starting to disperse, forming groups of 3 to 5 people. These are probably people who usually get along well. Everyone began searching for the entrance to the inner part of the secret realm. To be honest, this island is quite large. Tang Poyu had Mingyu fly up to take a look, and judging by sight, the island is about the same size as Tang Poyu's beast breeding island. It will probably take some time to find the entrance to the inside of such a large island. However, there are a lot of people. There are already more than 100 people, and when the second and third graders come in, the number will reach nearly 400. With such a large number of people, the entrance should be found quickly. The Academy also placed some resources on the outskirts of the secret realm. Therefore, while searching for internal access points, one can also find some resources along the way. By noon, almost all the students had come in. Once the upperclassmen enter, the new students basically have no chance to get resources. Therefore, the only way to break this situation is to find an internal entrance as soon as possible and enter the interior to find resources. Tang Poyu, how are you doing? Did you find anything good? Just then, Tang Poyu heard a familiar voice. I knew who it was without even looking. Hey, Miss Zhao, Ho Fan called out. It was Zhao Yicheng who came over, along with 2 other girls. Monkey, don't call me miss, it sounds awkward. Through Tang Poyu, Zhao Yicheng has now become familiar with Ho Fan, so she also calls him by his nickname. Tang Poyu glanced at Zhao Yicheng's bracelet. He knew it was a spatial storage device, so he asked, And you? Did you get anything good? You've even used your spatial storage device. Zhao Yicheng replied. Just some low-grade pills and a few experience crystals. I didn't expect this academy to be so stingy, not even putting any good stuff in there. The good stuff is inside the secret realm. What good stuff can we find on the outer perimeter? So, have you found the entrance to the interior? Tang Poyu asked. Zhao Yicheng sighed and said, We've discovered it, but there's a problem. What's the problem? Several third-year students were guarding the entrance, preventing the younger students from entering. Those students were very strong. Their summoned beasts were all around level 50. Even with our summoned beasts averaging around level 20, we were no match for them. If this continued, the third-year students would take everything inside the secret realm. Zhao Yicheng sighed softly. She spoke indignantly, but her intention was clear. She wanted Tang Poyu to go and deal with those senior students, since among the people Zhao Yicheng could think of, only Tang Poyu had the ability. What? They won't let anyone from the Zhao family in? Tang Poyu asked with a smile. Zhao Yicheng replied. No, they only let Long Ao in because of the lower grades. Why don't you go and take a look? Little Chung Chung, if you want to ask Old Tang to go and take care of those guys, just say so directly. Don't beat around the bush, Ho Fan said with a smile. Even Ho Fan could see through Zhao Yicheng's intentions, so there was no reason why Tang Poyu couldn't. Zhao Yicheng felt somewhat embarrassed at this moment. Don't be so stingy, you're going to go in anyway. Besides, aren't Tang Poyu and Zhao Yicheng quite close? I've seen you two leave school together many times. Are you dating? Said a girl who was with Zhao Yicheng. Upon hearing this, Zhao Yicheng's pretty face instantly turned red, and she quickly said, Zhou Shui, what are you saying? We're not dating. At this moment, Tang Poyu calmly said, I only work part-time at the Zhao family, so please don't make wild guesses about our relationship. After all, Zhao Yicheng is also engaged. Hearing Tang Poyu say this, Zhao Yicheng was somewhat displeased, and his brows furrowed slightly. Just tell people not to speculate about the relationship. Why suddenly bring up the engagement? Zhao Yicheng gets annoyed just thinking about Long Chong. The map shows the divine beast is inside the secret realm. Now that we know the exit, let's go there. At this moment, Mingyu said to Tang Poyu through his consciousness. Tang Poyu said. In that case, let's go and take a look at the internal entrance. Walk. Then Zhao Yicheng and the other two girls led the way, while Tang Poyu, Mingyu, and Ho Fan followed behind. Old Tang, I think Xiao Changsheng is pretty good. That guy Long Chong isn't good enough for her. Anyway, you're not afraid of the Long family, so why don't you and Xiao Changsheng? You know, Ho Fan whispered to Tang Poyu. Tang Poyu glanced at Ho Fan and said, Monkey, stop talking nonsense. I've already said I'm not interested in little girls. Of course, I'm not interested in your teacher Bailey either. Do you still want to enter the secret realm? Think. If you want to talk, just shut up and stop spouting nonsense. Yes, I'll shut up. Chapter 35, do you want to continue? The entrance was just ahead. Led by Zhao Yicheng and the other two, Tang Poyu and his companions arrived at the so-called entrance. It's called an entrance, but it's really just a simple door made up of 2 stone blocks. From the outside, the door looks normal. However, this stone gate is actually a spatial teleportation array. The secret realm isn't actually underground. It's just that this teleportation array transports people to another space. Tang Poyu looked at the map on the spirit control terminal. That's right, the map showed that the divine beast was there. Tang Poyu and the others walked over. At this moment, 3 third-grade students blocked their way and said, Excuse me, this area is closed to the public. Lower graders shouldn't even think about going inside. It's not suitable for you. Just wander around the outside for 3 days and then leave. Hey, are you guys being reasonable? The academy sent us into the secret realm for our final exams, and we all have